Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Luffy is grandson of XEBEC and wield his HAKI and sword? Before I start, please do support for more awesome content, and subscribe my channel and like this video. Go support and follow the Ratastorm for writing that awesome fanfic, and also make sure to comment on this story. Link in the description. Summary: Straw Hats go to Fishman Island. The aftermatch of Marineford. Fishman Island, Luffy POV. We are almost to Fishman Island, Luffy said. Let's hope there is not much trouble here. You always cause trouble even when you are lazy, Nami said while shaking his head. It's not my fault, the enemies always mess with me, Luffy said while he was getting dizzy. Anyways, we need to hurry and get down here. The Straw Hats made their way to Fishman Island where they met Jimbei, who showed them around Fishman Island. Soon enough, Jimbei took the Straw Hats to the palace of Ryugu Kingdom, where they met King Neptune. You must the Straw Hats, Neptune said, and Luffy nodded. Jimbei has talked about you. It's a pleasure meeting you. A palace must have treasure laying around here, Nami said with berries in her eyes, making the crew except Sanji sweat drought. Of course you want money, Spectral said. But then, Nami punches him in the guts with electric fist. I should have saw that coming, and then he falls down the floor. Meanwhile the crew or Jimbei didn't say anything about. Few minutes later, Spectral got up from the floor. Anyways, I've heard that Whitebeard claimed this island as his territory, Luffy pointed out, and then Neptune and his sons were shaking their heads. Yeah, he has this island under his protection, Neptune said. Is something wrong? Whitebeard is nearly at his end right now, Luffy said. He wants me to take over his territory. Is he sick? Fukaboshi asked. Yeah, Luffy answered. His old age is not helping out either. He left his territories in my hands. I see. Well, if that his decision, Neptune started, you are welcome to have this island as your territory. Father, what's going on? A mermaid princess said as he walks into the room. Who are these lovely people? Shirahoshi, I take it you woke up from your nap? Neptune said, and Shirahoshi nodded. Luffy and his male crewmates were amazed by the mermaid princess. Sanji had a nosebleed and loses consciousness seconds later. Sanji! Chopper screamed as he was running in circles. We need a doctor. Chopper, you are the doctor, Spectral said as he was laughing, making Chopper blush. Oh, that's right, Chopper said as he went to check up on Sanji. Mind if I ask what kind of hell he went through? Kaya said. Okama Island, Vivi answered, making the male crewmates shivered at those words. Meanwhile the girls were laughing at them. The worst island for males. I don't want to think about it, Luffy said as he was shivering. That was the worst punishment I've ever experienced when I was kid. Then don't steal Sadie's food, Vivi said. I know you are planning to do it again, making Luffy's jaw drop and then ruffling his hair. Stop reading my mind, Vivi, Luffy said, making the girls laugh at him. Robin asked Vivi to taught her on how to read Luffy's thoughts and characteristics, and so did Nami. Navy headquarters. Kazan POV. Kazan was laying on his chair in his new Fleet Admiral office. Right now, he is trying to cover all of the damages that had happened in the past 2 years. Thank God, I didn't want to take orders from that red dog, Kazan said to himself. Straw Hat is still out there and might be active again. Kazan had become Fleet Admiral since the aftermatch of Marineford and Sengoku's resignation. Sengoku is now General Inspector. Now he doesn't have to worry about Straw Hat causing chaos and disgracing the Navy. They are 2 replacements for the Admiral spots in the Navy. Kazan! Garp said as he was walking into Kazan's post office. How is your time of being Fleet Admiral? Could have gone a little better, Kazan answered as he groaned. Your grandson causes a major damage at Marineford. Now there is people following him. Should have expected that from him, Garp said. Choosing to execute Ace was a terrible idea. I knew that it was terrible ever since CP9 kidnapped Robin back in Water 7 2 years back, Kazan said. Straw Hat doesn't have no qualms whenever his friends are in danger. Should have expected that when he kicked my ass after I saw again. 10 years ago, he snapped your faces and leg, which caused you to have surgery, Garp said. I'm glad that he didn't kill you on that island. I should have saw his potential when he started fighting me, Kazan said. We need new admirals of the Navy now. You sure you don't want to become an admiral? If I get promoted to admiral, I'll lose my freedom, Garp said as he serves Kazan tea. Serving celestial dragons are such a pain. Sengoku always bicker about you turning down your promotion, Kazan said, but then, he started bickering about your grandson. With these 2 years passing, I'm sure he grew a lot stronger than 2 years before. Garp said. He is not done yet. Something tells me that he has more on the way. Seems like it, Kazan said as Garp and him started drinking tea. Marco POV. You are sure that Whitebeard wants my brother to take over his territories? Ace asked. I'm sure of it. He trusts Straw Hat. Marco answered. After all, he seems worthy of being an emperor himself. Yeah, after seeing him at war, I can tell he has the power of being an emperor. Joseph said he might be able to defeat Big Mom himself. Seriously, after you see my brother in action, y'all started seeing him as an emperor? Ace said, and his crew nodded. He and his biological brother seemed to carry the same strength, Isa said, which made Ace's eye twitched. Are y'all serious right now? Ace asks. Why wouldn't we? His battle intelligence is practically awesome, Marco answered. And his normal intelligence is awful, Ace said. Colton has more intelligence than him. What is Colton's bounty for the record? Vista asked. Let's see. His past bounty used to be $2,725,000,000. Haruta answered. Now it's at $3,842,000,000. What is Straw Hat's bounty at? Isa asked. His past used to be $1,125,000,000. Haruta answered. Now it says $2,550,325,000. Those total bounties combined are over $6 billion, Vista said. Meanwhile, Ace is sitting at $1,250,000,000, Haruta said. Yes, I think Straw Hat is worthy of being an emperor and taking over Whitebeard's territories, Marco said, which made Ace groan. Can't believe my little brother is stronger than me. Ace said. I need to surpass him again. How exactly are you going to do that? Marco asked. Luffy has HAKI, a sword, devil fruit, and art styles. Meanwhile, you have HAKI and devil fruit, Isa said. Plus, I think Straw Hat is active again, which means his bounty is going to increase any time now. Plus, he is the 5th emperor and people call him the superhuman of paradise because of his strength, Haruta said. Are you seriously taking his side over mine? Ace asked. If you're thinking about fighting Straw Hat, then it will be ugly for you, Marco answered. Besides, if you even dare challenge the wind beast, you might lost in a few seconds. That's right, Numbers said Colton, and Luffy may not has the same bounty or strength, but they complete overcharted power levels. Then I need to train stronger in order to match Colton and Luffy, Ace said. If you want to start training, then go ahead, Marco said. Therefore, you can be the next pirate captain of the Whitebeard Pirates. Fishman Island, Luffy POV. So, this is her grave, right, Shirahoshi? Luffy asked as he looks at Shirahoshi's mother's grave. Shirahoshi started tearing up a bit. Yeah, it is, Shirahoshi answered. It was a sad sight of watching her die. Shirahoshi was about to cry, but being comforted by Nami, Robin, Vivi, and Kaya. You're not alone, Shirahoshi, Luffy said. You still have your father and your brothers. Thanks, Luffy-sama, Shirahoshi said, and Luffy smiled at her. Hey Luffy, you got a minute? Jimbei asked. What's up? Luffy asks. You were the one who defeated Arlong 2 years back, didn't you? Jimbei asked. Yeah. It was to save Nami from being a slave of Arlong, Luffy answered. I would say thank you, but at the same time, I would like to apologize, Jimbei said, which made the Straw Hats feel surprised for a minute. Janae, what are you apologizing you? Luffy asked as he saw Jimbei bowing his head down towards the Straw Hats. Jimbei? Shirahoshi asked in surprise. The one who freed Arlong, the fishman who destroyed Nami's island, was me, Jimbei said, making the Straw Hats feel shocked. Nami clenched her arm, starting to remember that trauma she had experienced as kid. Me and crew were going to go after him if he tried anything, but Arlong bribed the Navy around a certain island, so his actions never reached Navy HQ. Jimbei stared directly at Luffy's eyes, which that island was Kokoyashi Village, or in other words, Electro Master Nami's home. Due to this, she and other people were suffering from my irresponsibilities. Jimbei almost started to cry. But then, Luffy patted his head, making him feel surprised. Jimbei, Luffy said, it's not me who you should be apologizing, it should be Nami. Yes, but still, Jimbei said. Jimbei, Arlong was already sent to impel down again. Were you the one who told Arlong to invade Nami's island? Luffy said. No, I did not. Jimbei shouted. So, if it wasn't you, then why are you apologizing? Arlong was the one who attacked her island, not you, Luffy asked. If I had bothered to go the island myself, there wouldn't be less blood, Jimbei said as he gritting his teeth in frustration. You guys probably hates Fishman after that. Do you guys? We don't hate you guys, Luffy answered. What? Jimbei said in disbelief. Nami then hugs Jimbei, which made Jimbei more shocked. You see, my crew had meet HAKI as we went to Subordinates. Although Nami and him were kind of tense because he was with Arlong, they soon got along with each other. Luffy said, we figured if we kept Kami and HAKI under our protection from the Celestial Dragons. What would if you done if Celestial Dragon captured HAKI and Kami? Jimbei asked. Punched them or killed them, Luffy answered with no hesitation. You didn't see the news of what had happened to Subodie 2 years ago. You killed a celestial dragon, Jimbei asked in disbelief. You see, Captain does anything about loyalty when it comes to friends or family, Isaac said, which Jimbei more shocked. Friends? Jimbei said. Do you think humans can be friends with fishmen or mermaids? Luffy then double-poked his forehead and then laughed. Of course, Hachi and Kami became our friends when he sailed with them to Subodie. Besides Jimbei, I consider as my friend, Luffy said. That goes for me, Spectral said. Same here, Zoro said. Totally here, Isaac said. I do. But I won't forgive you, Sanji said, only for him to be punched by Isaac and Nami in the face. You forgive him, right? Isaac said as he raises his fist again. Yes, I do, Sanji answered. Of course, I accept you as my friend, Vivi said. Same here, Robin said as he laughed. You might have set Arlong free, but I forgive you. I consider you as my friend, Jinbei, Nami said with a smile and then hugs him again. Thanks, you guys, for accepting me after what I've done, Jinbei said with a smile. Hey Luffy, can I ask you if I can join your crew? I was about to ask you the same thing, Jinbei. Luffy said. You are more than welcome to join. Thank you, Luffy, Jinbei, but for right now, we have a bigger problem, which made the Straw Hats raise an eyebrow. Hordy is up there invading Fishman Island as we speak. He is planning on executing King Neptune. He is going to execute Father? Shirahoshi asked as a worried tone. Luffy then cracks his knuckle. Well, I guess I'll show him what I'm made of. Luffy said. I can't let someone attack Fishman Island if there is no one to protect it. After this is done, Fishman Island will be under my protection. Few minutes later. So, you want to execute King Neptune and demolish Fishman Island? Luffy said as he was looking at Hordy while cracking his knuckles. What is it to you, Straw Hat? Hordy asked. If Whitebeard is not here, the only person who can stop you is me, Luffy said as he activates his HAKI. And how are you going to stop me if there's 100,000 fishmen surrounding you? Hordy said, as the crew looks around to see fishmen surrounding them. Damn, he really has 100,000 fishmen on his side, Vivi said. Doesn't matter, we can handle them, Isaac said. We can, but let me decrease the numbers real fast, Luffy said as he was walking towards Hordy. Fishmen started to charge at Luffy, who didn't acknowledge them. That's Straw Hat, Luffy, a fishman said. Bounty worth $2,550,325,000. His bounty will be mine, another fishman said. No! Mine! Another fishman said. It will be me! Another fishman said. All the fishmen raises their swords to attack Luffy, but soon to be knocked out by Luffy's Conqueror's HAKI. Decreasing the numbers by 50,000 fishmen remained standing. Fishmen and mermaids were stunned to Luffy's HAKI. Did everyone see that? A fishman from the outside said. Was that Straw Hat? Did he really knock 50% of the fishmen? A mermaid said. He didn't do anything, a fishman said. That power. So beautiful, Charlie said. Geez, you knocked out 50%, Spectral said. Leave some for us at least. We can take out majority of the fishmen's, Isaac said. I'll take care of Hordy. He already made a massive threat to Fishman Island, Luffy said as he activates Gear Second and kicks Hordy, making him crash into a building. You'll pay for this, Straw Hat, Hordy said as he was about to attack Luffy but was blocked by Armament HAKI. Damn you. You're the one who decided to invade this island and take over. But you're losing, Luffy said as he blocks Hordy's fist. Whitebeard left his island in my hands. I won't let you harm the innocent people that are here. Why would Whitebeard leave an island to a weakling like you? Hordy said as he was about to attack Luffy again, but then Luffy dodges and grabs him and jumped into the air. Careful, what are you saying out of your mouth? Hordy, Luffy said. Never think much about your enemy. Luffy's arms started turning into fire. Red Hawk. Luffy punches Hordy in the chest, making fire pierce through his stomach, resulted into him coughing up blood and come crashing down the ground. The Straw Hats were battling Hordy's crew members and some fishmen, who were trying to attack Shirahoshi but were blocked the Straw Hats as they were defending Shirahoshi. I knew this fight was going to be a drag. I didn't figure this was going to be this lame, Luffy said with a bored expression. Did you just call me lame? I'll show you what I'm made of, Hordy said as he started to shoot water towards Luffy, who didn't move an inch, and used Zoro and grabbed him and punches him in the face. Yeah. I'll just put you out of your misery, Luffy said as he pulls out his sword, and his sword was showing a stormy dragon form. River's dragon storm. Luffy swings his sword and then the dragon charges at Hordy and pierces through his skin, causing him to cough up blood and launching him the wall. Hordy was easily defeated. Well, guess that's over, Luffy said as he puts his sword back in scabbard. You know, I am pretty hungry. Of course, you are, Vivi said as she hugs him from the behind. I'm sure the king won't mind if we stay here for much longer, and has a feast until we leave. I don't mind at all, Straw Hats, Neptune said. As of right now, Fishman Island is now the Straw Hats' territory, and the crowd cheered for the Straw Hats. I'm happy for some food right now, Spectral said. Same here. I forgot to get myself food from Sabodi, Isaac said. It's been a while since I've had meat and sake, Luffy said with his mouth watering. My little gluttony, Vivi said as she yes him on the cheek. I don't mind if you have more than one queen on your side. You know, which made Luffy blush and for Nami and Robin to giggle. How many times are you going to embarrass me? Luffy asked. I don't know, because I love to mess with you, Vivi answered with a smile. Luffy just groaned in response. He knew that she wasn't going to stop messing with him, although she had been messing with since for a while now. He nearly gotten used to it by now. This is strange. This island is pure heat, Luffy said. It sure is hot from here. Something tells me that this is just part of the island, Vivi said. What does the log pose say? Robin asked. It's not pointing there. I assume it hasn't reset yet, Nami answered. Does anyone know the name of this island? Luffy said, and then he felt someone asking for help in that island. It sounded like children. I hear someone asking for help from the other side. Punk Hazard, Robin answered. I believe something terrible happened here. I want to check out this island, Luffy said. It's best if we split into groups. Something tells me that this island is going to be under the sea until we leave here, Vivi said. Oh? Is it an instinct? Kaya said. Yeah, I guess you can call it that, Vivi answered. Alright, how many of us is going to check out this part of the island while the other check out the other side, Luffy asked. I'd rather stay on the ship, Usopp answered. Don't be a chicken, we aren't staying here for long, you know, Spectral said, and then Kaya punches him. Alright, looks like we are drawing straws, Nami said. 2 of us will stay on the ship. Meanwhile, the rest of us explore the island. Well, I'm obviously checking out the part of the island firstly, Luffy said, and the Straw Hats nodded. Frankie, get the Mini Mary started. You got it, Captain, Frankie said. The Straw Hats picked their papers out. Some of them smiled, meanwhile some of them were complaining. Looks like I'm going to the island, Robin said. This should be fun, Zoro said. I can't wait, Isaac. How was Chopper so lucky? I wanted to stay on the ship, Usopp said as he was mopping on the floor. Thank goodness, if I had stepped foot on that island I would melt, Chopper said. Yohoho Brook laughed. I guess me and Chopper get to stay on the ship. Well, I'm checking the hot part of the island first, Luffy said. Count me in, Zoro said. Same here, Robin said. I'm in Spectral. Well, I guess you guys get to explore the other side of the island, Luffy said. Brook and Chopper, take good care of the ship while we are going. You got it, Brook and Chopper said. Luffy's groups were making their way to the hot part of the island as they were eating their lunchbox. Wow, there is fire, Luffy said. It sure is hot from here. I wonder what Usopp would have done if he had come here, Spectral said. He would have probably chickened out, Zoro replied. Looks like the clouds are changing as well, and it stopped raining, Luffy said. Island scouting weather, Robin said. Wonder how the others are doing right now, Spectral said, smiling as they were still eating their lunchboxes. Other side of Punk Hazard. Nami POV. Never thought that this island will be cold, Nami said. I wish I could change the weather with my devil fruit powers. It's not that freezing on the side of the island, Vivi said. Look at Kaya. She doesn't look freezy at all. I ate the kaze no mi fruit. My body is made out of snow and ice, Kaya said, smiling. I thought that the hot part of the island was worse, but this one is the worst, Usopp said as he was shivering cold. Stop it, Usopp. I'm sure we can find shelter around here, Isaac said. He's right. I heard, Luffy, that someone was asking for some help, Sanji said. Super, Frankie said. I wonder on how the others were doing right now. Probably melting in that hot part of the island. Hot side of Punk Hazard. Luffy POV. This used to be a government island? Luffy asked as he was staring at the sign that says word government only. I wonder what had happened to this island, Robin said. Let's hope the Navy or someone isn't here to stop us, Spectral said. I don't give a shit if this a world government island, Luffy said. We are checking out this island anyway. Zoro then takes out one of his swords and slices that gate into 4s. Luffy's group then enters into the hot side of Punk Hazard. Little did they know, it started to burn up as they enter in. Geez, it's very hot, Luffy said as he wiping off the sweat off his face. It feels like magma in here, Spectral said as he takes off his scarf and mask, revealing his full face. I can feel it through my body, which is not a good thing. I wonder what had caused this to be so hot, Robin said. For the time being everything looks on fire, Zoro said. This is such a drag. We need to figure out on how we get out of here, Luffy said. Everything is a drag basically for you, Luffy, Robin said, you are quite burning up a bit. Well, this isn't the first time, Luffy said. Luffy and his group then continues walking as they saw burning buildings that were failing due since they were breaking apart. As they walked over towards the edge, they saw some buildings that were standing while on fire. These aren't houses, these are some government facilities, Robin said. Maybe a volcano erupted here? Zoro asked, or someone set this on fire. It scares me to think that the log pose didn't point to this island, Spectral said. Although, someone did call out for help, Luffy said, but it seems like that they are on the other side of the island. The person did say he was that the other side was cold, Spectral said, wondering on how the others are doing? Probably freezing in that cold part of the island. Cold side. Nami POV. This feels strange, Nami said. What does? Isaac asked. The clouds, they seem different on our side than the other side, Nami answered. Yeah, you're right, Vivi said. I wonder someone knows about this island and what had happened here. Isaac then felt some multiple presence around his area and then sighed. You have to be kidding me. At a time like this? Isaac said. Is something wrong? Kaya asked. Smoker and the Marines are here, Isaac answered, making them sigh. It looks like we are about to have a group of pirates in a few moments. But I do feel an unexpected presence that I'm not sure of. I swear that Marine does not give up, Vivi said. The number of times he tried to capture us, Nami said, especially our captain. Let's hope he is not dumb enough to challenge our captain, Frankie said. After he witnessed the hell in war, I don't think he is going to try, Chopper said. You said there were also a group of pirates on this island as well? Usopp said, and then Isaac nodded as they continuing walking. When they meet a certain pirate, they met back at Sabodi and Marineford. He is here? Nami said. I didn't know the Straw Hats were here, Law said, as we getting out of the alleyway. Been a long time, has it? Why are you here? Vivi asked. I wanted to offer him something since I figured he was entering the new world, Law answered. Seems like he is not here. I figure we just wait until he gets there. As long as you don't attack us, then that's fine with us, Frankie said. Super. Straw Hats. Smoker said. Smoker-san, the Straw Hats are no joke, his partner, Tashigi said. They are the emperors of the crew. You're outmatched by their strength. Can I knock him out? Isaac said. Sure, go ahead, Nami said. Isaac then smirked and started running towards Smoker and activated his armament HAKI. Smoker then traps Isaac with a smoke cloud. You think you caught me like this? Isaac said as he and Smoker swapped places, making Smoker trapped himself in the smoke bubble. Isaac then uses Saru and appears in front of Smoker. Dark Judgment. Isaac then punches Smoker, and with the help of gravity manipulation, while he was stuck in the smoke bubble, and then blows him away, making his crash into a facility and making the ground shake. Smoker-san, Tashigi said as she was shivering. Calm down, we won't attack unless you don't attack us, Isaac said, and Tashigi nodded. Now we are going to wait our captain. Hot side. Luffy POV. Okay, what is causing all of this wind? This island is hot enough, Luffy said. And what is that? Looks like a skull, Spectral said. Luffy, and then hears something get knocked out. What the hell? Luffy said as he turned out and felt surprised. Is something behind us? Spectral said as he turned around. His eye widens as he saw what it was, so did Zoro. My goodness! Robin said. Luffy and his group then saw it was Dragon, who was looking hungry as it was drooling. What the? It's real! Luffy asked. I thought it was just a myth, Spectral said. I've seen people who has devil fruits that types like a dinosaur or a dragon, but not an ordinary dragon. Whatever this is, it must be a trick, Zoro said. There is no way it's alive. And yet, just look at it, Robin said as her eyes were widened. What else could it possibly be? Then, the dragon stomps his feet towards Luffy's group and then makes a roar sound. He thinks that we are food, Luffy said. I'll admit, dragons are cool, but I don't want to become a dragon's play toy. The dragon then stares at Luffy, who was griping on his sword. Who goes there? A voice asked, which made Luffy confused. What? Luffy asked. But then the dragon tries to eat Luffy, then he dodged. The dragon started to attack the crew as he started running at Spectral, who used his devil fruit and made himself some rings and fly away. What the hell is this? Spectral said as he got behind the dragon. I don't know, but I heard a voice once. He stared at me, Luffy answered. Are we sure this is 100% sure this is a dragon? Spectral said. Yeah, sure does. A lizard-like body with massive wings, Robin answered. That's how the dragons are described in the myths. The dragon prepares to starting attacking with fire incoming from his mouth. Oh shit! Luffy said. This isn't about to be good, Zoro said. Get away from him, Luffy said as they started running and flying away from the dragon who was preparing to attacking. The dragon then attacks with his fireball, and completely missing them by a few inches and still escaping the dragon's range of where the fireball was. So, this dragon can breathe and shoot fire, Spectral said as he flew down back the ground and dissolving his poison wings. Seems like he wants a fight. We will gladly give him a fight. Luffy activates his gear second and charges at the dragon. Goma Goma, Jet Bullet. Luffy punches the dragon in the face, but the dragon still remains standing. What? Luffy asked. How is he still standing? Spectral asked. He has some thick skin, Robin said. Look out, Zoro said. Then the dragon whips Luffy with his tail, making him crash into a building, resulting in breakdown. My turn to hunt this dragon, Zoro said as he takes out two of his swords. The dragon then charges at Zoro, who was grinning. Poot! I can sense your presence, a voice said. Zoro asked, confused. The dragon tries to bite Zoro only for him to dodge him, so the dragon can talk after all. Zoro then takes out his other sword and put it in his mouth as he holds the other two. 3-sword style. Ultra Tiger Trap. Zoro slashes his 3 swords at the dragon's teeth but was unable to break them. The dragons go in and attacks Zoro but was blocked by his swords, but the dragon was pushing him. Damn, this is one stubborn lizard, I'll say, Zoro said. Zoro then backs away and Spectral comes his and transforms himself into poison. Acid serpents. Spectral summons poisonous serpent snakes and uses them to attack the dragon. The serpents started piercing through the dragon's skin, but the dragon was still standing. He is still standing? Spectral asked. Something tells me that the 7 deadly arts won't work. He's right, Zoro said, but the weird thing is, I heard him talk as well. I heard it too, Spectral said, but I'm not sure if that's his voice. The dragon stomp his feet and roar into the air. He is pissed, Luffy said. The dragon flapping his wings and jumped into the air and fly into the air. Great, what is he going to do? Spectral said. Poot! Are you also allies of the 7 warlords of the SEA? The voice said. What? Luffy asked. I'm not following, Zoro said. Why would we be allies with the warlords? Spectral said. The dragon then prepares for another set of fireball at them, which made them gulped. Looks like he wants to destroy us completely, Luffy said. We aren't leaving without a fight as always, Spectral said as they started running from the fireball, which was already fired at them, nearly destroying the hot part of island completely. Cold sighed. Isaac POV. What was that? Isaac said sounded like it came from the other side of the island, which means Luffy's group is still there, Vivi said. Nami then looks up into the sky again, looking at the clouds which were split into 2. This is really weird, Nami said. The clouds and the sky are split into 2s. I hope the others don't melt on their way here, Frankie said. I hope they don't let Robin Schwan get hurt while they are there, Sanji said, or I'll give them a taste of my leg. Sanji. Calm down, Usopp said. Robin is one of top commanders of this crew. Yeah, she is super strong along. Zoro and Lumen Kaya said no need to worry about it. Yeah, Pervycook don't worry about too much, Isaac said, making them laugh except for Sanji. But however, I hope they will make it out of there and come here, Vivi said. They are strong. I'm surely that can get them himself here, Nami said. Wonder how Brook and Chopper are doing right now, Vivi said. Sunny. This is sure hot from here, Chopper said as he was sweating. I'm glad Sanji made us some ice cream before making his way to the other side of the island. To be clear, Robin asked him to make you some ice cream, Brook said. Yo-ho-ho-ho. Robin is so nice. I'm glad that she asked Sanji for it, Chopper said. I wonder how are the others doing. Chopper then sees an explosion from the hot side of the island. What was that? Chopper said. Chopper then felt a presence on the ship and then make a run for it. Brook, they are enemies on this ship. We must protect it. Copy that. Brook takes out his cane sword and preparing himself to attack anyone. Chopper then sees a couple of masked mans with a barrel and attacks them immediately before they had a chance to press the button. Meanwhile, Brook froze them with his cane sword. Seems like they were trying to put us to sleep with sleeping gas, Chopper said. It really does not affect me even if they tried to do so, Brook said, because you're made out of bones, Chopper finished. And then Brook started sulking in the corner. Hot sighed. Spectral POV. Spectral was soaring through the air with his poison wings and he was dodging multiple fireballs from the dragon. He is also carrying Robin on his back as the dragon was trying to fire at Robin with a fireball. That is one stubborn tough dragon, Spectral said. This is not looking good for us. I can agree with you on that, Robin said. He also mentioned the 7 warlords. Could he be an enemy to them? I'm not very sure, Spectral answered, since he thinks that we're allies with one of the warlords. We need to think of something to defeat this dragon, Robin said. Spectral then looks down to see a wall burned up. Look at that, Spectral said as he was pointing at the wall. Looks like this place is made out of magma. Luffy POV. Luffy was panting with Zoro after they had run away from multiple fireballs that were shot by the dragon. Meanwhile, the dragon was flying through the air trying to find them. We have to think of something to defeat this dragon, Luffy said. What if we combine all our attacks towards him, Zoro said. Fair enough, Luffy said, and then after that, you cut him up. Roger that, Zoro said. Let me bring him into the middle, Luffy said, and then he stretched out his arms on the hot wall. Ouch. Shit. It's magma. Luffy then rockets his way to the dragon's back as he was preparing another fireball. Seems like he is on fire as well. Luffy then sees something sticking out of the dragon's back. What the? He said as he stood up. Poot. I feel a breeze all of a sudden, the voice said. This is weird, Luffy said, and then he walks up the moving legs and crouches down only for him to get kicked in the face by accidentally. Ow. The hell, why will he not stop moving? Luffy then sighed and looked at the middle. Yo! We must attack the dragon together, Luffy said to his group, which they nodded. There is also some moving legs up here in the dragon's back. Moving legs? Spectral said. Could that be the voice that we have been hearing? Robin asked. Luffy sees the dragon staring at him and trying to attack him, but Luffy punched him in the jaw. Back to the middle you go, Luffy said as he activates his armament HAKI and jumps into the air. Power purple. Luffy punches the air of where the dragon, resulting the dragon getting punched in the air and gets sent down with gravity manipulation, and then purple lighting started piercing into the dragon's skin. Your guy's turn now, Luffy said as he hopped off the dragon's back and then extended his arm to grab Zoro and making him soar to the air towards the dragon. Spectral was flying towards the dragon and Robins crosses his arms, forming petals to swarm around her, and then giant arms started to appear on the dragon's head. Deadly venom. Spectral extends and enlarges his poison arm and turn it to the color purple and sends his enlarged fist towards the dragon's stomach with armament HAKI, making the dragon roar in pain. Clutch. Robin cracked the dragon's stomach's spine, making the dragon roar in pain once more. Death Lion Song. Zoro then slices the dragon's head off. Only his stomach and tail remain to not be sliced in half. You know, since we are here, Luffy said, why don't we burn up this dragon? There is enough fire to even barbecue this, Zoro said. Sounds good to me, Luffy said. Cien Fleur. Robin forms up multiple arms in the middle which formed into two giants' arms, catching them as they were falling from the sky. Sunny, you know, I think we should head over to the other side, Brook said. I agree. Everything is burning up here, Chopper said. Let's go. Chopper and Brook made their to the cold side of Punk Hazard and trying to find their way on how to find Nami's group. I never felt this much coldness since I haven't been at Sakura Kingdom, Chopper said. The weather seems good enough for me, Brook said. Let's hope we meet up with the others. They are probably waiting for Luffy, Chopper said. I haven't heard much of them. Although of that explosion that happened, Brook said, maybe they got in some trouble? They are strong enough to take care of them on their own, Chopper said. This feels perfect for snow cones. I agree. Vivi POV. Should we enter in here? Vivi asked. I don't know. We don't know what might happen if we enter, Nami said. Maybe trouble is already behind that door, Kaya said. Law, do you know who's here? Isaac asked. It's Caesar Clown. He is one annoying tough bastard, Law answered. I sense children inside that door, Nami said as she places her palm on the facility door. I'm getting a little tired of staying out here. It's getting cold, Isaac said. Yeah, you can break down the door, I guess, Nami said. I can break down the door with you if you want, Law said. No need. Save your strength, Isaac said. Law nodded and back away from the door. Isaac cracked his knuckles and activated his armament HAKI and aimed his fist at the door and punched the air, making the door breaking into pieces. Holy hell! Law said. What kind of strength did you guys have? Trust me, you haven't seen our captain or our strongest commander's power yet, Nami said with a smile and then walked in. Looks like we can chill here for right now, until the others arrive, Sanji said. What about that Marine? He'll wake up soon. Let him sleep for a little longer. Sounds good to me, Frankie said. It was super of you when you and Smoke Marine swapped places. It's a new technique that I created myself, Isaac said. We should tell Luffy that there are children in here. So, there is children around here? Law asked. Yeah, there is, Nami answered. I assume there is a lot in here. I want to help them along with you, Law said. Sounds good, Sanji said. Hot side. Luffy POV. So, what do we do with the legs now? Spectral asked as he and the others were staring at the moving legs who were in the dragon's head. I have no idea. Maybe pull him out? Luffy said as he walks up to the moving legs and then tries to pull him out of the dragon's head. These legs won't stop squirming. Luffy then pulls very hardly to get him out, but no luck. I do have one question. How is he breathing? Spectral asked. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, Robin said. Does he even live here? Zoro asked. After many attempts, Luffy finally pulls him out of the dragon's head. As soon as the three of them look at body that were surprised. Hey Luffy, I think you made a mistake, Spectral said. What are you talking about? Luffy said as he stood up and then looked at the body. What the? Did I accidentally beheaded him, or does he have no head? I don't know, but this is really weird, Spectral said as he was sweating. Seems like I have been liberated. That's nice. The voice said. What the? How is he talking? Luffy asked. Hold on a minute, Robin said as she was walking. There is no upper body or mark of the dragon's head of where he was stuck. This makes no sense, Zoro said. Does that mean that he was just legs as he was stuck? Spectral said. That is weird. I do wonder on how he is still alive and caused this to happen, Luffy said as he inspecting the body. I know you are there, the voice said. I may not have eyes or ears, but I can feel your presence. Does he have observation, HAKI? Luffy asked. Seems so, Zoro said. Get out of my way, the voice said as he was trying to attack Luffy. What are you doing? I'm not getting myself kicked again, Luffy said as he blocked his kicks. I refuse to die in this island like this, the voice said. I have a mission to carry on, he said as he was running away. Does he know where he is going? Spectral asked. I'll not suffer this way, the voice said. Prepare yourself, warlord. I'm coming after you. Do we go after him? Zoro asked. No, let's not waste our time in his business, Luffy answered. Let's go and try to reach the other side of the island and meet the others. Sounds good to me, Robin said, but we need to find a way to the other side of the island. Let's go searching and then we will the other side, Luffy said as they continue walking to find their way to the other side of the island. Unknown POV. Puru Puru. 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 Clank, did you find them? Unknown women asked. Yeah, all four of them in my sight, unknown men answered. I'll annihilate them soon as possible. Well then, go have fun, unknown women said. Give me a ring once you're done. Roger. The baby snail disconnected and then the unknown woman smiled as she was flying through the air. Cold sighed. Nami POV. Do we wait here or start looking? Isaac asked as he was sitting down on the ice floor. I say we start looking, Nami answered. The others will catch up eventually. You know, I'll stay here in case the captain arrives here, Usopp said, sweating, but was held back by Vivi. Sorry, you're coming with us, Vivi said. Don't freak out. I'll wait outside and catch up with you guys eventually. Law said. I'll need to speak with your captain with a certain offer. You won't stop, Yukaya said. Just make sure to tell him that we are inside. Okay then, Law said. CY. In a few moments, Law then teleports away from the inside to the outside. Let's go, Nami said, and her group nodded and walked around the facility when they were stopped by a couple of masked mans in their path. So, these are the clown subordinates, Sanji said. Allow me. Weapons, left. Frankie then fires his cyborg gun and then shooting down the masked mans who were standing in their way. How did they get in here? I thought we had security on the island, a masked man said. We better call Master. 10 minutes ago. Who are those and why are they standing in our way? Isaac said as they were starting at the masked mans who were pointed their guns at them. Those who crosses paths with an Emperor's crew and attacks one, Nami said, will result to situation that are about to be ugly. They have the guts, I'll give them that, Vivi said. Plus, as part of the Straw Hats, we don't clean up the mess that we made, Kaya said as she activates her devil fruit. Vivi uses her tiger claw, Nami uses her staff, Sanji coated his legs in armament HAKI. Frankie inspects his laser beam. Usopp loads in bullets in his sniper. Isaac activates his armament HAKI. Snow tempest. Kaya forms a gust of breezy wind, filling the wind with snow that from the ground and sending the tornado at the masked mans, completely freezing them solid. Kick course. Sanji kicks away the masked mans. Thunder claw. Vivi scratched the air in front of him and sending 3 lightning stripes towards the masked man, making them bleed from their stomach. Thunderbolt tempo. Nami summons a lightning cloud and sets down his staff as lightning started shocking the masked mans from the thundercloud on top of them. Weapons, right. Frankie then fires his cyborg gun and then shooting down the masked mans who were standing in their way. Dark Hallow kick. Isaac kicks the air, forming a gust of wind slash that formed into a dark purple color, and slashes the masked man. Usopp was shooting down some masked mans. Once they were done, they started making their way to certain facility. Present time. Geez, there are so many subordinates here, Isaac said under his scarf. There is door there, Nami, and his group made their through the door to see children playing around in a colorful and baby room that was set up in the facility. What? Isaac said with a surprised tone. So, Luffy was right, Vivi said. There are children here. They look so big compared to our size, Nami said, although they are still cute. Is this supposed to be a daycare of a prison? Usopp said, shivering. I have no clue what to say, Kaya said. The children were shocked to see the Straw Hats, who looked the same as they. The children. Hot side. Luffy POV. Spectral was soaring through the air, checking out the hot side of the island when he spotted an island that was filled with snow, which made him feel surprised. Puru Puru. Puru Puru. Clank, where are you? Luffy asked. Me and Chopper are on the other side of the island, Brook answered. And what do you see on the other side of the island, and what's there? Luffy asked. It's filled with snow. However, I don't see Nami's group in sight of where I am, Brook answered. I do see some unconscious masked mans on the ground. That must have been Nami's group, Robin said. Seems like they saved us from trouble. Brook, head over to island and meet up with Nami's group, Luffy said. We will be right there. Roger that, Luffy-san, Brooks said, and then Luffy's hangs up. This is going to be drag, Luffy said. I agree with you on that, Zoro said. I think I found our way to the other side of the island, Spectral yelled from above them. Follow me. Spectral then goes over to the edge and the Luffy, Zoro, and Robin follow him to the edge. The real question is, how do we get over there? Zoro said. I'll try to fly us over there, Spectral said as he expands his poison wings. Hold on tightly. Spectral flies over the cold side of the island with Luffy, Zoro, and Robin on his back and then lands on the ground. Luffy hops off his back, then Zoro, and then Robin. Wow, it's very snowing on this part, Luffy said, and very windy. Nami POV. Puru Puru. Puru Puru. Clank. Hey, we made it to the cold side, Luffy said. Well's that great, Nami said. My group had stumbled upon some children. Children? Luffy asked. Where are you? We are in a facility, Luffy-san. You're able to meet with someone in a few moments, Nami answered. Meet with someone? Who is it? Luffy asked. You'll figure it out, Luffy-san, later, Nami said, and then she hangs up on Luffy. Nami, did you hang up on the captain? Vivi said. What a badass move there. I like toying with the captain sometimes. Let's help these children out, Nami said. Isaac, Frankie, give me a hand. Sure thing, Isaac said. You got it, Frankie said. Luffy POV. Should have expected that from a badass girl like her, Luffy said. Anyways, let's get moving. I assure you that we are about to fight someone on this island, Spectral said. Anyways, what with this hot and cold island? Did someone had a fight here? Zoro said. Seems so, magma and ice, Robin answered. So you're saying Sakazuki and Kazan had a fight and caused this island to be hot and cold, Luffy said. Seems like it, Robin answered. Spectral then felt something with observation HAKI as someone was coming towards them. Boss, I feel someone is coming this way, Spectral said. Same here, Zoro said. Get ready, Luffy said. Who knows how will this come? But on a serious note, we need to get coats, Spectral said. Can't argue with that, Zoro said. It's starting to freeze up more. Then we will wrap this up quickly, an unknown man said as his soldiers were running up to them. We will make sure you will freeze to death and get devoured by those sharks in the sea. Damn, at a time like this? Luffy said. What a drag. The name is Brownbeard. I'm sure you have heard me, the unknown man said. Nope, I haven't. Now get lost, Luffy said, making Brownbeard feel depressed and started sulking. Do I seriously make that weak of an appearance? Brownbeard said as he sulking. His soldiers came to comfort him and cheered him up. Whatever. At least we can show them what we are made of. They have guts. I like it, Spectral said. The soldiers started pointed their weapons at them. Suddenly there was breeze that was near the soldiers. Annihilate them, Brownbeard said, and the soldiers fired their guns, only for them to explode in their faces and making the unconscious my soldiers. What happened? Luffy then smirked at him. Colder than a blizzard, the wind from the underworld cuts like an icy blade. Brooks started. Damn you! What is this crap? Brownbeard asked. Let me ask you this one question, Brooks started. Do you think you're able to take down infamous pirates that people had heard of? Brook then puts his cane sword back in his scabbard. Your gun barrels are already frozen, so don't shoot unless you want to attack. Just who are you and what is this? Brownbeard asked. My name is no importance to anything but my crew, Brook answered. I'll tell you this. I have a second life which is devoted to the Straw Hat Pirates. You can call me the Soul King. I don't know on how he was able to freeze our guns, Brownbeard's soldier said, but you'll pay for this. Pay, huh? Then why don't you plan on making me pay? Brooks said as he started slicing up Brownbeard's soldier one by one. Skeleton bastard, another soldier said. Take him out, another soldier said. I've already lost many friends at my first life during my time, Brooks said, so I'll say snow away. Brook slices multiple soldiers in fast movement, making them feel unconscious. He is too fast, even for a skeleton, another soldier said as he was shivering. So, there is more, is there? Brownbeard asked. Doesn't matter. I'm sure the other has already been demolished after we attacked them before you came, Brownbeard said, smirking. But his smirk and his confidence went away as he heard a sigh coming from behind him and his soldiers. Typical opponents, always underestimating them, Luffy said. Nice to see you again, Brook Robin said. Yo-ho-ho-ho, Brook laughed. Nice to see you guys again. After running from that ghost, it led right straight to you. First it was dragons, and now centaurs, Spectral said. We don't care what this island throws at us. You should have run when you had the chance, Zoro said, making Brownbeard's eye widen. As soon as the Blackbird saw them, they saw them that they were freezing and crossing them arms. This damn weather, Luffy said. It's another thing that I can't cut with my sword, Zoro said. I wish I turned myself into poison human, but I can't even move or walk, Spectral said. Hey, you guys, if you look over there, maybe we just got lucky, Robin said. Running into them was the best thing that could have happened. They're closed and they look frozen. Let's open fire, a Solider said. Hold on a minute, they seem familiar, Brownbeard said. Nice thinking, Robin. Zoro said. I'll call dibs on the fourth guy from the right. I'll take the guy from his left, Spectral said. I'll take the guy next to his right, Luffy said. I'll take the girl from the far left, Robin said. What are they planning? I'm confused, a soldier asked, but then Zoro started laughing menacingly, along with Luffy, Spectral, and Robin, which shivered Brownbeard's soldiers. Those coats look nice and warm. All four of them said unison, which made Brownbeard's soldiers sweating. They are not about to take our coats, are they? Another soldier asked. Then we will freeze to death, three soldiers said, and Brownbeard's eyes widened, and he started to sweat. I remember them now. That's Straw Hat, Brownbeard said, making his soldiers confused. Yes, that kid from the worst generation, making the soldiers to shiver even more. There is no doubt, that's Wind Beast and Fire Fist's brother. Straw Hat, Luffy, a bounty of $2, $5.50, $3.25, 00 berries, making the soldiers scream and widen their eyes. He is going to kill us all, the soldier said. You can't escape, Spectral said as he began to start moving and turning his body into poison, and then runs at the soldiers and grabs one person and steals his coat. Mille fleur. Robin forms two giant hands and smushes the woman and grabs her coat. You can't run away from me, Luffy said as he extends his arm and grabs one of the soldiers by the back of their coats. Now give me your coat. I'll try not to hurt you guys so badly, Zoro said as he pulls out his three swords. Now then, give me your coat immediately. Zoro then slashes the soldiers and steals their coats. Much better, Luffy said, and they agreed. Law POV. What's bring you to my vacation home? Law asked. He was getting out of the doorway. Go away and leave me alone. Why can't a pirate relax here? Out of our way, Trafalgar Law. We need to capture the Straw Hats. Smoker answered. I wouldn't recommend that, since you got your ass kicked by Isaac with one punch. I don't you think you're capable of capturing them, Law said. Besides, I need to have business with Straw Hat. It's Trafalgar Law, one of the 7 warlords, a Marine said. Why is he here? Marines! Track down the Straw Hats and don't let them get away, Tashigi ordering the Marines. I'll save you some trouble. Y'all are going to lie down to their feet, Law said as he started slashing the Marines. What business do you have with Straw Hats, and why are you intervening with ours? Smoker asked. I've been here first. You see, the Straw Hats are busy taking care of children that were locked up in the facility, Law answered. Right now I'm buying them some time. You can fight me if you want. Very well, warlord or not, Smoker said. Men, get out of his operation circle, otherwise he might end up in a split second. We must get out of here and report this Navy HQ, a Marine said. I won't let you, Law said. Room. Law forms an operation circle tact. Law then lifts Smoker's Marine ship into the sky in his operation circle. The warship, Smoker said. This guy is equally worse than Straw Hat, a Marine said. Sorry, can't let you pass, Law said. Kaya POV. Hurry, we need to find a way outside. Law said. That Smoker is at the entrance that we came in, Kaya said. Luffy is probably on his way here right now, Nami said. Yeah, but Brook is still out there, Chopper said. He told me to go on ahead since he was a fight ghost samurai. Puru. Clank. Yes, Captain? Vivi said. How is the progress? Luffy asked. We are with the children and trying to find a way outside, Vivi said. What about you? We are currently making our way to the facility, Luffy answered. Where are you though? Vivi asked. I'm in the air, Luffy answered. What do you mean you're in the air? Vivi asked. I'm saying that me, Zoro, Robin and Book are flying on Spectral right now, Luffy answered. Oh, I see the facility from here, Spectral said, but I see people down there. But I can't look very closely. We forgot to mention that the Marines are here, Vivi said. Smoker is battling with someone at the entrance. That Smoke bastard? Luffy asked. I thought he gave up catching me. Nope, he is still trying to capture us, Isaac said. I was very clear that if they want to catch me, they need to bring 5 warships or any higher-ups, Luffy said. He is still insisting on catching you, Isaac said. He really thinks that he has gotten stronger these past 2 years, Luffy said. Bad luck for him. Yeah, seems like it, Vivi said. Hurry up and free the children. I have a feeling that we are about to get into a fight, Luffy said. Roger that, Vivi said, and then she hangs up. Luffy POV. I hate that Smoke bastard spirit, Luffy said. Anyone in my crew can defeat him without breaking a sweat. I heard that he got one punched by Isaac. Robin said. I got to say, Isaac's movement and techniques are pretty skilled. No devil fruit or weapons, just fist and HAKI. Spectral said. That's impressive. Surely he is an Oni, but he is still part of our crew and base skilled person, Zoro said. Anyways, let's join up with Nami's group and help them out, soon as possible, Luffy said as they landed on the ground nearby the facility. Law POV. Damn it, Law. Bring down and give us the ship, Smoker said. Alright, fine, Law said. For real? The Marine said. But one more thing that I want to adjust, Law said as he slices the ship in half through his operation circle and brings down the ship to the ground. It will crush us. A Marine said. Run away. Another Marine said. Soon enough, Smoker, Tashigi and the Marines were running around as the ship was falling. Law then brings up a glacier and then slices it up into big pieces. Admiral, let's get out of here, another Marine said. That ability is way too powerful. And he is dangerous, another Marine said. That won't be happening. None of you can't escape. Law said as he brings down the sliced up glaciers and making part of the Marine ship on top of the glaciers. Our ship is a wreck. We can't take it out to sea, another Marine said. Yeah, we are stuck on this island with that lunatic, another Marine said. You are a warlord, bud. You simply broke contract of that, another Marine said. Knock it out, Law. Another Marine said. Wait until we report this to Navy HQ. You will lose your title, another one said. Do you really think I care about that? Law asked and flicks around his sword. Scan. Law scans the Marines with his sword and forming another operation circle. Law then teleports transponder snails near the entrance. Transponder snails? A Marine asked. Wait, where is mine? I lost mine, another Marine said. You stole them, didn't you? Another Marine asked. What do you need them for? Can't let you leave you squealing about what you saw on this island, Law said. That way the government doesn't hear about this. Goodness, Law, Luffy said as he walking up. You are worse than I am. Straw Hat Luffy, 2 years, has it? Law asked. What brings you here? As always, I want to explore islands, Luffy answered. I've heard that there was children's voice asking for help. Is my crew in there? Yeah, there are. I told them I was going to wait for you, Law answered. For me? Luffy asked. Yeah, I have an offer for you, Law said. Straw Hat. Smoker said. Come on, I'm just a guest here, Luffy said smirkingly. Guest or not, you're under arrest, Smoker said as he pulled out his weapon. Yeah, I refused, Luffy said. Doesn't matter, I'm taking you with me, Smoker said as he was trying to attack, only for him to get kicked by Spectral in the face, making him unconscious for a few seconds. He was right, Spectral said. Anyone can beat up this bastard in our crew. Smoker-san. You should have not done that, Tashigi said. Didn't you get one punched by the other member from his crew? Looks like you met your girlfriend after 2 years, Zoro, Luffy said while a little laughter in him. He is not my girlfriend / boyfriend. Zoro and Tashigi screamed at the same time with sharp teeth, making the other commanders and Marines laughed at them. Why are you even here? Tashigi said. Did you come here to help out the children? You know this island is off limits. Yeah, I do. But I'm a pirate, Luffy said, and the first question, yes. So, Law, about the offer and who is the enemy? The enemy is Caesar Clown, Law answered. He is one tough bastard. I'll tell you that. I'm looking forward to beating up this clown and freeing the children in this facility, Luffy said. And about the offer? That, I was hoping we could form an alliance with each other, Law said. Alliance? Like how? Luffy asked. Us two. We'll take down one of the 7 warlords and one of the 4 emperors of the sea, Law answered, and free Wano. Alright, sounds good to me. Who is the warlord and the emperor? Luffy asked. Warlord, Doflamingo. For emperor of the sea, Kaido, king of the beasts, Law answered. Kaido? So, we are going to take down Kaido and free Wano, Luffy said. Sounds excellent to me. Let me tell you, Straw Hat Law said, Doflamingo is a king, and his country is part of the world government. Not for much longer, Luffy said. His warlord days are about to be finished once I step foot on that island. I accept the alliance. Appreciate the acceptance, Straw Hat Law said, but first we need to help out the children and take care of Caesar. Sounds good to me, Luffy said, but firstly, let me destroy this door. What do you mean by Law asked. Red whirls. Luffy then crosses his arm and broke the metal door to the facility, and blowing away some marines. That was well easy. Spectral said. Let's go. Robin said. Seems like I'm not going to regret making an alliance with you, Straw Hat. Law said. Where are you? Luffy asked. Running around trying to find an escape for the children, Isaac answered. What about you? I just entered the laboratory, Luffy answered. Do you want us to turn around? We haven't gone that far, Isaac asked. Yeah, we need to find a way of defeating this clown, Luffy answered. Head back to the entrance. Roger that, Isaac said, and then he hangs up. I hope that the clown is home now, Luffy said. I advise you, he is dangerous, Law said. Dangerous how? Spectral asked. His devil fruit, Law answered. It's the Gasagasa devil fruit. His body is made out of gas and it's a Logia type. Logia of gas? What the hell, Luffy said. So, looks like we need to cautious about this. Yeah, that bastard is not the weak as you think he is, Law said. He and Doflamingo are working together, since Caesar is protected by the law. Damn, let's hope that we can find this bastard soon, Zoro said. Let's wait until the others arrive here, Robin said. That way we can find a way on how to defeat this clown and help the children escape. What about Smoker over there? Zoro asked as he was pointed at the unconscious Smoker who was laying on the snow. I don't know, maybe make him join up with us? Spectral answered. He knows that he is going to get knocked out again if he chooses to go against us. Not a bad idea, I guess, Luffy said. Hey! We're back, Isaac said as they were walking back to the entrance. Oh, hey, Spectral said, and he looked at the children that were behind him. Are those the children? Yeah, they are, Vivi answered. They look like giants, Zoro said. That what we thought as well, Kaya said. So, what's going to be our move? Nami asked. Firstly, there has been offer which I accepted, Luffy answered. We are going to be allying with Law to defeat Doflamingo, the warlord of the sea, and Kaido, one of the 4 emperors of the sea. An alliance? Usopp yelled out as he pulling on his hair. Please tell you thought about this. I did. We are going to ally together to beat Doflamingo and Kaido, Luffy answered, but for now, we need to beat up Caesar for right now. Captain San, I know you're lazy, but you seem easy to trust, Frankie said. How knows what might happen? I have you guys. Besides, if he does betray me, I'll let you guys protect me, Luffy said. I can trust you guys. The Straw Hats were stunned by Luffy's response. Thanks, Captain San, they said in unison. Are they like this? Law asked. Only if they were complimented/praised by our captain, Robin answered. Yeah, I can't blame the sleep, Luffy said, but he accidentally fallen asleep while talking. I forgot he didn't eat anyone ever since he got to the island, and he seems tired, Vivi said as he was staring at sleeping Luffy. He then wakes up and then rubs his forehead. Did I fall asleep? Luffy asked, and his crew nodded. Anyways, since we are all here, let's go ahead and find Caesar. I'll go with the kids, Robin said. Kaya, Chopper, come with me. Tashigi, go with them, Smoker said. Marines, be assistants with Tashigi and don't mess with the Straw Hats. Well, I guess the rest of us are going to go find Caesar, Luffy said. The clown is not that far from us. It's best if we kidnap Caesar, Law said. I'll stick to your plans, but I'm not taking orders from you, Luffy said. Fair enough, same goes for me, Law said. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. What is it? Luffy asked. The children are going crazy, Chopper answered. What happened? Luffy asked. Chopper, we're testing them for any sickness. Apparently they have been given a highly addictive drug, Robin answered. Hey Captain, I think we have bigger problems, Sanji said. What? Luffy said, confused. The samurai that we found in a cell is gone, Sanji said. How can this situation get any worse? I knew this was going to be a drag. Luffy exclaimed. Sanji, Brook, go chase after the samurai and make sure his body in one piece. Roger that. Come on, Brook, Sanji said as he started going outside with Brook to find the samurai. Caesar, you piece of shit, Luffy mumbled to himself, and then he hears screaming from where he was standing. What the? Are they fighting someone? Spectral asked. Mocha. Children, please be okay, Nami said. The kids are dropping like flies, Frankie said. Are we forgetting something? Are the kids sick? Luffy asked. Brownbeard, do you have something to do with this? Spectral asked angrily as Brownbeard was chained up. Hey Luffy, the little children are breaking down Oswell, Robin said. The children are suffering from incurable disease. Right now, Brownbeard answered, making Luffy feel surprised. What kind of shit is Caesar doing to these kids? Nami said. She punches the ice ground with her electric fist. The kids have been consuming these drugs every single day, Chopper answered. Caesar has been responsible for this bullshit. Luffy said angrily. What the hell does he want with these children? Watch your tongue, Brat. Brownbeard said. Our master knows what he is doing. Luffy, the children are freaking out, Robin said. Hey kids, settle down, Tashigi said. Tashigi-san, get away from them. They are going crazy, a Marine said. Don't hurt them. You hear me, Marines? Luffy said after he hears another explosion. Damn it. What's happening? Luffy said. They said they want candy, Kaya said. Captain San, they are pissed after we told them no candy, Frankie said. The longer we stay here, the bigger we get, one of the children said. That means that their size caused by growth. Chopper said. They are using these kids as test subjects. All of the kids are losing it. They are about to attack us, Frankie said. Do something to knock them out, soon as possible. Luffy said, nearly breaking his transponder snail. Allow me, Usopp said as he runs into the room where the children were staying at. If you hurt the children, then you and I are going to have long chat after this, Nami said. I won't hurt them, Usopp said. Sleep, Star. Usopp shoots a smoke bullet of where the children were standing at, completely making them fall asleep. What was that? Luffy asked. I put them to sleep, Usopp answered. Poor children. I had a feeling that they were kidnapped, Nami said. I want to revenge on this bastard who made them suffer, Chopper said. We are on the same page here, Luffy said. Unless we find Caesar and know where he is, Robin said. We can't be certain of anything. I know that, Luffy said, but at a time like this, half of the crew is looking for the samurai. We need to head over to the laboratory, Spectral said. I'm staying here, Chopper said. I must take care of children. So in this case, I'll protect them until you get back. Yeah, I'm staying behind as well. We can't leave Chopper all alone for this, Nami said. But if you're going to stay here, they will start going on a rampage once they wake up, Luffy said. Luffy and the others find some chains and chained up the children near the wall with them still sleeping. I think this is much better. I think so, but I do feel bad, Nami said. We will unchain them once we finish with Caesar. Spectral said. We should know when or where to attack Caesar. Law should tell us since he is with him, Luffy said. I can tell his subordinates are going to be waiting for him from the outside. Isaac, Robin, Spectral, and Vivi. Let's go outside, Luffy said. The rest you remain here. Few minutes later, Nami POV. What is going on out there? Nami said after they heard an explosion from the above. It seems like we are under attack here, Zoro said. They saw the others left the cave and started attacking us. Zoro then slashes some icicles and ice cubes from the cave top. There are probably Caesar's subordinates, Kaya said. I'll check the rooftop, she said as her flew herself to the rooftop to try and locate the enemies. Kaya, what do you see up there? Usopp asked. I see no one in sight, but my observation HAKI says that there are 2 giants around our area, Kaya answered. Someone is out there, shooting at us from a far distance. Kaya then sees the incoming cannons and stops them by freezing them. What the hell is going on out there? Brownbeard asked as he wakes. Who is attacking? Law. The master? Oh wait, we are in the snowy mountains, so it's them. Nami then hears that and runs over to the chained up Brownbeard. You know them? Who the hell is attacking us, or things are about to get ugly here, Nami said. You're wasting your time because you won't figure out who are they, Brownbeard answered. Once they are paid, they will carry out any assassination without fail. Everything else is a mystery, except for their footsteps, their voice, and they are deep. So you do know them, and you are explaining them to us, Nami said. Except that nobody knows what they look like, Brownbeard said. They are still tough. They came to the cave to rescue me. You're in trouble, which means you are on their hit list. Brownbeard then laughs, and then he stopped laughing as he saw a gun pointed at him, and he was trembling. You're Brownbeard, are you? Unknown man asked. For the record, you're on our hit list. Who is that guy? Kaya asked. He looks ginormous. He is like a yeti, Zoro said. We didn't even see him sneak in here, Chopper said. Wait a minute, Rock? Brownbeard said. It's Scotch, the unknown man said. You're here to kill me? Brownbeard asked. Now, that's got to be a joke. I must have misheard it. You didn't mishear anything, and it's not a joke, Scotch said. Master ordered us to assassinate you here. Now that's a joke. There is no way, Brownbeard said. Oh no? You want proof, Scotch said as he took out his baby snail. Oh yeah, on the way. What was that giant's name again? Caesar voice said. His voice, Brownbeard said, shivering and trembling. The one with the silly braid beard and immediately defeated by the Straw Hats. the famous pirate who being stupid. Oh yes, Brownbeard that his name. Yeah, I don't need him much longer now. Annihilate him, Caesar voice said. Caesar ordered him to kill Brownbeard? Zoro asked in surprise. No way, they're on the same side, Nami said. Now then, time for you to say goodbye, Scotch said as he prepares to fire his gun. But she shocked to Nami's fist form into electric, and then Nami forms two clouds to her sides. Wrath of Storm. Nami controls the thunder clouds towards Scotch, resulting into electrocuting him and breaking him gun into two pieces. Scotch! Rock said from the outside, are you alright? Nami then aims his thunderclouds at Rock and electrocuting him, making them both unconscious. This will definitely piss off Caesar for sure, Usopp said. Seems the kids are safe for now, Kaya said. I wouldn't be so sure about that, Chopper said, making the others raise an eyebrow, and then Chopper pointed at children, who are officially awake. Damn, they finally woken up, Zoro said. Candy, Sin said. They are still on drugs, Kaya said. Usopp, use your sleep star again, Zoro said. Sleep star. Usopp uses his sleep star again on the children, but didn't work as they were still awake. They're still awake? Usopp asked as he's shivering. What now? We can't let them loose, Nami asked. Suddenly, the chains are starting to break off of one of the children as they were still begging for candy. Oh shit! Zoro said. One of the children were about to break when suddenly, they fall back asleep again. That was close. Usopp said. Yeah, but it was a bit delayed, Nami said. Yeah, we are in massive trouble if they wake up again, Zoro said. Luffy POV. What was that explosion? Isaac asked. Seems like the enemies tried to annihilate our crew but failed, Luffy answered. I have a feeling that those were the subordinates of Caesar, Spectral said. We should head back, Robin said. Alright, let's go. The others will catch up eventually. I'm pretty sure that they are on their way to the laboratory, Luffy said as they made their way to the caves of where the children were. Luffy and his group saw the two unconscious Yetis sitting on the ground. They ignored them and entered back to the cave. Are the children okay? Luffy asked. Yeah, they are. The Yeti almost destroyed this whole cave, Nami answered. Luffy then walks up one of the children, Mocha, who was still sleeping. They must make it out of there alive, Luffy said. I'll be taking Caesar's head personally. Well, I figured out where Caesar is headed, Straw Hat Law said as he teleported his way into the cave. He is going to the laboratory. Lucky for us, Brooks said. Time for Caesar to pay for his actions, Sanji said. It took us 20 minutes to find this bastard and come back. Well, I guess you guys are done running around, Luffy said. Nope. I got a few energies left to go, Sanji said. Same here, Brooks said. Let's make our way to the laboratory. Right now, Luffy said. SS Straw Hat? Mocha said as she was waking up, making the Straw Hats shiver. Mocha? Don't go crazy, Luffy said. Luffy then see Mocha tearing up and then stood up. I just want to see my mommy again. I want to leave here, Mocha said as she started crying. Nami then went up to her and tries to calm her down. Chopper, she is back to normal now. What do we do? Luffy asked. We need to make her happy again. I'm sure the others aren't normal yet, Chopper said. You know, she might become useful for us, Luffy said, confusing the others. We will let her lead the children into escaping this island. How will we do that? Vivi asked. By giving Mocha candy, Luffy answered. How will that work? Usopp asked. He does have a point, Nami said. If we give Mocha the candy and the other children wake up, then the children would just be chasing her after the candy, which could lead them to escape. I suppose that is not a bad idea, Robin said. What do you say, Chopper? I agree. As much as I want them to escape, Chopper answered. Right then, let's help them escape and beat up Caesar, Luffy said. Few minutes later. Laboratory. Punk Hazard. Multiple POV. This master will be so proud of us, Caesar's subordinates said. Yeah, but the Straw Hats are still out there, another subordinate. Not a worry about it, Caesar said. The Straw Hats will be eliminated by my Gasa Gasa no Mi fruit. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. This is the Caesar the Clown, Caesar exclaimed. Master! The children are escaping the laboratory, a subordinate said. They're what? Caesar asked. Who is in charge of this? I'd say this will be us, Clowny Frankie said. A Straw Hat pirate. Wipe him out, Caesar said, and his subordinates started attacking. Sorry, but I need to head into the laboratory, Frankie said as he inspects his lasers. Radical beam. Frankie shoots out a light laser at Caesar's subordinate, making the ground crack. Do not fear, attack, a subordinate said. They were suddenly blocked by Spectral as he flew into them and formed a poison wall. Spectral POV. Sorry, We will not let you do as you please, Spectral said. Now time for us to get revenge on the children. 2 straw hats in sight. Poison human Spectral, and General Frankie and other subordinates said A/N. Spectral got a new epithet after the war. Frankie, I'm going to head into the laboratory first. Hold them off from me, Spectral said as he flew over towards the laboratory before Caesar was running away. You got it, Commander All-Star, Frankie said as he started shooting Caesar's subordinates. Don't let Spectral get into the laboratory first, Subordinate says as they started shooting at Spectral, who was immune to blunt attacks because of his fruit. Spectral turns his hand into poison that was burning up. Burning acid. Spectral throws a punch in between Subordinate, causing them to set on fire by his punch and defrosted by the snow on the ground. Don't get in my way, small fries, Spectral said. Weapons left. Frankie shoots down the remaining subordinates that were blocking the laboratory door. Don't get in my commander's or captain's way, small fries, Frankie said. Spectral then enters the laboratory and then walks around because he knew that someone was going to buy Caesar some time to execute his plan. Well, what do we have here? A green woman said. Poison human, what a nice surprise to see you here. Why is one Doflamingo's subordinates here? Spectral asked. I'm buying Master some time to execute his plan. I can't let your captain foil it, the green woman answered. The name is Monet. Monet, huh? Good to know. Now, don't stand in my way. I need to save the kids, Spectral said. No matter what you do, the kids won't escape, Monet said. Caesar is just a piece of shit, Spectral said. I won't let you insult the master like that, Monet said as she starts to attack Spectral with her snow fruit. What the? Do you possess a different fruit other than the kaze Nomi? You harpies, Spectral asked. I ate the Yuki Nomi. My body is made out of snow. It's a Logia type, Monet answered. Let's see how you will manage this. Logia or not, you're going down, Spectral said as he forms his arm into poison and throws a punch at Monet, resulting to her crashing into a wall. Ouch, that hurt, Monet said. Get used to it, Spectral said as he starts to fly around with his poison wings. I assume your devil fruit is Logia Oswell, Monet said. Nope, it's a special paramecia. I'm immune to blunt attacks, Spectral said. Surely my body behaves like Logia. Good to know that. Let's see how that fruits works with my snow power, Monet said as she traps Spectral in a snow domain. What is this? Spectral said. My snow domain. It's filled with 10 layers, Monet said, but she saw that the domain was burning up. What? How did you escape? My fruit can use fire with poison, Spectral answered as he flies out of the domain. Imperial poison. Spectral sends a kick at Monet and slashes her in the stomach, making her bleed and kneel to the ground. So, he does hit women. Monet thought. I thought he was toying with me, but he hasn't. Seems like you misjudged me, Spectral said, but you're nearly wrong. What? Monet said. I don't hit women in general, but I see people who attacks me or crew as my enemies, Spectral said, which is why I did that. Spectral sends a punch at Monet, but she dodges and starts to fly around. Once Spectral's punch hits the wall, it's changed direction of where Monet was going, and then it's hit, resulting to her crashing onto the rooftop. Damn you! I'll make sure you pay, Monet said as she starts to produce more wind, causing it to have snowstorm inside the laboratory. I'll set down the score for you, Spectral said as he pulls out his trident. I'm busy. I don't have time to waste on you, Harpy. I'll put you out of your misery, Monet said. Let me say this for you, Spectral said, if you tend to fight with an animal, which could rip you to shred, you get the hell out of there, he said, making Monet feel scared and unable to move. What a shame. Spectral then leaps and started to run at Monet. What the hell? I can't move my feet, Monet said. Deadly acid. He'll kill me for sure, Monet thought. Hunter's mark. Spectral pierced his trident in Monet's stomach and Monet's fall onto the ground, and then the ground started to crack and shake, almost breaking the wall in half. That settles the score, Spectral said. I need to find the others and to stop Caesar's plan. Spectral then flies out of there and makes his way around the laboratory. Luffy POV. Clowny, I know you're here, Luffy said. Don't be a coward and fight me. You know he isn't going to show up, right, Law said. Spectral and Frankie took care of the small fries. He was outside before he ran in here, Nami said. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Hey, it's me, Spectral said. Where are you right now? Nami asked. I'm soaring through the laboratory right now, Spectral answered. I defeated Monet, one of Caesar's assistants. Well, that's good for us, Zoro said. Chopper, Kaya and Robin are taking of children right now, Vivi said. I can feel Caesar around here, Luffy said. Caesar then appears in front of them, looking pissed off. You dare try to ruin my plans, Straw Hat? Caesar said as he yelled out. Hey Clowny, glad you showed up, Luffy said, making Caesar's eye twitch. Now then, I'm going to have to beat some hatred into for making the kids suffer, Luffy said as he punched Caesar in the face, making him crash into the wall, making him cough up blood. I must head to the control room, Caesar said as he starts running away. He can't run away from me much longer, Luffy said. Go help with Robin's group and try to find an exit for us to escape. Roger that, his crew said as they went over to help Robin's group as Luffy was chasing after Caesar, who was running towards his control room. Few minutes later, Caesar POV. Looks like I lost him, Caesar said. Now time for me to execute my plan. Most of the floors has been flooded by gas. The Straw Hats, Marine and the children will not make it out of here alive. That's our master. His subordinates started complimenting him. Our master, is this the best? Our master is a genius, Master Caesar. Why did you betray me? Brownbeard said. He was looking beat up by Caesar and his subordinates. Caesar looked at Brownbeard and then laughed at him. I don't need you anymore, Caesar answered. Ever since your soldiers and you got defeated by the Straw Hats, it's obvious that I'm going to be a walking disgrace if I let you stay with me. But Master, I've helped you a lot and you helped me, and you're throwing this away? You don't know when to quit, don't you? Caesar asked. It's obvious that I'm throwing that away. If I let you stay along much longer, then my plans are about to get foiled. Caesar then laughed. His laughter went away as he got punched in the face with a large fist coated in armament HAKI. Master! His subordinates yelled out. What the hell? Who dares to hit me, the almighty Caesar clown? Caesar asked. But when he heard footsteps, he began to shiver. You thought you could run from me, you little shit, Luffy said. If you thought that I was going to stay back and execute your plan which can harm the kids, you're wrong. Straw Hats / Fujitora, Caesar yelled out. This plan of yours seems weak. Should have expected it from a weak-ass clown like you, Luffy said as he was carrying Momonosuke on his shoulders. Tell me, Momonosuke, is this the clown who was harming their kids? Yes, that's him, Momonosuke answered. You better watch what you're saying, pirate. Caesar said. Secret room, do you hear me? Yes, master. What had happened? A subordinate answered. I command you, open the first floor air vents, Caesar ordered, which made his subordinates surprised. Don't wait or hesitate. Hurry and do it. Isn't the gas lethal, master? A subordinate asked. I'm made out of gas, Caesar said. It won't hurt me. Yes, master, we will evacuate the soldiers from the first floor immediately, another subordinate said. I said do it now. Caesar said. Is there a problem, or do I need to define the word now? Don't make any more excuses for this, and do what I commanded you. But master, there are over 100 of our soldiers on the first floor, a subordinate said. Does it look like I give a damn? You fools are nothing but guinea pigs, Caesar said. 100 of you could die and nobody would mention about it, let alone care about it. You are the disgraces to society, he said, making all of his subordinates feel shocked and unable to move. He showed his true nature after all to his subordinates. Luffy mumbled to himself. The only disgrace to society is him for ruining places with gasa no mi fruit. What are you hesitating about? Do you hear me? Caesar asked. It doesn't matter how many of at a lost cause. You are all replaceable, he said, making his subordinate cry. Let the gases come into the dead. It'll give me more power. Meanwhile, his subordinates are still shocked and started to sweat. Caesar is really a piece of shit after all, Luffy whispers to himself. I need to think of something before the gas reaches the crew. Luffy pulls out of his baby snail and hides behind Brownbeard and contacts someone. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Yes, Captain? Usopp asked. Keep your voice down a bit. I'm next to Caesar, Luffy said. Sorry, what do you need? Usopp said. Head over to the control room, close the doors and close the air vents if it's possible, Luffy answered. Tell the others that. By Luffy then hangs up and stands in front of Brownbeard again. Hey Caesar! Luffy called out. What are you trying to do? Is it obvious? I'm trying to gain my power into defeating you, Caesar answered. How will that help you? Luffy asked. You know, you seem like a coward after you ran away from one of my commanders. By the power of my devil fruit and the gas, I can gain more power and defeat easily, Caesar said. Secret room. Release the gas, now, master. We are under attack. It's one of the Straw Hats. They've entered the control room, a subordinate said. What? Caesar said. Sorry, but looks like you won't gain more power if I shut off the air vents and close the doors, Usopp said as he disconnects the baby snail and closes the air vents. Zoro POV. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Yes? Zoro asked. Hurry up and make your way through the door. I'm closing their air vents, and the closing the doors, Usopp answered. You got it, Zoro said, and then he hangs up. We got to hurry up and make it through the door before it closes, Zoro said, and the crew nodded and ran as fast as they could and made it through the door, completely blocking the gas from entering. Awesome, Nami said. Luffy POV. Sounds like your plan has been foiled, Caesar. Luffy said. Now time for me to continue on what I need to do. Bring it, Straw Hat, Caesar said as he was charging at Luffy, who was smirking. I will not let you ruin my plans. Looks like you have some guts, Luffy said. This is for the children. Luffy then jumps into the air, coated his fist in armament HAKI. River Quake. Luffy punches the air of where Caesar was charging at, making him cough up blood, and then Luffy pushes his fist, making him get pushed into the wall. I'll put you out of your misery, asshole, Caesar said as he gets out of the wall and starts attacking him with gas. No need for that, Luffy said as he takes off his captain's coat, only remaining his shirtless. Gastilly! Caesar shoots a beam of lit gas from his mouth directly towards Luffy, but he dodges it, and then it explodes at a wall. Gear second, Goma Goma, Jet Gatling. Luffy throws multiple fists coated in armament HAKI, completely dissolving the gas, and punched Caesar multiple times. See you later, you asshole, Luffy said as he finishes off Caesar, making his unconscious and was laying on the floor. Luffy then takes out his baby snail. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Yes, what is it? Law asked. Caesar is knocked out. What do you want to do with him? Luffy asked. Chain him up for now. We are supposed to kidnap him, Law answered. Alright then, can you make sure that you can tell my crew to meet me at the first floor? Luffy asked. Will do, Law answered. Later, Luffy said, and then he hangs up. So, this is going to Law's way of trying to defeat Doflamingo, Luffy said. No complaints about me. Man, what a drag. Few minutes later, Luffy and Momonosuke was sitting around waiting for the others to meet him at the first floor, when suddenly, the door was opened by Sanji as he kicked down the door. Took you long enough, Luffy said. What have you been doing, lazy Captain, Sanji asked. I took care of Caesar, Luffy said as he pointed behind him where it was chained up unconscious Caesar, who was laying on the ground. This will get Doflamingo's attention, Law said. I agree. But we need to get out of here, Luffy said. I'm pretty sure that the gas is also outside of the laboratory. He's right, and it's going to be very ugly, Brook said. Looks like we are done here, Luffy said. Screw this punk Hazard Island. The next day, somewhere at sea, Luffy POV. Oh Law, something big happened that was stated in the newspaper, Luffy said as he was bust down the kitchen door. Is it something about Doflamingo? Law asked. Just come look at the newspaper, Luffy said as he runs back outside with Law following him. Luffy and his crew started to take a look at the newspaper along with Law. Straw Hat Luffy and Warlord Trafalgar Law, two Worst Generation members, formed an alliance. Warlord Don Quixote Doflamingo resigned from the 7 warlords. Seems like Doflamingo resigned from his warlord title, Spectral said. And they heard that we made an unusual alliance with Law, Zoro said. That's just not it, Luffy said. Look at this. Luffy pointed to the next cover. Basil Hawkins, Eustace Kid, and Scratch Manapua, 3 Worst Generation members, formed an alliance. Seems like the Worst Generation is going more active now, Vivi said. Yeah, first it was the Straw Hats and Law, now it's those 3, Nami said. You will all pay for this one day, Straw Hats, Caesar said as he was chained up. Shut up, you asshole, Luffy said as he stomps on him. Be lucky that we didn't kill you. We are glad that those children were able to find a safe place away from you, Nami said. Now then, time for us to make something even more big. Let's go the Dressrosa, Luffy said, making his crewmates agree on him with Law smirking. Summary: everyone in the worlds learns about Luffy and Dragon's true name after it was figured out and was spread across the news. The Straw Hats arrive to Dressrosa. Luffy meets a Navy Admiral. Luffy POV. Luffy was laying on his bed, having his hat down his face, waiting until they arrived to Dressrosa. Robin, the second commander of the crew, was sitting right next to him reading a book. You sure seem trustworthy of Law, don't you think, Luffy-san? Robin asked. It's seeming interesting that he wants us to help him take down Doflamingo, Luffy answered. Do you know Law's plan for this? Not much. I think he is still figuring out about it, Robin answered. I'm not sure if it's going to go his way. I wouldn't worry too much about Luffy said, considering his devil fruit is dangerous. That is true? Do you know the name of it? Robin said. Nope, I didn't check. Could you get the Devil Fruit book? Luffy asked, and Robin nodded. Robin then comes back with the Devil Fruit book. Alright, let's see. The Opop no Mi Paramecia type. Sold for $5 billion for the Marines, Luffy said, which made Robin feel surprised. An interesting devil fruit for him, Robin said. Mostly one of the dangerous fruits out there, Luffy said. The 4 devil's fruits that we gave to the others in our crew are one of the dangerous fruits. Oh, would like to explain? Robin said. I would prefer to keep it a secret, Luffy said, smiling. You're always full of surprises, Robin said. Luffy then hears footsteps and then lifts up his head and stood up and stand up from his bed. Commander. Captain? Isaac said as he was barging in through the door. Is something wrong, Isaac? Luffy asked. Come quick, your name has been leaked in the newspaper, Isaac answered, which made Luffy shocked and came running out from his room. Captain? Your true name has been leaked. Not only that, your bounty poster has changed, Nami said as he hands him the newspaper and the bounty poster. Luffy then turns pale as he read the cover. Straw Hat Luffy actual name has been confirmed. Rox D. Luffy, son of Dragon and Rose, grandson of Rox D. XEBEC. How did they find out by my real name? Luffy asked as he was shivering. I'm surely we didn't tell anyone about this, Zoro said, and the crew nodded. I'm sure someone has found about your history and leaked into the newspaper, Nami said. There is no point of hiding my name anymore. Now everyone in the world knows my name, Luffy said, but it doesn't matter anymore. As long as we remain strong, it doesn't matter if they know your true name, Robin said, and they agreed on that. I'm wondering on how the world is reacting right now, Law said. Rox D. Luffy, wanted dead or alive. $2 940 500 00. Oh, my bounty hasn't changed that much, Luffy said. Doesn't stop us for going to Dressrosa anyways. Navy H.Q. Kazan POV. Kazan was sitting in his Fleet Admiral office with Garp sitting on the couch, writing in some paper room and filling in marine calls. Suddenly, a news crew came in flying through Kazan's office and dropped off the newspaper. I wonder what's happening in the world, Kazan said as he opens up the newspaper. After Kazan opens the newspaper, he was shocked to see the front cover. Garp-san, did you know that your grandson's name has been leaked? Wait, what? Garp asked as he got off the couch and grabs the newspaper, and then he looks shocked. How did this happen? I'm sure that grandson hasn't told anyone about his true name except for his crew and his friends. My guess someone mysterious figured out his name and decided to put it on the newspaper, Kazan said, which means your son-in-law's name is going to be leaked as Rox D. Dragon. I'm sure it doesn't matter if their true name is leaked, Garp said. My grandson is superhuman of paradise. My other grandson is like another superhuman as well. I guess you're right on that, Kazan said. Looks like his bounty has been changed as well, as he hands Garp his grandson's new bounty poster. It didn't change that much, but I'm still impressed on him, Garp said as he was laughing. Anyways, is any admirals on any missions right now? Well, one of them is back in Dressrosa. I'm not sure about the other two. I'll give them a call and see what they are up to, Kazan answered. So, some of your grandkids are the grandson of Rox D. XEBEC. Once I figured out my son-in-law's true name, I was shocked at first, Garp said. I thought it was an unexpected strong family that was about to be formed. You're not wrong on that. Thank God that I'm not Fleet Admiral anymore, Sengoku said. Can't believe that Garp is the brother-in-law of Rox D. XEBEC. Somewhere in the New World. Colton POV. Captain San. One of Colton's crew members said. What is it? Colton asked. Your brother's name has been leaked. The crewmate answered, which made Colton turn pale. My brother's name has been leaked? Colton said. Yes, it's been stated in the newspaper, he said as he hands Colton the newspaper, which made Colton shivered. Who dares expose my brother's true name? Do they know my real name as well? Colton asked. Yeah, not only that, but your bounty has also been changed, he said as he hands him Colton's new bounty. Rox D. Colton, wanted dead or alive. $3,952 million. It only went up to $110 million. It's not that bad, Colton said, almost to $4 billion. Ace POV. Ace. Marco said. What is it, Marco? Ace asked. Luffy's true name has been leaked, Marco answered, which made Ace turn pale. Straw Hat's true name, Vista asked. I thought it was Monkey D. Luffy? No, it stated that his true name is Rox D. Luffy. Marco said, which made the Whitebeard Pirates turn pale. Some of them shivered. How did this happen? Ace asked. I know that Luffy didn't expose himself to the public. Someone must have figured out his name and put it in the newspaper. That must have mean that Luffy is the grandson of Rox D. XEBEC. Isa said that is something way more unexpected. Did Luffy's bounty changed as well? Haruda asked. Yeah, it has, Marco said as he showed them Luffy's new bounty poster. Rox D. Luffy, wanted dead or alive. $2,940,500,000. He is almost at 3 billion, Josa said. His growth is surely expanding, Isa said. Seriously, you guys still want to ramble about Luffy, Ace said. Just because his true name has been leaked and his bounty has changed doesn't mean you think of him as a role model. It's not just Luffy, Marco said, it's also Colton, his biological older brother. Colton's name has been leaked? Haruda asked. Yeah, not only that, but his bounty has also been changed, Marco said as he hands them Colton's bounty poster. Roxy, Colton, wanted dead or alive. $3,952,000,000. The two of them are almost at 3 billion and 4 billion, Josa said. Those are some unexpected brothers right there. They are so cool, Vista said. Alright guys, calm down. No need to get Ace mad about them, Marco said as he saw Ace activating his devil fruit and turning his body into flames. Baltigo, Dragon and Sabo POV. Sabo-kun, you need to stop slacking off of paperwork, Koala said. Who are you to tell me what to do? Sabo asked. You are the chief of the Revolutionary Army, which means you are supposed to take charge around here as well, Koala said as she pinches his face cheeks, and that means no slacking off. I can slack off if I want to. If Luffy can, then so can I, Sabo said. Luffy is the supreme commander of his crew, but he is also lazy, Koala said. If I was in his crew, I would just scold him for slacking off. There is already someone who does that in his crew, Sabo said. Electro Master Nami. She often shakes his head around or slap him whenever he is slacking off. I hope I get to meet this girl and tell her about Luffy as you are the second in command, Koala said. Plus, there are some people who take cares of the ship if he is not there, Sabo said. Luffy has 3 commanders in his crew. Meanwhile, we have 4 commanders in our army. I had enough of this conversation. We are supposed to meet Dragon in 20 minutes, Koala said. Better get this done. Yeah, whatever, Sabo said. 20 minutes later. Did you guys finish your mission? Dragon asked. Yeah, although Sabo was slacking off, Koala said. How come Luffy get to slack off even if he is the supreme commander of his crew while I don't as the chief, Sabo asked. He doesn't have paperwork. Plus, my son has commanders in his crew if he is not there to take charge, Dragon answered. Surely Luffy is reckless and lazy, but he plays a big threat to the government, Koala said. Plus his sense of freedom is enough to make people follow him. His sense of freedom? Sabo asked. He calls it leadership freedom, Dragon answered. It means that he was born to be a leader, and he has high standards and good freedom in his path. Dragon-san. Chief. Koala-san. A revolutionary said as he was running into the base, making the 3 looks at him. What is wrong? Sabo asked. A news coup dropped off a newspaper and it stated Straw Hat Luffy's real name, the revolutionary said, which made Dragon and Sabo surprised. No way. Straw Hat's real name has been leaked? Another revolutionary said. It seemed so. Turns out Straw Hat's real name isn't Monkey D. Luffy, it's Rox D. Luffy. Another revolutionary said, which made Koala surprised as well. Dragon-san, your son's actual name is Rox D. Luffy? Koala said. Yeah, he is. Not only his biological brother, but I'm named Rox D. Dragon answered, which made Sabo and Koala more shocked. Does that mean that Straw Hat is the grandson of Rox D? XEBEC, another revolutionary said, but he is also the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp. Does that mean that you're the son of XEBEC and Luffy is the grandson of Rox D? XEBEC? Koala asked and Dragon nodded. Not only his name, but his bounty has been changed, the second revolutionary said. It's been increased to $2,940,500,000 berries, the first revolutionary said. Check it out. Luffy's biological brother's name has been leaked as well, the third revolutionary said, but his bounty has been changed also. Colton's name has been leaked? Dragon asked. We must figure out what is going on and how people are getting this information. This is about to be ugly in the world now, Sabo said. Assassin's Hideout. Damon POV. The Navy sure has changed a lot ever since the war. Rose said. How was the war with my son? It was pretty hellish, I could say. An admiral had died in the war, Damon answered. Well, that's something good to hear about, Rose said. It was good that we got to see our cousin in the war, Tara said. I'm sure we will see him again, Sadie said. He is probably going to flip out on us. May I ask why? Rio asked. We might have told Vivi, one of his crew members, to read Luffy's mind, Amy answered. Sadie, Luffy is probably going to steal your food again, Sora said. And if he does, then I'll send him to Okama Island, Rose said as she was smiling, making the male cousins shivered. Please, Aunt Rose, we don't want to be reminded about that, Damon said. Then you should have messed with us, Commanders, Amy said mockingly. Commanders. Assassin Admiral. Officers. An assassin said as he was running in the assassin admiral's office. What is it? Rose asked. The newspaper stated something about Straw Hat Luffy. The assassin said his real name has been leaked in the newspaper, which made all of them turn pale. Luffy's real name has been leaked? Tara said. Was he shivering? Yeah, it's all over the newspaper. It's not him, the revolutionary dragon, and the wind beast Colton's name has been leaked on the newspaper as well, the assassin said, which made them more shocked. How did this happen? Damon asked. Yeah, how could Luffy, Colton, and Uncle Dragon's name get leaked? Tara asked. Somebody must have figured out and published it in the newspaper, Amy said. My sons has already been in danger since they were kids. Now the world is about get uglier. Rose said. We must get more active on this. Yes, Admiral, they said in unison. So, time for Doflamingo's warlord days to be over, Luffy said as they pulled up to Dressrosa and Doc knew the shore and kept their ship hidden until they were ready to leave. Like I said, we need to be careful here. Doflamingo is not like any warlord you thought before. Law said. I could say that his devil fruit is extremely annoying. I know that for sure, but we're going to have to step up our game if we want to defeat him, Luffy said. He is not like Caesar, a weak-ass clown like him. Hey, I'll make you pay once I'm out of this, Caesar said, but Spectral stomps on him with his poisoned foot, making him scream in pain. You don't know when to quit, don't you? Spectral asked when he stomps on his again. This is a damn mess you made, and we don't have the manpower to clean this up. Surely Doflamingo isn't the only one here, but his lackeys seem tough opponents like him, Zoro said, like that other vice admiral that we ran into and was defeated by Law. Besides, there are people who are looking for you, Robin said, and also, you're the only one who can clean this mess up, so that's why you're here. Screw you, pirates, Caesar said. We appreciate the ride here, sir. Luffy Kinniman said. We owe you a lot. It's not big deal. Anyways, we will figure out on how to free Wano once we defeat Doflamingo here, Luffy said. And how does this little pervert transform back into his human self? He said as he was pointed at Momonosuke. Who are you calling a pervert? Momonosuke asked. Luffy, don't bully him. He is just a kid, Nami said as he smacks him in the face. Yeah, Luffy, please don't make fun a little kid, Vivi said. Alright, fine, Luffy said. Can't you try to fly, like you did back at Punk Hazard when you were stuck? He flew? Robin asked, confused. No, it's impossible. I can't do it. Not right now, Momonosuke answered. Even if I could, then it doesn't matter now. The point is, I will not do such dreadful thing as that. I will not fly, and you can't make me. Are you afraid of heights? It's fine if you don't want to admit it, Luffy said. For unknown reason, Momonosuke got angry and started attacking Luffy by biting his head. How dare you speak to me like that? Momonosuke said angrily. I am a great warrior of Wano. Nothing in the world fears me. You better watch your tongue, you little punk. Eat my fist. Is that something that you fear? Luffy said as he punches him in the dragon face, and then Luffy and Momonosuke got into a big, massive fight. Who do you think you're talking to? Loser, Momonosuke asked. Loser? I'll show you what I'm really capable of, Luffy said. What is Captain Moron doing? And what do we do? Sanji asked. General Luffy-san, he is only 8 years old, Brooks said. Cut this shit, Momonosuke. I don't care if you want to become the Shogun of Wano, you do your things, and I'll do my own things, Luffy said. I don't care if you want to become King of Pirates, you will bow down before me, Momonosuke said. You think I'll bow down to someone who has the Elio fruit? Luffy said. I won't bow down to someone who is named as Monkey, Momonosuke said. Monkey is a cool name and monkeys are awesome. I am named Rox D. Luffy, not Monkey D. Luffy anymore, Luffy said. Enough, Momonosuke. Kinniman said. We owe him our lives. Please stop this now. Luffy and Momonosuke then stopped their fight, and they were both taking a breather. Sorry about that, Sir Luffy. Please forgive him. He is a samurai, but he is still young and lacks restraint. Perhaps you can deal with restraint and dealing with children for our sakes. As long as he doesn't badmouth me or my family or friends, there I wouldn't mind, Luffy said as he was pulling his cheek. You understand, Momonosuke? As he released his cheek, making Momonosuke to scream in pain. You! Ow, Momonosuke said. I said enough, Momonosuke, Kinniman said, and then Momonosuke started tearing up. Curse this, Momonosuke said as he started running towards Nami and Vivi. Nami. Vivi, okay. Don't cry, Nami said as she patted her on the head. It really no need to cry, Momo, Vivi said. Why is he bullying me? Momonosuke said, crying. It's alright, Momo, Nami said. Suddenly, Momonosuke started hitting himself onto Nami's milks, which made Brook, Sanji, and Kinemon jealous. Meanwhile the others' sweat dropped and looked annoyed. Pervy kid. Luffy, Zoro, Spectral, Isaac, Law and Usopp said. You Brook started. Little Sanji continued. Pervert wretch. Kinemon finished. What's with them? Nami asked, sweat dropping. I don't know, but they don't like Momonosuke very much, Vivi said. Like father like son, he must have gotten that from you, Kinemon. Sanji said. Indeed, for sure, samurai should be a synonym for pervert. Kinemon, Brook said. This is most unfortunate. Watch your tongue with me, Kinemon said while he was embarrassed. Hey, we should not waste any time. We should head over by the town right now, Luffy said. Yeah, I nearly forgot one thing. What kinky outfit should we disguise ourselves in? Frankie said. Oh, you're right, I forgot, Kinemon said as he holds a paper. The men wear collared shirts, meanwhile the women wear nothing. Kinemon said all of the citizens of Dressrosa clothe themselves in this particular manner. So, to help you blend in amongst the population, I will disguise you accordingly. Dressrosa is the best, Sanji said with a heart in his eyes. Indeed, this is the best place, Brook said. Nami then punches Brook, Sanji and Kinemon on the face for their pervert personality. She did not want to dress like what Kinemon said. Meanwhile the males were sweat dropping. Knock it off, you morons, Nami said with sharp teeth. What a drag, Luffy said. Commander, do all or some samurais act like perverts? Spectral asked. I don't know, Spectral. It's a drag to think about for right now, Luffy answered. This is going to be lame, Zoro said. Nami is scary, Momonosuke said. Law, what are we going to do? Isaac asked. Take this. It might come in handy, Law answered as he gives Nami a Viva card. A Viva card? Nami said, confused. It takes you to the island called Zo I mentioned. Law said if something happens to us, then go there. Huh? What exactly do you mean? Nami asked. And what will happen to us, and how it will? Spectral asked. I'm not sure, Law answered. What's that? Luffy asked. It's a map that my one of Nakama made, Law answered. The map shows the island of Dressrosa and Greenbit. How crude it looks, Nami said. This is where we are right now, the western shore side of Dressrosa, Law said as he pointed at the western side. Doflamingo resides in the palace at the center of Dressrosa. The Smile Factory should be somewhere on the island. We don't have much time. The team we're sending to destroy the factory has to act quickly. So, what will you do? Luffy asked. I'll be the team that will be handing over Caesar. Law answered. We will travel across Dressrosa and cross the Long Bride on the northern side, which will take us to Greenbit. Might be a chance of Doflamingo showing up there, Luffy said. Wouldn't it be easier to sail over to Greenbit than not crossing the Long Bridge? Usopp asked. I'm not sure, but I would advise to not sail over there, because there might be enemies shooting us down, Isaac answered. From what I heard about this, ships can't get over to Greenbit, Law said. Really? How exciting about that, Robin said. Please keep me safe about this plan, okay? Caesar said. Shut up, Caesar, Luffy said. You're a pawn for right now. You see, General, I mustn't enter Dressrosa. Disease is acting up, Usopp said. I hope Kanjuro is unharmed right now, Momonosuke said. Quit it, Usopp, you'll get over it, Luffy said. Hey Law, I'll go up ahead for right now. I'll let you know if I see Doflamingo around. What about your appearance, Law asked. I got a plain scarf and shirt on the ship, Luffy answered. Okay then. Everyone who's staying guard of the ship should be wary of enemy attacks here, Law said. Don't let them steal the ship. What are you talking about? Nami asked. I have a bad feeling about that, Vivi said. There will enemies coming for us? Momonosuke asked. Will that be much of a problem here? Luffy answered. It's best if one of us goes with the ship team. I'm go with them. I'll do my best to protect them, Sanji said. Alright, be safe out there, Spectral said. Alright, Law. I'll go up ahead, Luffy said. I'll see you around here soon. Copy that, Law said. Damn it, General. Who will protect me? Usopp said. You got Kaya and Robin with you. Don't worry too much, Luffy answered. Be safe out there. Luffy and his group makes his way to the town of Dressrosa. Take care, Spectral said. Few minutes later. This island looks amazing here, Frankie said. This is super. Indeed, the smell looks good here, Isaac said. Guys, what the hell is that? Spectral asked as he pointed. A dog was running with stuffed arm and being chased a toy. Hey, wait. Get back. The toy said. Bad dog. Give me back my arm. It's not a toy I need that. There is also a female toy who turned around to the male toy chasing the dog who was running with the stuffed arm, and then the male toy blew past the female toy and making her crash into a lamp post. Are they toys? Luffy asked. Why, hello there, the soldier said as he appears in front of Luffy's face, which jump scared them. The soldier toy was moving around and playing with his strings. I'm just a friendly neighbor soldier around here. That's strange. Have we met somewhere before? I recognize your face from somewhere. The soldier then inspects Luffy's face closely, which made Luffy's eyes twitch. Oh yeah, that's right. You were stated in today's newspaper. Suddenly, the soldier got tangled up in his strings. What the is going around here? Luffy asked. This gets more weirder, Zoro said. Look at that. Luffy and his group then sees a baby toy in the stroller, a female holding a male toy that is playing the drums. It was very clear that most of Dressrosa's population is mostly with living's toys around, living along with the humans, acting like it was nothing particular about this country. The outsiders of Dressrosa were completely unamused by the population. Dressrosa, country of love, passion and toys, at the port town of Acacia. Luffy's group, the factory destroying and samurai Riku's team. A man has been stabbed on the streets. A robot toy said. There is a female screaming about that. Not that again, the soldier said. Again? Zoro asked. What do you mean? There's some serial killer on the loose in this country? A/N. This is going to be a long-ass chapter for this, since Dressrosa was one big-ass arc in One Piece. For the record, I don't own it. The reason I am so behind is because school is kicking my ass around and I'm nearly on break. No, it's just that the ladies of this country are very passionate about love, and extremely jealous, the soldier answered. If their hearts get broken, they often stab the guilty mean to death. What? That is scary. Zoro said. The more beautiful they are, the more murderous they are. The soldier said. I didn't figure this country will be such a drag, and also this lame. Luffy said. Let's get some food while we are here. Few minutes later, the factory destroying and samurai Riku's team were in disguises for Dressrosa and planning on taking down Doflamingo. Alright. Disguise complete, Luffy said. Luffy, wearing a black hat on top of his straw hat, wearing a scarf around his neck, wearing a pineapple shirt, but still keeps his normal black shorts and red shirt around his waist and his sandals, and wearing some shaded glasses. Zoro, wearing a black tuxedo with a mustache and still remained keeping his 3 swords and wearing some shade glasses. Frankie, wearing a black top hat and a black long-sleeve shirt and keeping his usual and some glasses. Spectral removed his scarf and is now wearing a kitsune-like mask on his face and wearing a black top hat and wearing a blue tuxedo. Kinemon, wearing a white mustache beard around on his face, wearing a long-sleeve shirt and carrying a red shirt around his waist and some glasses. Alright, I wonder if there is a restaurant around here, Luffy said as he started looking around. Found it, he said as he was running at the restaurant. Meanwhile, the crew were following behind him. Suddenly, Zoro stopped dead in his track when he heard something from his right. He sees a blind man walking down the stairs slowly. Zoro was inches away from his, gripping onto his sword when the blind man got closer to him. Pardon me, the blind man said. I heard that there was a casino around here. Do you know where it is? Sorry, old man. It's my first time in this town too, Zoro answered. How about to try and ask in that restaurant over there? Oh, I see. Thank you for your kindness, the blind man said as he was walking over towards the restaurant. That was close. Why do I feel like that the blind person is not some ordinary guy? Zoro said. I'll find out eventually. Luffy was drinking some water along with some as he took down half of his scarf. Kinemon was getting impatient, and then he slams the table, making Luffy split out his water. What are you doing? Luffy asked. We can't embarrass ourselves in this restaurant. We don't have the time to be sitting around in a place like this. Kinemon answered. I need to find Kanjuro quickly as possible. Calm down. It's true what we don't have enough time, but running around blindly won't help and this plan will be screwed, Spectral said. He's right. We need to find some information first, Frankie said. So, does anyone else think something is strange around here? Spectral asked. What do you mean? Luffy asked. I'm saying that the king of this country abdicated this morning. I expected people to panic about this. Do they not know about it yet? Zoro asked. I'm not sure, but I do know that they wouldn't, Spectral answered. Should we go around ask people about this? Luffy asked. No, we can't. Your face is on the front page on the news right now, Frankie answered. They heard cymbals at their table. I am very sorry to keep you waiting on your food. Or not. a toy waiter said as they bought them food. Sweet, I've been waiting for this, Luffy said. Dressed shrimp paella. Rice grains stir-fried and simmered with an assortment of seafood such as clams, mussels, calamari, lobster, and shrimps. Rose squid ink pasta. Seafood pasta with squids as its main ingredient. The pasta noodles are cooked with squid ink, dyeing it jet black. And fairy pumpkin in gazpacho. It all looks so delicious, Luffy said. Thank you, he said as he started eating his food. A/N2. Luffy only has advanced observation HAKI, not armament or conquerors. If Luffy had advanced armament HAKI, he would have destroyed a whole island by his power level and strength. Fairy pumpkin? What's that? Spectral asked. Well, you see, here in this country, people still believe that legends of fairies. Or maybe they don't, the toy waiter said. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Luffy asked. And then the toy started clapping with his cymbals. In other words, maybe fairies appear. Or maybe they don't, the toy waiter said. Fairies appear? The hell? Spectral said. That's right. Mysterious, isn't it? The waiter said as he was clapping with his cymbals multiple times. It's been like this for centuries. We can't see them, but they definitely exist. People call those fairies Dressrosa's guardian spirits. Or they don't. Get out of here. I had enough of you, Spectral said. Well then, travelers, please take care or don't, the waiter said as he walking away. Goodness, that toy is annoying, Spectral said. I felt like melting him. Seriously. It'd be easier to believe in fairies than in these living toys, country, Frankie said. He won again. That's 14 times in a row, a man said from the commotion in the back of the restaurant. What's with the commotion? Frankie said. It's the roulette table. They are gambling, Zoro answered. An old blind man is messing with them. Old blind man? Luffy asked. Maybe I should check it out. Do you gamble? Spectral asked. Sometimes back when I was a kid, Luffy answered as he walks over to the roulette table to see a blind man drops a mini ball in the spinning wheel. Place your bets, the gambler manager said. I've decided. Black, please, the old man said. Did you hear that? Black, he said. A man said. I'm betting black too. Another man said. Me too. A woman said. Of course I'll bet black. Another man said. No more bets, the gamble manager said as he rang the bell, and the wheel started slowing down, and then it drops onto black. Black, number 29. A man said. Black. The crowd started cheering for the old man. Amazing! That's 15 wins in a row. Another man said. Thank you? Thank you so much, sir. Another man said. Trusting you has made me rich. The second man said. Oh, it was nothing really. Just a lucky streak. The old man. This isn't much, but take it. Just a tip. Another man said as he handed out his chips to the old man. I'll pay some back to you as well. Please help me next round too. Another man said as he handed out his chips. Same here, the first woman said. And me, another man said. Suddenly, the door opened, and it was a couple of people walking through the door. The main guy whispered to door guard and then instantly walked out to the roulette table, and his gang surrounded the roulette table. The man banged on the table his hand, getting everyone on the roulette table's attention, including the blind man. It seemed you're pretty good at this, he said. Would you like to compete face to face, one-on-one? The blind man asked. That's right. I would like to challenge your luck in gambling, he answered. Don't tell me you're calling it quits now. Of course not. The other gambler's so kind as taught me, so I'll gladly compete with you, the blind man said. Well said. I like you, old man, he said. Luffy was observing the roulette table players from the chair that he saw sitting on while he was flicking a chip in the air. Meanwhile, his group was watched from the table. Something tells me that there will be a disadvantage in this, Luffy thought. For right now, I must play it cool until I get myself screwed in this situation. That said, the rest of you can go cash out, he said. The previous gamblers walked away from the roulette table except for Luffy. The old man placed his mini ball in the gamble wheel. So, what are you going to do? He asked. Put me down on white, please, the old man answered. That's so? He asked. Then I'll bet black. The mini ball dropped off the wheel and was placed on white. So, which one is it? The old man asked. He then saw that the ball was placed on white, but then took advantage of the old man. Too bad for you. It's black, he answered. You lose. I see. Well, I'll get it next time, the old man said. So, The guy is cheating against the old man. One nasty trick of gambling against someone who is blind, Luffy thought, but I can say that the old man is lucky in gambling. Maybe I should gamble after him. The blind old man placed his ball in the wheel. Go! White, the blind man said. We'll see, the croupier said. The ball landed on white, number 1. But the croupier took advantage of him again. Again, how unfortunate. Black twice in a row, the croupier said. This time it'll be white, the old man said as he places down another set of chips and the ball landed on white. But the croupier took advantage of that. He really won 17 times. My best streak in gambling is 15 foot, Luffy thought. I'm starting to like this old man. Black again, the croupier said, and then the old man gritted his teeth. White, the old man said. The ball placed at white, number 27. Black, the croupier said. White, the old man said. The ball placed at white, number 9. Black, the croupier said. White, the old man said as he sets down another pair of chips. 19 times. How lucky is the old man, Luffy thought. The ball is placed on white. Too bad. It's black, the croupier said. How awful, a man said. He's a disgrace to the Don Quixote family, a toy said. They are taking advantage of the old man, Spectral said. All right, we'll be taking the money you lost, the croupier said as he takes away the chips. It's easy to win when Buffalo-san isn't here, his man said. You can say that again, another one said. It seems my luck has run out. How unfortunate, the old man said. What will you do? Will you give up now? The croupier asked. No, the old man answered as he sets down all of his chips. I'll give it one last go. Risky move there. I like it, Luffy thought. I'd bet all my remaining chips, the old man said, which made the croupier's eye widen. What an intriguing right here, the croupier said. Then I'll match you and wager everything I've won. One cheat, one chip in the head, Luffy thought as he flicks up a chip in the air. I'm sure they won't mind if accidentally shoot with a single chip in my hands without people knowing if something goes wrong. What is General going to do? Frankie asked. I'm not sure about, but I can say that the old is lucky, Kinemon answered. He must have spent his life gambling, Zoro said. I'm sure Nami wants to gamble, Spectral said. Let's have an all-or-nothing match, like real men, the croupier said. Cheating in gambling does not make you a man, Luffy thought. If I shoot you and steal your money, I'm sure you won't mind if I give it to my crew. Everything you've won. Are you sure? The old man asked. Of course, the croupier answered. All right, here it goes, the old man said, and then he places his mini ball into the wheel. What will it be? The croupier asked. I've decided. White, please, the old man said. If you choose white, then naturally I'll pick black, the croupier said. Of course, the old man said. The ball kept on spinning. It was very tense since they decided to gamble their whole chips away to the winner. Come on, white, the old man said. No, it'll be black for sure, the croupier said. The ball got off the wheel and started to bounce around, almost about to land between black or white. When the croupier and his gang saw the color, they were shocked, and some were sweat dropping. So, what color is it? The old man. It was revealed that the ball was placed on white, number 7. The roulette table went quiet. The croupier gritted his teeth and then smiled. I guess the fact that you're not answering means that's it, white, right? The old man grinned, but then the croupier grabbed his head. Too bad for you, Gramps. The croupier. You mean, the old man said. That's right, the croupier said. It's BL, white, Luffy said as he flicked up a chip in the air, which made the tables shivered and the entire restaurant starting look at him. Croupier's group started to look at Luffy, who was flicking the chip in the air. Huh? Who the hell are you? Croupier asked. Me? I'm just one traveler who came here, Luffy answered. You didn't know I was spectating, didn't you? He flicked the chip in air again. Take a closer look. It's black, you dumbass, the croupier said. Nope, that's white. I know how gamblings work, Luffy said. Hey old man, you won, which made the blind man feel shocked. You stay out of this. This doesn't concern you, fool, the croupier said. That's right, a woman said. Do you want to die today, fool? A man said. Right now, Croupier's group had their swords and guns out and looking towards Luffy. Who is that guy? A man asked. Doesn't he know who he's up against? Yeah, of course, he is going to butting into that, Zoro said. This damn bastard. This was going so well, Croupier's guy said. Did I really win? The old man asked. Yeah, sure did, 20 times is pretty impressive for someone like you, Luffy answered. I won 20 times? I don't know who you are, but thank you so much for your kindness, the old man. Don't mention it. I know a lot of gambling as well, I just said what I saw, that's all, Luffy said. Congratulations on that. You're really good at this, huh, old M? Quit being so insolent, kid. Croupier said. Huh? Luffy said. If we say it's black, then it's black. Croupier said. He can't see anyway, so what does it matter? At least he doesn't cheat, unlike someone you like, Luffy said. You're such a bother, a man said. Luffy then foresees the future and looked amused. So, you will be met with something unexpected. Good luck, Luffy said. Die. Another man. The old man accidentally trips someone over with his cane, making him fall down. Oh my. Did I just accidentally trip a giant boar? The old man said and then laughed. If so, then I apologize. Be bastard. Croupier said. Currently, Croupier's group is surrounding the blind man. Oh my, this won't do. Young man, you would mind step aside for a bit? The old man said. Sure, Luffy answered as he steps back, watching the old man. I'm gonna send these guys down to hell, see? The old man said as he pulls out a sword from his cane. Kill him. Croupier said as his men started to attack him. The old man dodged the first swing from a sword and dodges a second one, and started slicing Croupier's men, which resulting them to still stand with no cuts, which confused Croupier's group. The old man puts his sword back in cane scabbard as he turns around, starts walking in between Croupier's army. Suddenly, the floor started to shake as the old man continued to walk, and suddenly Croupier's men started falling to the ground as the old man was inches away from putting his cane sword in his scabbard, bringing down Croupier onto the ground with the force of gravity, striking them onto the floor and can't get back up. Heavy. Croupier said. Then, the floor started to crack on them as the old man stopped walking and put his cane sword in scabbard completely, which made the floor break completely and sending Croupier and his group into the void. Luffy was shocked along with his group. What was that? Spectral asked. What did he just do? Frankie asked. No way, did he just do that with his sword? Luffy asked as he looks behind him to see a wide pit that could lead you to the void. Being blind has its advantages, the old man said, because there are many filthy things in this world that I would rather not look at. Right now, the whole restaurant is completely showed about the old man's power. Currently, Croupier's group is lying on the ground unconscious after they got sent down from the gravity. The old man started walking around. Please excuse me, the old man said. Who is that guy? A man said. Was that a devil fruit ability? Spectral asked. Seems like it, but what kind of ability was that? Zoro asked. I'm very sorry for the trouble, the old man said as he made his way to the front door. You can send the request for compensation to this address. He then gives the receptionist a piece of paper, which completely shocked them. You're really strong, old guy. That was nice one, Luffy said. Why thank you, young man. However, it would be better for the both of us if I didn't tell you, the old man said as he left the restaurant. Suddenly, there was long crash from the outside. Hey! Why don't you watch where you're going? A man said from the outside. I am very sorry. Are you hurt? The old man asked. The old man seems strong, but who is he? Luffy asked. Better for the both of us? Is he like some infamous guy that we don't know about? Frankie asked. Whatever he is, he's definitely trouble, Zoro said. He certainly has a devil fruit since he made something like that, Spectral said. My instincts say that we are going to see him again, but not the same way as here, Luffy said. Hey! My bag's gone, a man said. And my watch, another man said. Where'd my wallet go? A woman said. Damn it! My jacket has been stolen, a robot toy said. Even though it's midday, they still managed to sneak in through the dust, another man said. Did the old guy pickpocket everyone, or something? Spectral asked. No, it's not possible. We were watching him the whole time, Frankie said. One of them is missing, Zoro said. What do you mean? Kinemon asked. One of my swords is gone. Zoro answered. Shusui was right here. What? The treasury swords of Wano Kingdom? Kinemon asked. Damn it, where did Shusui go? Zoro asked. What shall we do? Kinemon asked. It's seeming everyone's been had. The fairies stole them, a toy said as he was playing the drums. What's that supposed to mean? Is it some sort of criminal organization? Zoro asked. Fairies are fairies. You just have to laugh and accept what they do. The toy answered. Is this a joke? I can't laugh at this. Zoro said. The fairies cannot be seen, but they have been the guardians of Dressrosa for generations, the toy said. We must turn a blind eye to whatever they do. Good grief, well, if it's the fairies doing, the toy said, guess they're nothing for it. A woman said. Is this another joke? Zoro asked. That is a national treasure of the Wano Kingdom. Along the sword named Misery. Hell no, you're not getting my sword, Kinim and Luffy said. Misery was gifted to me. The Shusui is my sword, Zoro said. Those swords doesn't belong to you too. Kinemon said. Don't make me tell you again. It was given to me. Zoro said. Sooner or later, I will fight you for the blades and return them to its rightful home, Kinemon said. Good luck fighting for it, Luffy said. Same here. I'll just take you down, Zoro said. Zoro then heard something and then turned to his right. He then sees the Shusui climbing out the window. Your greed was your downfall, fairies. You're not getting away from me. Zoro then runs towards the window. Looks like he is going to be busy chasing after his sword, Luffy said. I'll go with him. Spectral said. We don't need to let him wander off on his own since we don't have enough time. So, what should we do? Luffy asked. Have you found the culprit? I will not let you run off with one of the Wano Kingdom's treasures, Kinemon said. Zoro then jumps into the window, with Spectral and Kinemon following behind him. How about we get some information about Doflamingo while we are here, Frankie answered. I guess you're right about that, Luffy said as he looks down at the pit. Maybe those guys are Mingo's lackeys. Few minutes later. You're one of Doflamingo's men, aren't you? Frankie said. I am, so what of it? Croupier asked. Listen, you're going to give us information about this island and Doflamingo. And don't even think about fighting us, Luffy said, since you got your ass beaten by that old guy. Do you really think you'll get away with opposing the young master here in Dressrosa? Croupier asked. You low-class losers. Watch who you call low-class, Luffy said as he punches the wall in front of him, resulting half of the half to be cracked. Nearly broke the wall, which made him shiver. You don't know the position you're in right now. Just who are you guys? Croupier asked. That's not important as of right now, Frankie answered. We asked you a question, mister. So start talking now, Luffy said. I don't know much about Doflamingo or about this island, and others I don't know or heard of this smile thing before, Croupier said. Not even the idea of it? Frankie asked. Nothing at all. That goes for this factory of yours too, Croupier said. Why do you want to know? Well, this isn't good. Not even his own men don't know this, huh? Luffy said. Tell us where can find someone who gave you orders here, Frankie said, since this guy might just be a low rank for them. I've no idea where anybody is today. Everyone's too busy at the moment, Croupier said. Then where are your higher-ups? Luffy asked. If you want to find them, I advise to head over by the Coliseum, Croupier answered. The Coliseum? Frankie said. It's worth a try going over there, Luffy said. I've seen people going that direction lately. If you say so, you're free to go, Frankie said, but if you squeal to Doflamingo about this, then you're screwed, you got it? Why yes sir, Croupier said as he was started running away like a coward. Useless piece of shit, Luffy said as he started to run towards the Coliseum, although I'm kind of interested of what's inside the Coliseum. During the Coliseum, what the hell is he doing here? Luffy asked in disbelief. Isn't that the same person who is on Blackbeard's crew? Frankie asked. Yeah, it's him alright, Luffy said. Fleet captain of the Blackbeard Pirates, Jesus Burgess. Luffy and Frankie were watching a battle in the Coliseum, where they discovered a familiar face in the arena. When he took off his paper bag, it was revealed that it's Jesus Burgess from the Blackbeard Pirates. It seems like Blackbeard had sent Burgess to Dressrosa for an odd reason. Frankie, we must get out of here, Luffy said. There is no information about the factory or Doflamingo. We can't waste our time on one of Blackbeard's crew members. Roger that, General, Frankie said as they were heading out to the Coliseum. Soon enough, they see girls are lying on the floor, fainted, which confused both of them. Aren't they supposed to be the head of Coliseum? Frankie attentions. They are. How did they faint? Who came here? Luffy said. Sorry. It was me who caused them to faint, a noble pirate man said, which caught Luffy and Frankie's attention. Who are you? And what are you doing? Luffy asked. My name is Cavendish. But there's really no need for me to introduce myself, he answered, since everyone already knows who I am. He's so beautiful, a woman said. It's the pirate nobleman of the White Horse, Cavendish. And then multiple girls fainted on the ground. What the hell? Luffy said. Never expected that, Frankie said. How sinful is it to be beautiful? Cavendish said, a perfect existence. Just like this rose, this is what I am. From the day I was born, I have been far too blessed. I mean, I've made it this far without using a devil fruit or putting any effort into my actions. I made it with pure talent, which made Luffy and Frankie eyes twitch. No one cares about that shitty life of yours, Luffy said. How dare you insult a beautiful person like me, Cavendish said with a tick mark on his head. General, should we be wasting our time with him, Frankie said. It's a drag to listen to him talk for much longer, Luffy answered. Suddenly, they heard the crowd go extremely loud. When did they excited for? Last time I checked, it was lame. Not all Coliseum's events are lame, Cavendish said. What a drag! We are going to listen to him talk again, Luffy said. Do you know why the audience is so excited? Cavendish asked. Then he took a petal from the rose, its blood. For the audience, the gladiators are just another form of entertainment. The blood of fallen excites them. The Coliseums reveal the true color of humanity. All of the frustration, fear and anger that they suppress every day, the cruelty that people in their heats, people want to let it all out. For those people, the battle is nothing more than a show. Alright, thanks for that, I guess, Luffy said. We are about to head out. Hey, you, Cavendish said and caught Luffy's attention. Just who are you? Lucifer, Luffy answered. Why do you want to know? Lucifer, huh? Cavendish asked as he eats a petal from the rose. Why are you even interesting into me? Luffy asked. Part of your name reminds of someone. I thought you were Straw Hat, Luffy, Cavendish said. What about Straw Hat Luffy? Luffy asked. Because if you were Straw Hat Luffy, then I'd have to kill you right here, Cavendish answered, which surprised Luffy and Frankie. He wanted to kill Straw Hat Luffy? For what reason? Why? Luffy asked. 3 years ago, I entered the New World. The world was shaken to its core by the appearance of a beautiful rookie worth over 200 million. I was constantly on the front page of the newspapers. All the girls went crazy over my wanted posters. They kept stealing all of the wanted posters around town. Everyone was focused on me. Hey, star of the show. Are you calling me? Of course. Look at me, Cavendish-sama. Don't worry, I'm always looking at you. Cavendish said. A/N. This the cringiest dialogue and entry of Cavendish I've written in this chapter. This chapter is going to be a total pain, but I'm finishing this before I have to wake up for school tomorrow. Suddenly, Cavendish's smile faded, and his face darkened and showed anger, and snapped another rose. But after 1 year, the war against Whitebeard, the revolutionaries, the assassins, and 2 other pirates changed everything. Straw Hat Luffy stood beside Whitebeard and red-haired Shanks, and the entire world was entranced by them. Furthermore, new rookies just keep popping up. They're known as the notorious worst generation for the crazy amount of havoc they wreak. The reporters don't even look at me anymore. That's why I'll kill all those annoying upstarts. Every single one. Not everyone pirate or everyone keeps their spotlight in the newspaper, Luffy said, but I do think you're blaming the wrong people in your case. Say whatever you like. Cavendish said. I must let the world know to notice again me, so I'll happily kill all the junior rookies if I have to. I think you lost it for sure, Frankie said. I second that, Luffy said. Let's go. We don't need him to be talking to himself much more or not waste our time. Don't you dare walk away from me. Cavendish said, but they just ignored him. You will not ignore me for much longer. Unknown POV. Isho-san, here is your coat, a man said as he holding a marine coat. Oh, thank you. The old man said, and then the man puts the old man's marine coat on. Shall we go? The old man asked as he started to walk with his cane sword. We need, maybe, 3 Navy ships. And in the meantime, let's head for. The old man said. What was the name again? It's Greenbit, the man said. Yes, let's go there, and in addition, bring medics as possible just in case we have injuries around here. We have casualties, the old man. Yes, sir, the man replies. I also want to know how many spectators are there back in the Coliseum, and the population of this town, the old man said. Okay, instead of enemy numbers? Is this necessary, the soldier asked? Which made the old man stop in his tracks. The number of enemies should consider to be less importance than the number of people who need protected for this occasion. Would you think that you agree on that? The old man said. Fujitora, Isho Marine Admiral of Navy Headquarters. Yes, sir. Calling all Marines on Dressrosa. We are heading to Greenbit. Rendezvous in front of the Coliseum. Under the command of the Admiral, The operation is about to begin," the soldier said, calling out to all of the Marines that are on Dressrosa, northeast of Dressrosa. Robin POV, "You're planning on heading over to Green Dip?" A waiter asked. "I wouldn't recommend going there." "Are you researchers of explorers?" "We are something like that, I guess you could say," Usopp answered. "Unless you're willing to risk your life for it, don't go," the waiter said. "You see that bridge over there? It looks fairly sturdy," Robin said. "Yes, it's solid steel. But look, as you can see, no one is allowed to go past it or use it," the waiter said. "Around Green Bit, there's a school of fighting fish. Before they came around, a lot of people went there, but that was like 200 years ago." "Pardon me, sir, but what is a fighting fish?" Caesar asked. "Vicious fish with horns," the waiter answered. "If you get close to them on a ship, then they'll capsize it. That's why we made a bridge of steel, but it didn't help." "Those kinds of fish can destroy a steel bridge?" "That's crazy," Kaya said. "I'm not sure on how the bridge works. Basically," the waiter said, "the only people who know about it is the people who have used the bridge. But I'm not sure if anyone that came back." The waiter walks away. "What?" Usopp said. "Hey Traff and Robin, how about we contact the general and tell that we are exchanging locations?" "Yeah, I'm sure the general don't mind about that. And think about the person you're handing over, you idiot," Caesar said. "Idiot," Usopp said. "I won't change it. Your Supreme Commander knows that we came too far for you to complain about this," Law said. "What is worries more is the current state of this country." "He's right about that," Kaya said. "Captain is probably in the middle of trying to figure out information about Doflamingo, or this country." "Yeah, Commander is going to freak out if you decide to exchange last minute before Doflamingo arrives there," Vivi said. "Now about this country, the king just renounced his throne, so I wonder why things are so peaceful around here." Law said. "I knew there'd be complications, but I didn't expect them so soon. Now I'm worried too." "We should really contact Luffy," Usopp said. "Let Luffy do his own things for right now. We can't go ahead and mess this up right now. We need to wait until it's the right time," Robin said. "But Robin," Usopp said. "Commander's orders." Robin said. "Yes, Commander," Usopp said as he sits back down in his chair. Robin then felt tremendous presence around her area and then turned to her left to see 3 people in white outfits, walking in the same direction. Robin then lowers her hat down a bit. "Stay quiet," Robin said. "Is something wrong, Robin?" Usopp asked. Robin told Usopp to stay quiet. Caesar then turned to his right, and then quietly screeches. "What's wrong with you guys?" Usopp asked. "CP0," Law said. "CP?" Usopp asked. "Currently, the town is shocked to see the 3 masked Cypher Pole agents in the town. People started to get out of their way since they were scared by Cypher Pole, the world's strongest intelligence agency." Robin said. "Cypher Pole Aegis 0. Are they related to CP9? Usopp asked as he was sweating. "Those guys are at the top of that organization," Robin answered. "You saying that these guys are the stronger than CP9? Those guys were plenty awful 2 years back," Kaya asked. "Let's just say that nothing good happens whenever they take action," Robin answered. "That is likely true," Law said. Luffy POV. "Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Luffy, where are you?" Robin asked. "I'm in the Coliseum right now with Frankie," Luffy answered. "Why are over there?" Law asked. "Let's just say, we encountered Doflamingo's lackeys, and he told us that his higher-ups would be here," Luffy answered. "However, we are trying to find some information about the factory and Doflamingo." "Where are the others?" Vivi asked. "Well, they are kind of on the chase, since one of Zoro's swords got away and are now on the search for it as we speak," Luffy answered. "You let them go on a chase?" Law asked. "I didn't even care about it. All I need is information right now," Luffy answered. "By the way, one of Blackbeard's crew members is here." "One of Blackbeard's crew members?" "Those guys were tough to handle," Usopp said. "Blackbeard is just a coward," Luffy replied. "Anyways, it's not just Blackbeard here. There are also multiple pirates like some dude named Cavendish are here." "Cavendish?" Kaya asked. "It's a weird name, but I do know that he hates the worst generation," Luffy answered. "How come?" Law asked. "Before the worst generation was unerupted, people were noticing him, and he is determined to kill all of the worst generation members in order to get fame back in the newspaper," Luffy answered. "Seems like a total drag of me to hear about it. So I must be careful around him if I see him?" Law asked. "Something like that," Luffy answered. "How about you? It seems going after Doflamingo got much harder." Vivi said. "CP0 is here in this country." "You've got to kidding me. At a time like this?" Luffy asked. They might try to get in our way of defeating Doflamingo, Law said. Don't do anything unnecessary. Don't let them know who you are, Luffy said. But General, how about we Usopp said. Clank. Luffy hangs up his baby snail. Robin POV. Did he just hang up on us? Usopp asked. Who do you think he is? Hanging us up like that. He is our captain and supreme commander of the crew, Vivi said. Robin just slightly laughed. Thousand Sunny. Ship team. Isaac POV. Isaac was laying on the side of ship, gazing at the skies. They haven't left Dressrosa yet, and is waiting for Luffy to get them that they can set sail. Chopper was drinking some tea, and he finished it, which made Momonosuke yell at him. Which kind of annoyed Isaac a bit but shrugged a bit. You're not supposed to drink it all. Momonosuke said. Listen. A poison tester just tastes a little to make sure that the food the shogun is going to eat isn't poisoned. You understand? Isaac then sighed and got up and walked towards the kitchen, where he met Sanji, who was cooking up some food on the ship. I thought you'd fallen asleep outside, Sanji said. I almost did, but I heard Momonosuke yelling again, Isaac said. Figures, do you want something? Sanji asked. Onigiri, and probably some donuts. If it's not possible, then I'll just have the onigiri, Isaac answered. Alright, I'll have it done in a few minutes, Sanji said. Heard back from Captain? Not that I heard of, Isaac answered. I'll get the Viva card for us to head over to So. Alright, I'll call you when your food is ready, Sanji said. Isaac then walks out the door and meets back in the middle of the ship. Now, do it again. Momonosuke said. Bring the tea, Choppyman. I shall bring it right away, my lord. Chopper said as he was bowing his head at Momonosuke before grabbing more tea. How do you feel about this? Isaac asked. I'm not sure about it. I'm just waiting for General to give us orders, Brook answered. Nami is winding Momonosuke as he is sitting on her lap. Subject. Oh Nami. My lord, how do you feel? Nami asked. This is pleasing to me. I am very satisfied. Momonosuke said. Maybe I should go ahead and try, Brook said. I would advise you not, Brook, Isaac said. How come? Brook asked. Knowing Nami, you're about to get your head banged on, Isaac answered. She only serving to Momonosuke since he is just a kid. You do have a point there, Brook said. Looks like we are just relaxing for now on. Brook, Isaac. Chopper said as they turned towards Chopper, who is holding tea in his hands. We're playing Shogun. Huh? Isaac asked. Momo gets depressed whenever we leave him alone, as if he's thinking about something bad. Chopper answered. I'd bet he is just being a pervert in general. We enough perverts in this crew, Isaac said. He's probably thinking of something that is pervy, likewise, Brook said. That's not like that. He won't tell us. Chopper said. He may be young, but he seems to have a wounded heart. Is that so? Isaac asked. I wonder that's what was wrong, Brook said. But still, he is pervert in the outcome of this, Isaac said. But he looks like he is pretending to be happy, so we don't have to worry about him too much. How touching it is, Brook said. Hey, Sir Bones and Sir Devil. Momonosuke said. What? Isaac asked. Yes? Brook asked. Make this ship set sail and make it go fast and entertain me while we are here, Momonosuke said. Sorry, I don't take orders from little perverts. Isaac said. Don't tell me what to do if I have one commander of this crew. Yeah, I only take orders from Commander Luffy-san, Brook said. But then, Chopper punches both of them in face. Do it already, Chopper said. I understand. I'll warn Sanji that we are setting sail, Isaac said as he goes back to kitchen. Hey Sanji, we are about to set off, Isaac said. Did the captain give the order? Sanji asked. No, but Momonosuke is being a brat and telling us to set sail, Isaac answered, which made Sanji sigh. I swear, Captain is going to kick his butt once he sees him again, Sanji said. As they started to set sail and head out to the seas, meanwhile is singing a song right now. Luffy POV. Well, looks like Zoro got his swords back since he called me, Luffy said. See anyone familiar in the arena? Not that I know of, Frankie answered, except that one Blackbeard crew member. Well, this isn't going to help us at all, Luffy said. Have you tried asking people to know if they know about the factory? I asked a toy about it, but he wasn't very much help about it, Frankie said. Damn, this is going to be lame. Not much information for the factory, Luffy said. We should contact the others to see if they know about this country or the factory. Frankie then sees someone stepping into the arena, who has green hair, have fawn teeth. Hey Luffy, check this out, Frankie said. Luffy then looks out the window of where they could see the arena. Who is that? Luffy said. The person then lifts up two of his hands and pointed to each side of the outside of the arena. All of you, go to hell, he said, which shocked most of the arena's members. "What did you just say, you asshole?" a man said. "Go home." A woman said. "You go to hell." The crowd started throwing trash at the fawn-teeth person. "Don't throw stuff. Please don't throw stuff," the commentator said. "The guy has some balls to do that in front of everyone," Luffy said. The fawn-teeth person started laughing at the crowd. "I wonder who that person is," Frankie said. "That I could easily tell you," Cavendish said as he appears from the shadows. "Are you following us now?" Luffy said. "Your business doesn't involve in ours." "Calm down, don't you know who that person is?" Cavendish asked. "Alright, talk," Luffy said. "He's the captain of a pirate group called Barto Club." Cavendish said. "His name is Bartholomew the Cannibal. His bounty is 100 million berries." The crowd started bad-mouthing him. He pulled something out of his pocket, which it was revealed that it was black-covered ball. He immediately started to throw it. "What do you think you are doing, bastard?" the commentator asked as he leaps out of his seat. Then, Bartolomeo threw the air which shocked the crowd, and they tried to run out of the arena, but the crowd was too big for to escape. When it was starting to land, it was revealed that it was a baseball covered in black paint. "Nasty trick there," Luffy said. "He has insolent manners. In other words, he is just not a menace," Cavendish said. "I see, since he made fool of the whole crowd," Frankie said. "Looks like the tough fighters are about to be up," Luffy said as he sees Bartolomeo fooling around in the arena. Meanwhile the fighters are battling against each other. "He is fooling around, reminds of one of those insane newcomers. Like Straw Hat," Luffy Cavendish said as he scrolls down many pages of bounty posters. "I'll take care of him when it's my time." "What are you doing, Cabbage?" Luffy asked. "Checking out the wanted posters of the worst generation," Cavendish answered. "But I need news one in this case. I can barely see their faces with these knife cuts." "Would you just let it go already? Half of them seem stronger than you," Frankie said. "Not a chance. I will kill them." "Not matter what," Cavendish answered. "I expected more members to hide their face like Burgess, but didn't show up after all." "You're really planning this too much, Cabbage," Frankie said. "It's likely that most of your plans are going to foil soon enough." "Enough trying to talk me out of this. Now tell on how I should key," Cavendish said. But he heard footsteps from behind. It was a very tall man approaching the three of them. "Is a good watch to see the battle from here?" the tall man asked. "Who are you?" Luffy asked. "He's Cavendish." Didn't get to finish as the tall man started to squish Luffy, Frankie and Cavendish. "TT too tight," Luffy said as he pushes away the old tall man. "Who are you, old man? By the way, how is Garp-san doing?" "Straw Hat Luffy-kun," the tall man said, which surprised Luffy, Frankie and Cavendish. "Shit, how does know my old geezer and me in disguise?" Luffy asked. "I almost got killed by Garp-san once," the tall man said. "I've decided to make a grudge against his children and grandchildren." "Frankie, we got to bail," Luffy said. "My cover has been blown. It's time I take my revenge, since you're his grandson," the tall man said. "The name is Chinjo." "If he is really Straw Hat Luffy and Garp's grandson, then I'll cut you down from where you stand," Cavendish said. "If I had figured out Garp's daughter, Rose, sooner, then you would have never had a chance to be born," Chinjo said as he smashes the ground his head. "Now then, are you really Straw Hat? Take off the scarf, Cavendish." "Why don't you make me?" Luffy said as he punches Cavendish in the guts and Chinjo in the stomach, making them collapse on the ground. "Hurry. We must bail." Luffy and Frankie started to run out of the Coliseum, leaving Cavendish and Chinjo on the floor unconscious. "How did he figure out it was you?" Frankie asked. "I don't know. We must contact everyone that I've been discovered," Luffy answered. "We only got a few minutes before they wake up." Luffy and Frankie make their way downstairs, where they found people were unconscious and the Coliseum's medic were rushing in order to treat them. But there was one particular person who was critically injured from the battle. "It's been a while, has it?" the person asked. "Bellamy?" Luffy asked. "How did you get hurt like this? The real question is, why were you cheering me on at the arena?" Bellamy asked. "I'm so pathetic as to be an executive of Doflamingo. I used to stick up to him as a kid. I haven't changed a bit in the last 2 years." "Yes, you have changed, Bellamy," Luffy said. "You're the one who's changed. With that tremendous powerful haki of yours actually grew. It was not the same as from 2 years ago. It pisses me off to think about it. My pride has been left in tatters," Straw Hat Bellamy said. Suddenly, Bartolomeo was walking and then stopped in his track when he heard Straw Hat. "SSTSTR Straw Hat?" Bartolomeo asked. Robin POV. "Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Yes, Captain San?" Robin said. My cover has been blown in the arena. Luffy said. I have people on my ass right now. What did you do? Law asked. I didn't nothing bad. They figured out that it was me and started chasing me. Luffy answered. The Cavendish guy figured out who I was and now there is a tall man after me for being Garp's grandson, since the old geezer nearly killed the guy. I see. Try and get out of the Coliseum soon as possible, Law said. I'm trying my best over here, Luffy said, but there are too many people around here. Clank. Unknown POV. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Hello, this is Hak here, Sabo, a man said. Oh, Hak, where are you right now? Sabo asked. Right now, I'm in the Coliseum right now, Hak answered. I have some information around here. What is that? Sabo asked. Apparently, there are fighters are currently chasing a certain individual in this town, Hak said. Oh, who is that individual you say? Koala asked. It's someone who goes by the name Straw Hat, Luffy, Hak said, which made Sabo feel surprised. Luffy is here? Why is here? Sabo asked. I'm not sure, but I do know he is being chased right now with one of his crew members, Hak answered. Luffy is probably here to take down Doflamingo since he is allied with Trafalgar Law, Koala said. In that case, we should help him out and his crew, Sabo said. I heard that there is an admiral where on this country. Well, we must be careful of what we do here, Hak said. Roger that, Sabo said. Did we lose them? Luffy asked. Yeah, for right now, Frankie answered. Well, this is a total blow. 3 people know who we are, and 2 of them are trying to kill us, Luffy said. Currently, Luffy and Frankie are sitting in an alleyway away from the Coliseum, after their sudden reveal. Luffy takes off his scarf as there were no one around them, and Frankie took off his hat. General, should we check in with the ship team? Frankie said. Sure, I have a feeling that Law wants Caesar to stay on board the ship, Luffy said as he pulls out the baby snail. Isaac POV. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Captain-san? Isaac said, making the crew members shivered. Hey, I just want to check in if you guys are okay, Luffy said. Yeah, we are doing alright, Luffy-kun, Nami said. Have you seen Doflamingo around? Luffy asked. No, we haven't. What about on your part? Sanji said. My cover has been blown only by like 3 people, which means I'm kind of hiding for right now, Luffy said. I checked up on Robin's team and they were heading over to Green Bit. Also, CP0 is on this country. Also, the ship is not damaged, right? Frankie said. No, it's in perfect shape, Frankie, Isaac answered. Alright, I'll contact Law to bring Caesar to Sunny. You guys will be taking him unless he has different plans, Luffy said. About that, Captain-san, Sanji said. What? Luffy said. Momonosuke ordered us to set sail, but we tried telling him to wait for your orders. But he was about to mess up our ship if we denied his order, Isaac said. You've got to kidding me. Luffy said. No, we aren't. We are currently in the seas right now, Brooks said. Great, how are supposed to leave this island? Luffy said. He is lucky that I'm not like my old geezer. Where are you guys headed to right now? We still have the Viva card to Zo, Brooks said. Do you want to turn around, grab Caesar and head to Zo? Sure, but be careful, Luffy said. Doflamingo might be showing up in a few moments after you arrive. Clank. Nami, we are about to make a quick turn back, Isaac said. How come? Nami asked. Captain wants us to pick up Caesar, Sanji said. No, don't turn about this ship. We must continue, Momonosuke said. It was an imperial order from the captain. Brooks said. We as his officers of the Straw Hats follow our general's orders, and the general ordered us to turn around and head back to Dressrosa to pick up Caesar. He's right about Momonosuke, Nami said. Alright, let's go back. No, I don't want to go back. I destroyed the ship if that's the last thing I'll do, Momonosuke said. Can someone restrain him? Sanji asked. Surely, we will go back him until we grab Caesar, Isaac answered. Sanji then reroutes the Thousand Sunny back towards Dressrosa to pick up Caesar. Law POV. Puru Puru. 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 Clank, do you have any different plan? Luffy asked. Right now I'm a sitting duck. Not much that I can think of, Law answered. What are you planning? I was hoping that the Sunny team could grab Caesar and head over to Zo, Luffy answered, unless you got different plans with him. It's not a bad idea. I guess Law said you are aware that the Sunny team sailed off without your permission. They what? Robin asked. They didn't get the order, Vivi said. Whose idea was that? Kaya asked. It was Momonosuke. Luffy said with a slight voice. I've already called them. They are heading back as we speak. Doflamingo might be showing up very soon. Clank. For right now, we are on our own, Luffy said. This is going to be annoying. I agree with that, General, Frankie said. What are you guys doing? Spectral asked as he flew down into the alleyway. He then throws a sake bottle at Luffy. We are hiding for now. My cover has been blown, Luffy answered. Caesar is going on board with the Sunny team onward to Zo. So, what's our plan to take down Doflamingo? Zoro asked. I don't know. I'm not sure Law has come up with one yet, Luffy answered. Where is Kinemon? We lost him after we were chasing down Zoro's sword, Spectral answered. General, I think you should go back to the Coliseum again, Frankie said. Those guys must have left the area. Alright, let's go, Luffy said. What will you do? I'll go with Robin's group. Don't worry, I'll be careful, Frankie answered. Alright, let's go, Luffy said. They soon make their way back to Coliseum, trying to kill time before they have to into war with Doflamingo. Which he might be here already. Should we be careful here? Spectral asked. The only pirate here who wants to kill are the only people who are in the worst generation, Luffy answered, which includes me, Zoro and Law, as we are here in this country. Great, just what we need in our way, Zoro said. There is also an old man who wants to kill me because I'm the grandson of Garp, Luffy said. You're really in deep trouble, Spectral said. I'm sure Law wouldn't mind if we cause a little trouble here, Luffy said. They re-enter the Coliseum and viewing every block, and they see some injured people around. Seems like those are the losers who lost in the tournament. As they were walking, they see something running towards them. Straw Hat, Cavendish said. Apparently, Cavendish was still waiting in the Coliseum for Luffy. Is that the person you're talking about? Spectral said. Yeah, that's him, Luffy answered. There's nowhere for you to run now. Meet your fate, Cavendish said. Duranda. Cavendish swings his sword at Luffy, only for him to dodge. Who are you guys two? Cavendish asked. Then, Cavendish noticed the green hair on Zoro's head and then scowled. Your Roronoa Zoro, also a member of the worst generation, as Straw Hat. Cavendish swings his sword at Zoro, only for them to dodge. Stand still, Cavendish said as he was trying to cut down Luffy and Zoro. Hey, cut it out, a man said. Hey, are you part of them too? A man asked Spectral. Spectral stared at the man for a few seconds. I'm not willing to answer that. Not right now, Spectral answered. Cavendish has lost it again. Bartolomeo heard a voice as he was walking. Then he stopped dead in his tracks and turned to see Cavendish trying to slice Luffy and Zoro. One guy insulted Straw Hat Luffy in front of Bartolomeo, and then he was being suffocated by Bartolomeo with his devil fruit powers. He then lectures the man about Luffy is going to be the future pirate king and the story about him being Luffy's biggest fan and almost cutting his tongue off with a knife in his hands, but then he punches the man and threw him against the wall. Spectral noticed it and raised an eyebrow. Who's him? Spectral asked. That's Bartolomeo, a man answered. Why is he going crazy now? Spectral asked. Apparently, the guy over there insulted Straw Hat, the man answered. I heard that he is Luffy's biggest fan. I see. People do like him, especially his style, Spectral said, and then turned back to Cavendish, still trying to slice up Luffy and Zoro. Do you need a hand? Spectral asked. Yeah, this is getting annoying, Luffy said. Alright, Spectral said. He then activated his armament HAKI and widened his arms towards the wall. What is that guy doing? A man asked. Hey, I would get out of there right now, Spectral said. Luffy and Zoro went behind Spectral's back and waited for him to attack. Planetary clash. Spectral is starting to close the gap of his arms, causing walls to have gravity against the people in the corridor Coliseum, almost suffocating him into each other, including Cavendish. Once Spectral clashes his hands together, people started to lose their breath until Spectral released them. Why do we got to waste our time on you guys? Spectral said. Watch who you're dealing with. No way. Could that be it? Can? It's the first and third commanders of the Straw Hat Pirates, Bartolomeo thought. I recognize their appearance through the disguise. Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro, first commander of the Straw Hats. Poison Human Spectral, third commander of the Straw Hats. I wish I could go up to them, but I'm too shy to talk to them. I'm chickening out. I want to see what they will do next. But where is the second commander, Nico Robin? We need to go. That guy will regain conscious if we keep standing around here, Zoro said. Yeah, we need to find somewhere we can hide out, Luffy said. Straw Hat. Luffy heard a voice and then turned around. They see Chinjao injured and was being carried by his grandsons. Listen up. Gramps has something he wants to say to you. Hang in there, Grandpa, one of his grandsons said. Huh? Are we still doing this? I thought you were knocked out, Luffy said. Shinjo started to growl as his eyes were darkened. You've got it wrong, Shinjo said. He then hits the ground, causing to shake and breaking towards of where Luffy and the others were standing, making them dodge. I don't even hate Garp anymore. I want to convey my immense gratitude. Please, just me thank Luffy. Spectral and Zoro started to fleet. Wait, grandson of Garp. Hold it, Straw Hat, Cavendish said. He then starts to chase after them. Poison ball. Spectral throws a ball of poison at Cavendish, and then exploded onto him, making them buy some more time of running away from Shinjo and Cavendish. Bartolomeo sees them running past him and squeals as he was blushing. They ran straight past me. Bartolomeo said, wait. Bartolomeo started to run after them. Seriously, what is up with Cabbage? Luffy asked. Cabbage? Zoro said. Thought it was Cavendish? Don't matter, Luffy said. I'm not willing to learn people's name very much. The name kind of suits him, Spectral said. WW, what should I do? Bartolomeo asked. I want to talk to him, but I just don't know how. Please wait. Spectral then turned his head around to see Bartolomeo and Cavendish chasing after them. Why is that Barto guy following us? Spectral asked himself. Oh, whatever, we will know answers some way. I wanted to show my gratitude for putting my head back to normal, by offering to make my grandchildren's happy navy serve you. Shinjo said. Wait. Shinjo started to join the chase of running after Luffy's group. These guys are so persistent, Luffy said. We need to find a way to ditch them, Zoro said. Luffy, Zoro, and Spectral ran as fast as they could to try to escape the people that were chasing them. The three of them ended up in a corridor with nobody around them. Alright, we should be good here for a few minutes, Spectral said. Right now, let's just relax, Luffy said. The question is, where do we go if they find us again? Zoro asked. Pissed. Over here, someone said from behind them. It was a girl in a gladiator outfit. It's you, Luffy said, but couldn't remember the name. It's Rebecca. You sure have a lot of enemies, she said. Follow me, I'll help you guys. Thanks, Luffy said. The three of them followed Rebecca into escaping. As they were running, Luffy hears a laugh and stopped midway in his tracks, along with Zoro and Spectral. They soon saw it was Jesus Burgess, who smiled at them. Why is Blackbeard's crew member here? Spectral said. Oh, hold on, Captain, Burgess said. Straw Hat and his commanders are here. Oh, you're there too? Blackbeard said through the den mushy. Straw Hat, you're lucky that I wasn't able to kill you back at Marineford, Luffy said. I can tell you this. You gave me a hard time as you cut one of my eyes off, which I barely now see. Blackbeard said. I've heard that old former Captain Whitebeard Devil Fruit is somewhere around the New World. Give it up, you won't be able to get your hands on it, Spectral said as he punches Burgess in the face, making his crash into a pillar. After all, you're still a big, massive coward, Zoro said. What are you doing? Blackbeard asked. What did you just do to Burgess? Put him back on. Nah, he is just on the floor. Damn you, Straw Hat, Blackbeard said. Reminder, this is not the same thing back 2 years ago, Luffy said as he snatches the den mushy. My power that I used to wield 2 years back isn't the same as I grew more tremendous power. If you're willing to come fight me, then do as you please. I live up to my name as Rocksteady, Luffy. Get it through your big ass head, got it, you hippo? Luffy then breaks the den mushy and continued to pummel Burgess until he has unconscious. Let's go. Rebecca, right, Luffy said. They soon started to run again away from Burgess. Rebecca decided to ask a question. You know that pirate? Rebecca asked. Yeah, we met him back 2 years ago, Spectral answered as they were still running, but they stopped as Luffy who looking at a Coliseum stand. Do you want food right now? Rebecca asked. It wouldn't hurt. Plus I got money left back at the casino, Luffy answered. I guess that's fair, Spectral said. They soon got each other some food, and they soon make their way to a dormitory, away from the people in the Coliseum. This looks great, Luffy said. He then takes off his scarf and starts eating. I wonder if Sanji could make something like this, Spectral said as he begins eating. It would be better if it had some booze into it, Zoro said as they passed Luffy and Spectral 2 bottles of sake. You guys sure wouldn't let me pay. Which is kind of funny, Rebecca said. Why would we let someone why didn't know pay for our lunch? Luffy said. Besides, we wouldn't want to use all of your money on us. Anyways, where are we? Spectral asked. December 7th, 24, present time. Hey, this is quick author's note. I've started this chapter like 3 to 4 days ago after I published chapter 27 I've been focusing on school lately and haven't been able to finish this chapter. I'm also a little sick, but I was still working on different stories other than working on this story. I'll be trying to wrap up this as fast as I could. Also, don't forget to comment and vote for these later. This is the dormitory for the Coliseum gladiators. Rebecca answered, though some people would call it a prison. Rebecca takes off her helmet, revealing her pink hair. Guest competitors never come down here, so you guys can relax here. Thanks for that. There are too many people that we have to run from, Luffy said. You guys seem like a strong bunch, since you got pummeled that guy back there, Rebecca said as they continued to eat. Is it good? Sure is. Coliseum lunch is delicious, Luffy said. I'll say, I haven't had anything like this, Zoro said. This is truly amazing, Spectral said. Rebecca then chuckles at the three of them. You sure you're not hungry, Rebecca? Luffy asked. Which made Rebecca had a flashback of when she was a kid. She and her mother wasn't able to eat for 2 days. She then witnessed her own mother die in front of her eyes. No, I don't get hungry, Rebecca answered. Really? You're like a samurai, Luffy said. Suddenly, there was an arm was reaching out from the cells, grabbing Luffy, Zoro, and Spectral the necks and waist. Got them. Rebecca, this is your chance to kill them, someone said. What? 3 of them said in unison. Isn't that why you brought them down here? He asked. What is this shit? Rebecca, what's going on? Luffy asked. Rebecca then grabs her sword, as she walks over to Luffy, who is squirming to get out of someone's grip. Hey! You'll make me drop my booze, Luffy said. Kill them, he said. What's wrong? What is this? Spectral asked. He then sees Rebecca pointed her sword at Luffy, and then starts to attack him first. Luffy then gets out of someone's grip and dodged Rebecca's swords and continues drinking. Rebecca swings her sword again, but Luffy dodged her and pinned her onto the ground and sets Zoro and Spectral free. Do whatever you want. I deserve it, Rebecca said. Why would I kill someone that easily, Luffy said. I tried to, you 3. Rebecca yelled out. More like attack us. But it doesn't matter as we are not dead, Luffy said. How could he forgive you so easily? Someone asked. That really shows the difference in between you two, Rebecca. Who are you guys? Spectral asked. We are the prisoner gladiators. Someone answered. Rebecca is one of us too. We have to keep fighting in the arena until we're killed for the amusement of the audience. I take it you guys are fighting in the arena, another one said. No, we aren't, Zoro said. Then, who are you guys? Another one asked. Luffy, Zoro, and Spectral took off their disguises and completing shocking the prisoners. I'm Rocksteady. Luffy, I'm Spectral. I'm Roronoa Zoro. It's the Straw Hats. No way, their crew is massive strong. Not only that, but their captain is also the grandson of Rocksteady, XEBEC and Monkey D. Garp, we are here in this country to take down Doflamingo, Luffy said. Robin POV. Should we contact the captain that we are here? Kaya asked. I guess we could. Robin said. I don't think he is busy right now. Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Yes? Luffy asked. We made it over to Greenbit. Is there anything we should be aware of? Robin asked. Not much except for Doflamingo, Luffy answered. Where are you guys right now? Vivi asked. Still in the Coliseum. Frankie is trying to meet up with you guys or to find Kinemon, Zoro answered. Straw Hat. I'm not liking of what you and Law are doing. Caesar screeched. Is that Clowny? Luffy asked. Making his crew snickers. How is he holding up? Wouldn't shut up even since we made it over here, Kaya answered. The Sunny will arrive here soon enough, Luffy said. I do have one question though. How did a Navy warship get here? Vivi asked. What are you talking? There is no Navy, Usopp said, but then paused as he looked to see a Navy warship in the sand, also in some plants. Navy warship? Spectral asked. Looks like an admiral is over there. An admiral? Caesar screeched. Remember, Luffy said that the Navy had changed these past 2 years ago. Robin said so. I have a feeling that we are about to see a new admiral of the Navy. Doflamingo isn't a warlord anymore. Nothing can't protect me from the law. Caesar screeched. Doflamingo better come save me. Don't make a fuss. Law said as he pointed his sword at Caesar. Do they know our exchange? Kaya asked. I don't want to come face to face with an admiral. Caesar screeched. Keep your voice down, idiot scientist, Usopp said. Also, since his Joker isn't a warlord, he is just another pirate, Vivi said. We could turn Clowny over to the Navy, but we need him for this, Luffy said. What kind of hell is your general giving me? Caesar said. This is worse. Shouldn't use children as test subjects for science, Spectral said. Give it rest, clown. We will meet back soon enough. You guys help out Law in any cases, Zoro said. Clank. This is going to be troubling, Kaya said, since the Navy is also here. Also, Cypher Pole is here as we were in the town with them, Vivi said. Luffy wants Caesar on board the Sunny. We can't turn him over to Doflamingo, Robin said. Try to see if the Sunny comes back and alert the captain if they do. Roger that, the crew said in unison. Robin then walks up to Law, who looked concerned. You sure have a sly expression on your face, Robin said. Just a coincidence. That's all, Law said. How could I even call the Navy here? Caesar then runs up to Robin, with the look of scared. Please, Lady Robin, contact your leader to abort this mission. Bringing the ship here is a terrible idea. No chances. Law is also an enemy in the Navy's eyes and teamed up with the Straw Hats, Robin said. Plus, I'm one of his advisors and I take charge of this group as well. You guys better not be setting me up, Caesar said. Shut up, Clowny. We won't forgive of what you had done back at Punk Hazard, Vivi said as she punches Caesar in the guts. Usopp, get your sniper ready. Vivi and Kaya, you're on surveillance. Watch around to see if Doflamingo shows up, Robin said. Nico is sure a good commander in Straw Hat's crew. I wonder how they handle such crazy troubling leader like him? Law asked himself. But Robin, we didn't plan on the Navy being here, Usopp said. Few minutes later. A/N2. I'm fast-forwarding this because it's going to be lame as I'm going through the Dressrosa arc episodes. Robin and Usopp went into the forest. Usopp was holding out his flint knocks and covering Robin as they were alerted that the Navy was in the forest. They both see Marines trying to scout the Straw Hats but were stripped from their weapons and clothing, running away out of the forest. Robin grabs and sees a dwarf and showed Usopp to it, which completely shocked them. They soon fallen asleep as they were hit with sleeping gas and was kidnapped to a dwarf country. The dwarfs sewed Robin to the ground because they were scared if Robin and Usopp were planning on attacking them, since Robin answered with a no and set Robin free, being how trustworthy they were. Robin tries to leave but the dwarfs stop her and ask her for weapons, but she refused and attacked her again. One dwarf told them to hold off from attacking Robin and Usopp lied to the dwarf, said that he was a descendant of Nolan the Liar. Spectral contacts Law about Doflamingo stepping down from the warlords as he heard about CP0 claiming that the information about Doflamingo was false and incorrect, making the citizens of Dressrosa happy, and CP0 tells the citizens to keep this information a secret. Doflamingo is making his way towards the southeast side of Greenbit. Admiral Fujitora and his squad are wandering around the forest of Greenbit. Meanwhile, Fujitora was having a conversation with Kazan. The information about Doflamingo was incorrect? Fujitora asked. Just what does that mean, Kazan? Was the Navy manipulated with incorrect information? Apparently so. I find it quite a pain. Kazan said. I'll try to have a discussion with the Gorosei at Marijoa. Head over to the place of where Trafalgar Law and Doflamingo are meeting up. Understood, Fujitora said. Law and Caesar just got off the call between him and Spectral, warning Law about leaving Greenbit immediately, and Law understood, telling Vivi and Kaya to get off this island. Suddenly, Fujitora appears out of the forest along with squad, and Doflamingo appears along with him. Law tells Vivi and Kaya to escape without him and will catch up with them later as begins fighting Doflamingo and Fujitora. Nami POV. The ship team were fighting Jorah, one of the officers of the Don Quixote Pirates. Trap Chopper, Momonosuke, Sanji, Isaac and Nami in a deadly art that would suffocate them, but Brook was able to defeat him and turn the others back to normal. Suddenly, Jorah was back on her and started to attack the ship again, but was defeated by the Sunny's cannonball, and then was knocked out by Momonosuke with a bat. Nice one, kid, Sanji said. You really knocked her out with that. Impressive, Isaac said. Okay. Captain said we need to grab Caesar and head for Zone, Nami said. The question is, where is Caesar and Law? And why does Luffy want Caesar on the Sunny? Chopper asked. I can tell you this, young master hasn't stepped down from the 7 warlords. Jorah said. I can say, your commander had made a smart choice of not handling Caesar over to young master. How about you shut up before we toss your dumbass into the sea? Isaac said as he stomps on Jorah, making her scream in pain. Damn you, demon! Jorah said, making Isaac growing veins on his forehead, and coated his arm in armament HAKI. Demon, you say? In that case, Isaac said, manipulating the gravity of the sea and the ship, making Jorah get pummeled to the ship floor. Isaac! Sanji said she is chained up, don't let her get to you. Hold your haki. Alright, Isaac said as he lowers his hand down. Sorry about that. Law POV. Oh? That's interesting, Fujitora said. What is it, Fujitora? Doflamingo said. I felt tremendous lighting and gravity forces coming from the sea, Fujitora answered. Lighting? Gravity? Doflamingo said, confused. I may be blind, but I thought I could read the weather fairly well. My devil fruit lets me manipulate gravity as well, Fujitora said. I guess I'm getting old. If I remember, Nami and Isaac could control the weather and manipulate the forces. So, the ship has come. Law thought. Hey Joker, if you've gotten it back, then hurry and give it to me. Caesar said, my heart, my heart. Doflamingo then inspects the heart in his hands. I never said that was Caesar's heart. Law said. What? That's what you used to threaten me. Caesar said, right now, my heart isn't inside my chest. I can't hear my heartbeat at all. Doflamingo then inspects the heart. Looking irritated, he then squishes the heart, and then Caesar screams and then falls onto the ground. He then gets back up, completely fine, and was utter confused when he heard the Marines screaming. Room! Law said as he forms an operation circle, from being suffocated to the ground shambles. Law then teleports his hat, his sword, and himself and swap places with a rock and grabs Caesar and run away from Doflamingo and Fujitora. I need to make a run for it fast. The only person who match up with an admiral is Straw Hat, Law thought. Law then swaps places with multiple objects in order to get away from Doflamingo with Caesar in his hands. Damn it, Law, let go of me. Caesar said. Not until I place you onto the ship, Law said. Quit wasting my time, you brat. Doflamingo said, there is no place to run. You know that for sure, Trafalgar Law. Nami POV. Any sight of Traff? Nami asked. I can't see very well, due to the fog, Chopper said, except for the strange forest. What if Caesar was able to get away from them? Sanji asked. He couldn't, Isaac answered. How would you know? Nami asked. Because Law has his heart in his possession. He could kill Caesar if he wanted to, Isaac answered. That would seem rather extreme if you asked me, Brooks said. Suddenly, there was shake on the ship, making them fall onto the ground and rolling around. Ouch, what was that? Nami asked. What's happening? There was a fighting fish, headbutting the ship's side, making them fall over and rolling all over the ship. Suddenly, more fighting fish appeared out of the ocean. It's a school of fighting fish. Jorah said, you came too close to the island. Fighting fish? Brooke asked. What are those? Isaac asked. Those are killer fishes that can sink warships, Jorah answered, making them feel shocked. Law POV. Law is still running away from Doflamingo with Caesar in his hands, as he keeps swapping him with objects and Doflamingo slicing them with his devil fruit. Keep following me, Doflamingo. Law said, if he targets the ship, then we're out. I'll draw him to the bridge and then throw Caesar from there. There I could buy plenty of time for the ship team to escape. What this? Are you trying to cross the bridge? Doflamingo asked. If you're planning on going to Dressrosa, then you're stepping foot in my territory. Law continues running from Doflamingo until the both of them heard screaming from the sea. They saw that it was the Sunny team screaming. Damn it, those guys, Law said. I see, so that's what you were planning on doing, Doflamingo said as he shot a massive smile. He then goes over towards the Sunny. Wait, Doflamingo. They have nothing to do this. Law said. It's over, Law. Doflamingo said. Nami POV. Electroquake. Nami kicks one of the fighting fish in the face, electrocuting the fighting fish and making the fish unconscious, and completely making the sea shake. Red Thunder. Isaac sends a fast kick slash, causing it catch lightning and fire, aiming at two fighting fish man, taking them to be electrified and burning up. Suddenly, the fighting fishes started to return back to the sea, looking frightened as they were sweating. What happened? Isaac asked. Where did they go? Brooke asked. Are the fighting fish gone, Sir Bones? Momonosuke asked. Fighting fish, fighting fish, fighting fish. Chopper said, huh? What is it now? Sanji asked. It's Doflamingo, and he is flying towards us, Chopper answered. Young master, Jorah said. What does he want with us? Isaac asked. Doflamingo started to fly towards the Sunny, laughing as he was prepared to attack them. Watch very closely, Law. Doflamingo said. Your allies are going to die a pathetic death right before your eyes. Stop it, Law said. Isaac, let's go, Sanji said. Isaac then uses Zoro, and Sanji uses Skywalk. Isaac coded his fist in armament HAKI while Sanji uses Diable Jam. How about you get away from our ship? Isaac asked. He goes for Doflamingo's stomach, but he blocked his punch as he blocks Sanji's kick. I see, Demonic Kid and Black Leg from the Straw Hats, Doflamingo said. Sky Devastation. Isaac kicks Doflamingo away from and Sanji. Premier Hachis. Sanji tries to kick Doflamingo, but he dodges his kick. My turn, Pentachromatic String. Multiple stripes cut Sanji and Isaac around their chests. Let's see if you two can protect your crew, Doflamingo said. He then flies over the Sunny and tries to attack them but was prevented by Sanji and Isaac again as they both attack him. The crew join them into attacking him, but Doflamingo traps Isaac and Sanji and tries to attack them again. Suddenly, Shambles, Law swaps Doflamingo with him and Caesar, making him accidentally miss the attack and cutting off a building at Dressrosa. It's Traff. He saved Sanji and Isaac. Chopper said, Sorry, that was my fault on that part. Law said I'll take us to the ship. Law then teleports himself, Caesar, Sanji and Isaac back to the Sunny. Traff San. Brooke said, Sanji. Isaac. Chopper said, Damn it, I'm back on the ship full of monsters. Caesar screeched, I'll contact the captain. Isaac said, Puru Puru. 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 Clank. Isaac? Luffy asked. We have Caesar on board the ship. But Doflamingo is attacking us, Isaac answered. Alright, you have to go to Zo with Caesar right now. Try to escape them, Luffy said. But what about you, Commander, and the others? Brooke asked. Don't worry about us. We will take care of the factory and Doflamingo, Luffy answered. We'll catch up with you soon enough. How will you get to us? Nami asked. I still have the Viva card of yours and a Viva card to Zo as well, Luffy answered. Captain, we can't sail without you as you're the supreme commander of our crew, Nami said. Suddenly, there was a shake out of the sea. Are you guys okay? Did something hit the Sunny? Kinemon asked. We don't know yet, Isaac answered. Suddenly, the shadow started to get bigger around the Sunny and covering half of the sea, making the crew's eyes widen. Are you guys okay? Zoro asked. General, a warship is flying right towards us, Brooke said. Say what? Luffy asked. Not only that, Doflamingo is coming from the other direction, Chopper said. The warship is getting closer, Sanji said. The cannon started to aim towards the Sunny. They're about to fire at us, Isaac asked. Yeah, I suggest you guys get going now, Zoro said. But don't let them have Caesar, Spectral said. Roger that, commanders. The Sunny team started to attack the warship, and some others were keeping Doflamingo away from the Sunny. Suddenly meteors started to fall from the sky. Yeah, we are starting to set sail, Nami said. Copy that, Luffy said. Hey, Captain, Sanji said. Yeah, Sanji? I understand that we have to get Caesar away from here and I'm fine moving forward, Sanji said. However, Dressrosa was supposed to be a brief stop. The ultimate mission was to take down Emperor Kaido, right? Yeah, that is the goal of it, Luffy said. What are you getting here? Zoro asked. Don't you think that Law is focusing too much on Doflamingo? Sanji asked. Which made Luffy and the others pause for a brief moment. I see your question here, Sanji. But I think that's way of getting Doflamingo out of the way and completely destroying the factory, Luffy answered. Kaido is not like Doflamingo. Whatever Law is doing, it seemed that he wants revenge of something of what Doflamingo did. Alright, we're about to escape now, Sanji said. Good luck, Clank. Luffy POV. What was that all about? Spectral asked. I don't know, but I can't think of an answer, Luffy answered. I seem to agree on Pervycook. Why is Traff getting too worked up on Doflamingo? Zoro asked. I don't know, but I don't know what Law plans on next since Caesar is with our officers, Luffy said. Certainly troubling, Sir Luffy. Kinemon said. I hope Momonosuke is doing okay. I'm sure the little pervert is okay. After all, our officers are strong, Luffy said. I can't believe it. Luffy Senpai, Zoro Senpai and Spectral Senpai are discussing about the crew. I wish I could up to them and greet them, but I can't, Bartolomeo said. Luffy then heard him and turned around. Who's that? Luffy asked as he pointed at Bartolomeo, who was tearing up and blushing. Oh right, that's Bartolomeo. Apparently, he is a fan of us, especially you, Captain Sans. Spectral answered. Oh, I see that for sure. Luffy said with a sweat drop on his face. Oh my goodness, the three of them are looking straight at me. I'm so glad I set out to sea. Bartolomeo said. I don't know how to feel about this. Spectral said. Should we try to talk to him? Kinemon asked. He would freak out by the way he is acting, Zoro answered. As the four of them sweat dropped. At least he is not a pervert, or something else weird. Would that be a good thing or a bad thing? Luffy asked. I would say good, the three of them answered. Frankie POV. Right now, Frankie is in an underground case with Usopp, Robin, Kaya and Vivi, and along with the other dwarfs. They are in contact with Sanji over the Denden Mushi. We've managed to shake off the Navy and Doflamingo. Sanji said. We're setting course for Zo. What? Hey, wait a second, Sanji. You're just leaving us? Usopp asked. Sorry. You'll have to meet up with us again later. Sanji answered. You're kidding. I was planning to run away as soon as the chance presented itself. Usopp said. Listen, it was the captain's order, and he told us to set sail without him. Sanji said. I knew that the general was going to do something insane. Don't worry, Sanji. You can go to that zoo you're talking about. Frankie said. Commander entrusted me into destroying the factory, with no problems. What about Law? Law is currently fighting Doflamingo after we had to set sail, Sanji answered. Luffy POV. Few minutes later. So, Bartolomeo? Luffy asked. Luffy-senpai said my name. This is once in a lifetime. Bartolomeo said. Will you please calm down? We would like to have a conversation with you, Spectral said. Conversation with me? I can't believe I'm talking with my idol and his commanders. Bartolomeo said. You weren't kidding. Luffy said. Yeah, I wasn't, Spectral said. Bartolomeo, I was hoping if you assist us with defeating Don Quixote Pirates and the factory. Luffy said. We are trying to figure a way to defeat Doflamingo and his underlings. I will certainly do anything for the Straw Hats, including Luffy-senpai, Bartolomeo said with stars in his eyes, making them sweat dropping. After all, you are the 5th emperor and you're going to be the future king of the pirates. This guy doesn't seem that bad after all. Luffy said, although he is a little bit obsessive. Zoro said. I can agree with both of you guys, haha. Spectral said. Suddenly, there was an object that was thrown towards at Luffy, who instantly catches it. It was revealed that it was a booze bottle. Booze? Luffy asked. Suddenly, Zoro and Spectral were thrown at booze as well. Who threw this? How do they know that I like sake? I know that because you're such an addict for drinking booze, Straw Hat. Someone said a such drinker from some youngling pirate like you, kid. Who do you think you are before I'll give you a gravestone? Luffy asked. You seriously can't remember me, kid? He said as he took off his disguise, which made Luffy's eyes widened. SS Sabo? Luffy said. It's been 2 years, has it? Sabo asked. Ha ha ha. Captain sure got stressed right there. Spectral said. Lumen, I see you're doing well. How is Robin, by the way? Sabo said. She is doing alright, Spectral answered. How about you and Koala? She is doing alright, although she does beat me up daily again, Sabo answered with a slight voice. You two remind me of Luffy and Nami, I'd say, Spectral said. Zoro agreed on that. By the way, I've decided on something, Luffy said. You know how Whitebeard died and entrusted me with his devil fruit? Yeah? Sabo said with a confused tone. Well, I've decided that I should let you have the fruit, Luffy said. Are you sure, Luffy? That fruit is immensely strong, Sabo said. It wouldn't hurt to use it, right? Luffy asked. Plus, Marco and Ace are captaining the Whitebeard Pirates now. Thanks, Luffy, Sabo said. Luffy then gives Sabo the Gurgura no Mi, and Sabo immediately ate it, and gained the fruit's power. But why didn't you eat the fruit? I've had my own power. I don't need more of it, Luffy answered. Very well, I use this very carefully now. This seems like a cool power, Sabo said. Now, time for us to destroy the factory and take down Warlord Doflamingo, Luffy said as he began laughing. I'm skipping all of the way through the Doflamingo vs. Luffy fight. It's going to take me a day and a half to complete this chapter. Later that day, the Dressrosa group defeated Doflamingo's underlings. Luffy escaped Law from Doflamingo's palace and tries to head over to Doflamingo's hideout, but he was stopped as Fujitora was standing him and Zoro's way. Luffy and Zoro then starts to have a fight with Fujitora, ended up being postponed as Pika appeared out of the ground. He got angry as Luffy and Zoro were laughing at his voice, and was trying to destroy him. Zoro and Law They soon escape Pika and discussed on how they will defeat Doflamingo. Suddenly, Cavendish and the other people from the Coliseum were eavesdropping on Luffy's conversation and tells them that they will be going after Doflamingo. Luffy tells them no, as they will end up killed and it's best if he handles it. Seeing that, they got angry at Luffy and each other as they were fighting each other to see who will take down Doflamingo. Luffy and Zoro escapes with Law on a bull, but they didn't get away as they thought they were, since the others were able to catch up with them. Pika then appears again and got made of by his voice and angrily attacks them. Pika then goes into a fight with Zoro, resulting Zoro cutting down Pika and ended up winning. Right now, Luffy and Law are currently at a hideout of where Doflamingo and some guy named Treble are. Hey Tra guy, I'll take care of Mingo. Take care of that snotty guy, Luffy said. He then unleashes Blue Vortex and causes the ground to break down, and instantly punches Doflamingo in the stomach. You're such a fool, Straw Hat Law said. You're the fool to think you can take of Mingo on your own, compared to your power and my power that I wield, Luffy said. Fair enough, should have known after you defeated 3 admirals. Law said. So, it's seeming like the all-superhuman is taking me on. How excitingly, Doflamingo said. Time to beat your ass all over the new world, Luffy said. Such a shame, I guess you're that persistent, Straw Hat Doflamingo said as he begins to attack Luffy. Your crew was able to defeat my underlings. Don't think your luck will go the same way. We'll see about that, Luffy said as he kicks Doflamingo, only for him to block it. Luffy then uses Soru and punches Doflamingo from behind his head. Damn brat. You're really worse than Law, you brats of the worst generation, Doflamingo said as he was getting a little angry. Dragon's Cross. Luffy then creates multiple cracks on the ground, summoning fire dragons and attacking Doflamingo, making him cough up blood. 5 color strings. Doflamingo 5's colorful strings and aimed them towards Luffy, who blocked the attack with his sword. Fulbright. Doflamingo forms 5 detached strings and tries to impale Luffy and Law with it, but blocked his attacks. Your opponent is me. You leave Toro out of this, Luffy said as he uses Soru and kicks Doflamingo in the face. What's your plan here, Straw Hat? Law asked. I'm afraid I have to step this up if we are going to defeat Doflamingo. Don't be shocked by the results after this, Luffy said as he activated his HAKI. Gear 4th. Boundman. Oh, Gear 4th? This shall be interesting, Doflamingo said. Let's see if you could be able to win against my awakened powers. Doflamingo expands the birdcage of Dressrosa and causing the ground to shake up some more. You haven't seen what kind of strength I have. Not even the likes of you are nothing compared to me, Luffy said, as he continues to mock Doflamingo and making him very angry. Maybe I should kill you right here, Doflamingo said. He then forms strings around Luffy and controls him for a bit. You think I'll become your puppet? Luffy said. He then makes him and Doflamingo swap places, making Doflamingo trapped in his own strings and punches him in the face. You measly little brat. I'll just put an end to this misery of yours, Doflamingo said. 16 holy bullets. Doflamingo summons 16 thick, armament HAKI-infused bundles of string that form sharp points. God thread. Doflamingo shoots the sharp string points at Luffy, who was charging at him. Goma Goma, calm gun. Luffy punches the sharp points with enlarged, armament HAKI-infused fist, causing half of the country to shake, and it was windy as 2 attacks collided. Lucifer, you can do it! The country was cheering on for Luffy as he was fighting Doflamingo. I'll destroying everything, Doflamingo said. He then expands the sharp string points, pushing Luffy's fist back. The sharp points pierced into Luffy's fist, but Luffy was still fighting back. Luffy senpai, Luffy, Luffy land, Luffy, Luffy Dano, please! Luffy is still continuing to push his fist. Luffy, Straw Hat, Lucifer. Luffy then pushes his fist and pushes away the sharp string and charges at Doflamingo, and completely destroying the string net and punch Doflamingo in the face, making him fall down unconscious, and the ground started to shake and dividing half of the country's grounds. Suddenly, then retransforms out of Gear 4th and starts to fall, but then Law swapped his place with a rock, making him land on the rooftop, and the birdcage starts to dissolve. Well, I guess that's over with, Luffy said as he loses consciousness. The birdcage was dissolving, the skies were turning clear again. Meanwhile, half of the country looks destroyed by the recent tremendous power of fight. The Straw Hats help Luffy and Law by going over to cabin outside of the town of Dressrosa. Luffy was waking up from his deep sleep as the Straw Hats' Dressrosa team was hiding away from the Dressrosa country. Good morning, Sleepy Beauty, Vivi said. Haha, very funny, Luffy said. He was still slumped onto his bed and yawning multiple times. Is there any food? Yes, Zoro answered. Luffy then got up from his bed. He was wearing a red no-sleeve shirt. He then started to stretch around before taking a seat. So, about Doflamingo, Luffy said. He was earlier arrested by the Navy. The newspaper states that he was defeated by us, Robin answered. She then gives Luffy the newspaper. Warlord Doflamingo, defeated by Straw Hat and Law's alliance. This might have caused the world to shake, Luffy said bluntly, smirking one step away from reaching to Kaido. But we need to meet up with the others, and Zoe Spectral said. Yeah, I guarantee that we are not leaving here easily, Frankie said. Right, there is still that admiral here, Zoro said. Let's just eat while we can. By the way, there is massive talk about Lady Rebecca around Dressrosa, Kenjuro said. Eh? Really, what is it about? Luffy said. About how Lady Rebecca's father is the prince of some country, Kenjuro answered. Really, that's interesting, Robin said. What a strange story there. Spectral said. Agree, that's it too, Luffy said. But he then falls asleep as he was eating. He did not fully recover after his fight with Doflamingo. You have not recovered yet, Captain? Usopp said. You're being restless. Yeah, whatever, Luffy said, but are we sure that it was made up lie? I mean, I understand how you may not buy it, Zoro said. How are you about it, Kinemon? Usopp asked. Very sure, I've heard it with my own ears, Kinemon answered. Me too, for certain, Kanjuro said. Bellamy, Law and Kairos were minding their business, as the Straw Hats were continuing eating. Suddenly, Kairos fallen out of his gaze as he was staring at the window from the outside. I started the rumor, Kairos said, which gained the Straw Hat's attention. He sets down his hand on the counter. The only people who know Rebecca's birth are some people in the royal family, and some people in the Don Quixote family who did the research. The only thing that the whole nation know is her mother. The Straw Hats were in disbelief as they stopped eating and continued to give their attention to Kairos. What else? Kai asked. I've started the rumor before they had figured out that I'm her father, Kairos answered. How come? Vivi asked. I have a criminal record. Kairos answered. I'm ill-bred as well. I wasn't really supposed to marry any member of the royal family in the first place. So, that's how it should be for me. Luffy then set down his flood and slams the table. Bullshit! Luffy exclaimed. Did Rebecca knew about this? She could have gotten the letter about it. Kairos answered. I've wrote everything about my life truthfully, as I made her suffer for a long time. As a decision for me, I want to cut the connection between me and her and let her live happily in the light hereafter. So that's the only way for me to make it up to her as a father. I'm thinking about leaving this county when you guys do, as she is still a child. I've convinced King Rikus since I don't want to ruin her chance to be happy at any moment. Zoro and Usopp looked at Luffy, who had his feet up on the table and leaned back in his chair. I take it you're not buying it, Zoro asked. Damn right, Luffy answered. This is kind of a lame idea, to be honest. Such a drag. Any plans on getting off this country? Kai asked. Not right now. We will just have to make plans along the way, Spectral answered. Let's just take this light opportunity to get a break. But still, we have to deal with an admiral to get off this damn country, Luffy said. What a total drag of events here. He then bangs his head on the table. I see his laziness hasn't left his body, Vivi said. Sweat dropping, the Straw Hats agreed on that. Come on, Luffy. You're a powerful pirate here in this new world. Do you think I'm powerful enough to take down Kaido? Luffy asked. Kaido is not like any other emperors. He is like a monster beast of these seas. How will we defeat him? Spectral asked. Well, I don't have any ideas on that, Luffy answered, but I do think obtaining another type of HAKI will be able to do some damage to him, or defeat at least. Puru Puru. Puru Puru Puru. Huh? Luffy asked. What is it now? Kairos asked. Clank. Commander. I mean, Kairos-sama. This is Leo. Leo said. Zoro senpai. Spectral senpai. Bartolomeo said, barging into Kairos' hideout of where the Straw Hats were hiding. Gaining the Straw Hats' attention. Oh, Luffy senpai. You're up. Good morning. He then looks away as he was being shined by the Straw Hats, unintentionally. When there's 8 members of the Straw Hats gathered together, they're too bright to even look at. It's like a laser beam of greatness, Bartolomeo exclaimed. If I see all the stars of the Straw Hats someday, I'll get dissolved. Oh, Bartolomeo, Luffy said. Can you just say what you came here for? Spectral said. Oh, that's right, Bartolomeo said. There is a big commotion at the Navy camp. They're gonna be here at any minute. Great Advisor Vice Admiral Tsuru and the former Fleet Admiral Sengoku arrived. Bartolomeo said. Oh, Grandma Tsuru came to Dressrosa? Luffy asked. It truly has been a while since I've seen her. Why are the heavyweights doing here? Usopp asked. I'm not sure, but I feel something tremendously fun is about to begin, Luffy said with a wild smirk. Leo, what did you call me for? Kairos asked. Oh, the Navy is going into action now. Leo answered. Oh, seems like Admiral Fujitora is taking action right now, Spectral said. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like playing with some Marines, Zoro said. They will be smushed to bits, Robin said. But we don't have a ship to escape this country, Kenjuro said. Oh, that's right, Usopp said. How did we leave here? Leo, did you do what I asked you? Kairos asked. Sure did. I did everything as you said. Leo said. Crest-head-san. Seems like they're heading to the palace as well. The warriors are in danger. Okay. Thanks for your concern, little guy. Bartolomeo said. We've been keeping an eye on the Navy the whole time, too. Everything will be alright. Understood. Leo said. Luffy-senpai and everyone. I'll lead the way. Bartolomeo said. Run straight to the port in the east. But there are lots of Navy soldiers in town, right? Usopp asked. What are we going to do in case they get in our way? Not to worry. Our allies have already been standing by at strategic points for quite a while, Bartolomeo said. We'll clear the way for you. We have a ship for you at the east port. We appreciate it, Barto. Frankie said. We let Nami and the others take Sunny, so we didn't know what else to do. Don't mention it. Bartolomeo said. We all fought together as team. We can't let them capture our king now. The Straw Hats and Law started to grab their stuff and getting ready for the Navy. Bellamy, can you stand up? Luffy asked. Yeah, I can even run now. Bellamy answered. Good enough. Luffy said. Trafalgar, why didn't you leave me at my fate? Bellamy asked. That was the place where I supposed to die. Straw Hat insisted that he considered you as a friend, so I carried you just in case. Law answered. May die here if you like. I'm fully recovered thanks to the punk. Bellamy exclaimed. How could fighting the Navy possibly lead me to die? Find a way to drop dead, loser. Law answered. What was that? Bellamy asked. Can't even give me a thank you? Law asked. Relax, Bellamy. We're all escaping this country in one way, Luffy said. Don't waste your life on trying to die. Suddenly, the Navy was starting to run towards the hideout. Oh crap. The Navy's here and we don't have time to think, Bartolomeo said. Let's just run. Alright, let's go. Everyone started to run out of the hideout. The Marines started to shoot at them. Let me handle this, Bartolomeo said. Barrier. Bartolomeo created a large barrier to block the Marine bullets. Don't stop. Shoot, 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 a Marine said. This way, everybody, Bartolomeo said. The Marines kept on firing at them. You'll be in deep trouble if you run into Fujitora. Can't the commander do it? I mean, he did defeat 3 admirals before, Kaya asked. Fujitora holds the Zushi no Mi, which means he can manipulate gravity, Luffy answered. I may not be able to fully defeat Fujitora with his power. I see, but whatever you do, don't get separated, Bartolomeo said. As they were continue running, Luffy then stops in his tracks and breaks the booze bottle in his hands. I've got something to do, just go up ahead, Luffy said. He then starts to run really fast the other direction. Luffy, we don't have much time. Go finish your business in a hurry, Zoro said. We'll wait for you at the east port. Right, Luffy said. Let's hurry, Zoro said. Luffy then jumps over the mountain and makes his way back to the country of Dressrosa, where the Marines were waiting and loaded their guns and ready to take aim at Luffy. Measly guns can't do much to me as I'm rubber, Luffy said. He then makes himself into a rubber balloon and bounces the bullets off his rubber body. He then pulls out his sword from his scabbard. Dragonfire. Luffy sends 3 large slashes of fire towards the Marines and causing half of the ground to be on fire, making the Marines burn by the fire. Crimson Rage. Luffy form a singularly large slash at the remaining Marines, giving them a deep cut on the chest vertically and losing unconscious. Luffy then runs over to the palace of where Rebecca's location was. Meanwhile, The others were running towards the east port. Fujitora POV. Tsuru and the other Marines were walking around Dressrosa, looking the Straw Hats and their allies, while Fujitora was making his way to somewhere. Time to test if he's running out of luck, Fujitora said, by using all of my might. Luffy POV. Luffy was jumping over the buildings, trying to make his to palace. He then flings his arm towards the mountain of the palace, with a bunch of Marines below him. He then accidentally got his arm stuck. Shit, this isn't good, Luffy exclaimed. He then started swing around and accidentally knocking some Marines off the mountain. He then got his arm unstuck and flies over to the palace. I think I'm going to pass out if I'm keep spinning like this. He then lands onto the flower patch, of where more Marines are lurking around. Damn, looks like the Admiral sent a bunch of him here, Luffy said. He then draws his sword and started slashing Marines with fast speed. We're in front of the palace, a Marine said. Straw Hat is Goma Goma, Jet Gatling. Luffy sends a barrage of fists at the Marines. Rebecca, are you here? Luffy asked. He then was getting shot by a couple of Marines, who were on their feet. Well damn, I thought I wiped them all out, but wrong, Luffy said. Goma Goma, giant pistol, Rebecca POV. What was that? A maid asked. Rebecca, voice of Luffy said. Rebecca then snapped out of her gaze and turned towards the window. Hey Rebecca. She then go towards the window to look outside. Somebody is calling me, Rebecca said. She then sees that it was Luffy. Lucifer? Luffy POV. Sky Emperor. Luffy sends 2 vertically and horizontally slashes at very fast speed, that it caught fire on the slashes. Lucifer, I'm up here. Lucifer, Rebecca shouted. Luffy then looks towards the window to see Rebecca. Wait, Rebecca-sama. You can't trust a pirate, a maid said. Luffy then appears at the window in a flash, causing Rebecca and half of the room to be in shock. He was just down there, another maid said. Lucifer, Rebecca said. Straw Hat, what did you come here for? A guard said. Luffy didn't answer and was panting. Stand back, Rebecca-sama. Straw Hat? Viola asked. Lucifer, Rebecca said. Great. I really wanted to say thank you, so I'm not here for that, Rebecca, but I'll take the thanks. Luffy said. I came here to ask if you're okay with this. What? Rebecca asked. Kairos, the soldier? Luffy asked. Which made Rebecca shocked. You'll never see him again. I think it's time for you to meet him again, Lucifer. I got a letter from him. Rebecca answered. Soldier is trying his best to keep distance away from me. She then pulls out the letter out of her pocket. He's trying to make me a stranger. She started having flashbacks of her yelling at Soldier. Why? Because I said terrible things to him? Do you think he doesn't want to live with me? Luffy then started to twitch in sympathy as she started whimpering. Am I annoying to him? How would I know? You must think for yourself. Luffy asked. I've got to leave this country. I've came here to ask if you're okay with this, and I want to meet Kairos again. Of course I'm not okay with this, Rebecca answered. Then, do you want to meet the soldier again? Luffy asked. I do, Rebecca answered. What? The guard asked. Rebecca-sama, another one said. Rebecca. Straw Hat. Wait a moment, please, Viola said. Rebecca then turns toward Viola. Viola-san, Rebecca said. Can I ask you a favor, please? Let's go, Luffy said. He then breaks the wall and the window of the palace, while carrying Rebecca on her back. Hang on tightly. Okay, Rebecca said. He's running, a Marine said. We have a problem, another maid. I'll go warn King Riku-sama, someone said. Someone then warns King Riku about Luffy taking Rebecca out of the palace. The whole country hears about this, and there was more Marines being sent out and being ordered to capture Luffy and recuse Rebecca. Luffy was jumping over some buildings with Rebecca on her back and running away from the Marines and citizens as they were chasing him. Well, this is whole mess, Luffy said. Sorry about this. It's alright, as long I get to meet my father again, Rebecca said. It's funny on how people underestimate or misjudge someone, Luffy said yet again. This is the path I chose. Catch Lucifer, a citizen said. You can't escape, another one said. I thought you were our savior, another one said. Persistent, aren't they, Luffy said. He then continues running but then stopped as there were a bunch of Marines blocking him. Our target is Straw Hat, the Vice Admiral said. Right now, they are Marines surrounding Luffy and Rebecca with net cannons. What now, Lucifer? Rebecca asked. Charge, the Vice Admiral said. I didn't plan this ahead as I thought. Luffy answered, oh well, let's just run. I can still fight as much as I please. Okay, Rebecca said. The Marines started to charge at Luffy, but then Luffy started to kick them all around. The Marines started to shoot out nets from the cannons, and then one of the nets hit Luffy's arm. Oh crap, it's Sea Prism Stone, Luffy said. He then crashes into a building and lands on the ground. Damn. Are you alright, Lucifer? Rebecca said. It weakened me a little bit. Try to get the net off of me so I can use my devil fruit again, Luffy answered. Rebecca then works on getting the net off of Luffy's arm. It came off, Rebecca said. That's it. Straw Hat, the Vice Admiral said. Give up the princess without a fight, Lucifer, Rebecca said. Luffy then softly smirks. I need to hurry this up and leave the country, so for right now I won't let you guys be on your feet, Luffy said. Void's Mania. Luffy manipulates the ground with gravity, and controlling the Marines around him and making them sink into the ground. He can also manipulate gravity? A Marine asked. It's like Isho-san's power, another Marine said. This power coming from the grandson of Rocks himself. Damn you, Straw Hat, the Vice Admiral said. I can't let you interfere with my mission, Luffy said, but bye. Luffy then clenched his hand, making the Marines getting sink into the ground. Let's go. Okay, Rebecca said. That was such a cool power, but how will we get out of here? You may not like this, Luffy answered, but hold on tight. Luffy then extends his arm to a building, and rockets over the buildings and flies into the air while Rebecca is screaming as she was holding on tightly onto Luffy. They both landed on the other side of the country of where Kairo's hideout was. Rebecca, Luffy said, I'll leave you behind the hill and lure them away from you. You must go off on your own as the whole nation is trying to protect you from me. However, if you get caught, they'll take you back to palace. Be careful. Right, but where will I go? Rebecca said. Soldier is hiding at the small in the flower field, Luffy answered. Flower field? Rebecca asked. She then started getting flashbacks of her parents in the small house. Okay, I got it. But can you set me down for a second? Oh sure, Luffy answered. He then stops running and sets down Rebecca. Something wrong? Oh nothing, just a little thank you gift, Rebecca answered. She then plants Luffy on his lips, which made Luffy shocked and widened his eyes before blushing. Oh thanks I guess, Luffy said while covering his blush. I guess this is your welcome gift. Luffy then plants on Rebecca's lips and making her blush before laughing. I guess you got a thing for girls, Rebecca said teasingly. Luffy then practically laughs. I can barely understand them, but I guess you're right about it, Luffy answered slightly. You and I will meet each other soon enough, I'm sure of it, Princess. Luffy then yes Rebecca on her forehead, before waving her off for her to meet Kairos and for Luffy to head over to the East Port. I need to hold myself about becoming a pervert, Luffy thought. Zoro POV. Captain isn't here yet? Usopp said. Trafalgar Law isn't here as well, Cavendish said. What are both of our bosses doing? Someone asked. There are some enemies that can't be held back even by us, Bartolomeo answered. Zoro then felt someone's presence and gripped onto his sword. I guess we have an enemy right here, Zoro said. It was revealed that it was Fujitora riding on a rock. It's Fujitora, Usopp said. He then takes out his sniper and loads his sniper with bullets. We need to buy time for Commander to show up. Yeah, Luffy-senpai. Hurry up, Bartolomeo said. One thing is for sure, we must fight back, even if he is an Admiral. Spectral said. He turns himself into a poison human and forms 2 poison snakes on his back. Acid serpents. Spectral sends the 2 serpents at Fujitora, which made him dodge his attack and the serpents with his sword cane. Spectral senpai, Bartolomeo said, you and your fellow crew members should stand back. Leave it up to us, Cavendish finished. The Straw Hats' allies were standing in front of them. Fujitora opened half of his cane sword and started to use his devil fruit powers and started to manipulate Dressrosa's gravity and started to gravitate the ground and buildings in the country and rising them up into the air, making them fly towards the East Port. What is Fujitora doing? Spectral said. Well, I guess no one is using all of this. Fujitora said, it's what's left after those reckless pirates fought. Don't tell me he's going to use them as weapons, Idea asked. A barrier that only covers limited area won't stand a chance against this, Shinjo said. Is he crazy? Frankie asked. That's not fair. Bartolomeo said. Is he trying to destroy all of us? Vivi asked. He wouldn't, Kaya answered. He will try to stop us from leaving. Robin said we must wait for Luffy to come. Right. Luffy's strength is enough to defeat a Navy Admiral, Usopp said, but we must buy time for him. Everyone, head over to the port and set sail as fast. Zoro ordered. You heard him. Head over to the port and set sail. Bartolomeo said. Straw Hat isn't back yet? Law asked. No, we're waiting for him, Kaya answered. Hey, wait, I see him, over there. Usopp said. He then points of where Luffy was running. Boss, watch out for Fujitora. Spectral said. I guess he did show up after all. Luffy said. I guess fighting an admiral wouldn't hurt. What? His allies asked. I'm sure Luffy can handle him, Kaya said. Seems like you did show up after all, Straw Hat. However, I can't let you escape. Fujitora said. Don't you see? He is one of the Navy's greatest military powers, Sai said. I guess you haven't heard of Luffy defeating 3 admirals before, Usopp said smirkingly. Navy Admiral or Emperor of the Sea is nothing to me, Luffy said. He then takes out his sword and coated it in armament HAKI. That's the captain that we follow, Spectral said. That's so, Luffy, Vivi said. Luffy is the super general of the Straw Hats. Frankie said. Come on, show me what you got, Luffy said. Go all out even if you want. Figure from some superhuman like you, Fujitora said. Prepare yourself. Alright, I'll just start something easy, Luffy said. Paradise Pray. Luffy then sends a slash at Fujitora, which he blocked it with his sword. You wouldn't mind if I am announcing of what I'm doing, don't you? Luffy asked. Don't be a fool, Straw Hat, Fujitora answered. Luffy then puts his sword back in his scabbard and coated his fist in armament HAKI. I guess punching with fire could do some damage, Luffy said. Infernal Wave. Luffy's punches forms fire from his fist and goes into punch Fujitora, but he blocked his attack with his sword. Why is General fighting in a different way? Frankie asked. He wants Fujitora to have a little advantage in the fight, Zoro answered. Surely Luffy is strong to take on an admiral, but he wants a fair fight, Spectral said. Wouldn't it make Luffy lose in either way? Vivi asked. Surely of it, but he wants a good fight till the end, Usopp answered. Gear second, kicking and punching should be good, Luffy said. He then tries to punch and kick at Fujitora, but blocked his attacks with his sword. Fujitora then uses his power to sink Luffy into the ground. What the hell? I can't get up, Luffy said. I've heard that you hold something else than your devil fruit and sword along with HAKI. Fujitora said something that would be involved in martial arts. I suggest you cancel out your gravity, Admiral, Luffy said. Rift. Luffy teleports out of Fujitora's gravity. This is very interesting for me. How about you? Luffy asked. I'm loving that I'm fighting against you, but I'm wondering why are you announcing of what you're about to do? Fujitora said. Are you taking pity on me? I am a Navy Admiral. Everyone says I'm like a monster. Does it even bother you that a blind man is on the battlefield? Grandson of Rocks, if you're making me angry, then you're successfully dead. Why wouldn't superhuman like me attack a blind man like you without saying anything? Luffy asked. I just want to balance the fight equally. Just because you're a Navy Admiral doesn't mean I don't like you. His response made Fujitora shocked before laughing. Something funny? Luffy asked. That damn sympathy of yours. Fujitora answered enraged. What's the point of it? If I win unfairly, then I wouldn't call it a victory. As for me, Luffy answered, when men go into battle, they should fight in a way that fits their position. Fujitora answered. You can't just show pity or say what you like so honestly. Having to say this in front of a strong pirate. I don't give a shit about being all superhuman across the world. I care about the freedom I give. Luffy said. You're such a reckless fool. I'm fighting as befits my position even though I don't want to, Fujitora said. He then pushes Luffy's fist away from his and started using his powers. Everyone, get away, Zoro said. Gravity Blade. Raging Tiger. Fujitora generates immense levels of gravitational forces around him that push out horizontally. Planetary Division. Luffy counters Fujitora's attack by manipulating/controlling the forces of gravity. What is this? You can control gravity as well? Fujitora asked. You're right about me having superhuman martial arts, Luffy said. However, I think we'll have to postpone this fight. Luffy then teleports away from Fujitora and runs along with his crew and allies. How did that turn out? Spectral said. I clashed with his gravity powers. Luffy answered. We're wasting time. Let's go. I'm not sure if we're expected to leave so soon, Usopp said. He points to the ball of rubbles of Dressrosa. What is Fujitora doing? Luffy said. Does he really want to destroy Dressrosa? Suddenly, rubbles started to fall down towards the fleet of ships and Luffy's group. Voltage devastation. Luffy reversed the rubble's direction by manipulating them and making them fly upwards. Fujitora POV. That foolish straw hat. Let me just guide you guys to hell already. Fujitora said. Having the arts of gravity sure is quite insane. Suddenly, he hears footsteps coming towards him. Give us back Rebecca, Lucifer. A citizen said. Weren't you a savior, Lucifer? Another one asked. Is that Fujitora started? This country has surely made a lot of harm towards her. Another one said. Don't further her misery. Hold on a second, citizens. Past this point are only criminals. Fujitora said. Stop right there. I'll pull an end to. Out of the way, Navy. A citizen said. We'll shake off the pirates ourselves. Another one said. Luffy POV. Why are the citizens after us? Spectral asked. They all turned around to see the citizens at the East Port. Damn, must have came here after I've helped Rebecca get to Kairos, Luffy answered. Luffy then sees the citizen waving at them and shouting towards them. The Straw Hats heard this and gave them a smile as they went on board a ship. Well, that was tiring, Vivi said. I think I need to relax for a day before we go to Zo, Luffy said. I agree with you on that, Zoro said. But this ship is amazing, Usopp said with stars in his eyes. I really want to go, Elbaf. Our Yantarmeria fleet numbers 56 ships. I know we can really help you out. Orlumbus said. Help us? Robin asked. Luffy land. We got permission from Chief Tanta. Let us join too. Leo said. Join? Luffy asked. We won't lose in a fair fight, Idio said, but we can't say we're champions without fighting pirates. So Idio and I joined hands and decided to set out to see Blue, Gilly said. Hey, we're with you too. Don't forget about us, bro. Abdullah and Jeet said. This fool is going to let me be on board his ship. Cavendish's friend said. I'm doing you a favor, so you better call me captain. Cavendish said. And you too. Don't forget that I'm more experienced than you. I'm not following about what's your guys talking about, Luffy said, confused. Do you what you like? The fact is that we hid it while staying at the palace for 2 days. What? Vivi asked. I'll explain. For your information, we decided the order by lot. Orlumbus said. The beautiful pirates, 75 members. Captain, White Horse Cavendish, the Barto Clue, 56 members. Captain, Man-Eating Bartolomeo, the Hapasui Army, about 1,000 members. Leader, Don Sai, the XXX Gym Fighting Alliance, 4 members. Representative, Destructive Cannon Idio, the Tantatas Tanta Corps, 200 members. Leader, Leo the Warrior, the Future Giant Pirates. 5 members currently. Captain Hadruddin, the Yantarmeria Fleet, 4,300 members. Commodore Orlumbus. Huh? Luffy asked. He then Bartolomeo bowed down and made him raise an eyebrow. A big troop of 5,600. Luffy senpai. We figured that you might need more people in your fleet, Bartolomeo said. What? That much? Luffy said. Geez, that's a lot. We've heard that you have recruited many people in the past to become members of your fleet, Sai said. And if I refuse? Luffy asked. Then you will be targeted by the big names due to this incident on this island. Bartolomeo answered. Since you guys saved us, we can help you at those times. But if I agree to this, I'll be the Grand Commander/Captain of the fleet, right? Luffy asked. That's right. Bartolomeo said. And have 5,600 subordinates in total. You'll finally be one of the greatest pirates. You become the king of pirates eventually. I would advise to stop. Zoro said. You would have to do more convincing for him to agree to this. Shouldn't you be happy about the amass of such military forces, Straw Hat? Orlumbus asked. But I kind of do need my space. Hopefully that isn't hurtful, Luffy answered. However, if he does accept this, it would mean me, Robin and Lumen would be Grand Commanders of the fleet as we are the commanders of the Straw Hats, Zoro said. That would make sense, Spectral said. Luffy only wants to become king of the pirates and annihilate the world government, Robin said. Right. He is already too much important in the world, Zoro said. Right, 2 things. If we think that we're really in danger, we will call for you. If you're trouble, you can call for us and we will come and help you no matter what. I won't forget that we fought together to take down Mingo. Luffy said. I understand what Luffy is saying, and it means to be king of the pirates to him. Bartolomeo said while tearing up. Freedom, freedom, that's what Luffy-senpai wants. In that case, I admire you even more, Luffy-senpai. Bartolomeo said. So do I. Hajrudin said. Hey, Bartolomeo. Make the oath. He will drink out of the parents' cup anyway. He's right. Cavendish said. Huh? Luffy asked. You can do whatever you want, so can we, Idio said. You can't take away our freedom, either. Sai said. Oh? Leo asked. I'm not following? Luffy asked. Suddenly, Luffy's allies started to have a seat and hold out their sake cup. Luffy-senpai. Allow me to make a brief oath. Bartolomeo said. An oath? Luffy asked. Here it is, Luffy-senpai. Bartolomeo said. The others started to hold out their cup. We now become Straw Hat Luffy-senpai's followers, and will be his shield or pike in all weather. To repay him for what he did this time, we 7 will drink out of these Sun's cups of our own volition, devoting our lives and souls. Sun's cups? Luffy asked. Bartolomeo and the others started to drink the sake out of their Sun's cups after the oath that Bartolomeo had stated, which made Luffy shocked. His jaw even dropped when he saw the Sun's cup empty. The others started to put down their cup. What are you guys doing? Luffy asked. Now we're formally a member, said. Hurry up and prepare for the banquet. Another one said. Suddenly, the subordinates started to bring out the food for the Straw Hats. Celebrate the formation of the Straw Hat fleet with over 5,600 crew in total. A subordinate said. Yeah. The subordinates started yelling. They just do whatever they like. Robin said. The general just got tricked. Frankie said. Commander Straw Hat. Thank you in advance. The subordinates said. What? Luffy asked. Are you kidding? I had half of this sake. I wasn't planning on this. Well, nothing has changed for you, and that's okay. Sai said. We just decided to go ahead and swear our loyalty to you. And when something happens to you, we'll be risking our lives of our own will. I get what you're saying, Luffy said, which made Sai confused. I can foresee the future due to my observation HAKI. No need to explain more. Let's just eat. Luffy then gives Sai a thumbs up before starting to eat. I can't believe I got tricked into this. What a drag. It's funny about how Luffy-kun got outsmarted, Vivi said with a smile. It's not the first time, Robin said. Should we sail out now? Spectral asked. Surely, Luffy answered. You heard Commander Spectral. Hoist the sails. Orlumbus said. Which made the subordinates shout. What? I didn't give any orders. Spectral said in disbelief. The sails started to sail, and the fleet ships started sailing away from Dressrosa and continued their banquet and escaping the Marines and Navy Admiral Fujitora. 3 commanders POV. So, Doflamingo is defeated, Spectral said, which was Law's secret achievement. Yeah, what now? Zoro asked. We're going to Zo, aren't we? Yeah, however we haven't gotten into contact with the ship team, Robin answered, and since we destroyed the Smile Factory, Kaido is probably trying to get us. One of the strongest current emperors of the seas, Zoro said. Whitebeard was the strongest before the Marineford War went into chaos. I do wonder, what is Law planning next? Spectral asked. Trying to figure on how to defeat Kaido. Possibly, Robin answered. Is there any possible way to get into contact with the ship team? Zoro asked. Nope. Doflamingo destroyed all of our baby snails, Spectral answered. Doflamingo was sure a pain in the ass to deal for Luffy, Zoro said. Agreed, Robin said. Next morning, going Luffy-senpai. Luffy POV. Alright, Straw Hats. Look around as much as you like, Bartolomeo said. This is the Barto Club's pirate ship that's filled with love for the Straw Hats. It's called the Supreme Luffy Go. Is this supposed to be right? Usopp asked. It looks like Luffy's on this ship more than ours. I'm happy to hear that. Bartolomeo said. The Mary? Luffy asked. I'm glad you noticed it. Bartolomeo said it was the Straw Hats' first ship and a dear friend, the Going Merry. I duplicated its bow as a homage. Evil eyes. Zoro said. Anything on the newspaper except for Doflamingo? Luffy asked. Not yet, Captain. Bartolomeo. Set sail for Zo, Zoro answered. Okay. Leave it in my hands, Commander Zoro. Bartolomeo said. Guys, let's head for Zo at full speed. Yeah. His subordinates said. Anyways, I do wonder if Sanji and the others got to Zo's safety. Spectral said. Nami is with them, So I'm sure that the navigation went well, Frankie said. But I am worried about them, Usopp said. Could been trouble for all of we know, Robin said. Wish we could contact them right now. But that stupid Mingo broke our baby snails, Luffy said. Hey, Luffy, Zoro said. Seems like our bounties has increased. Really? Luffy asked. Oh, you didn't know? Bartolomeo said. Here, I'll show your wanted posters in my room, so come on. Oh, thanks, Luffy. Hey, Trafalgar. I threw yours, but your bounty has gone up to $2.2 billion. Oh, thanks. But I don't care about the price, Law said. Bartolomeo started to make fun of them before reviewing the Straw Hat's bounty poster. Okay, please take a look at them, Bartolomeo said. They're in frames? Usopp said. Okay, let's start with Straw Hat Luffy Senpai, Bartolomeo said. Rocks D. Luffy, wanted dead or alive. $3,120,000,000. Awesome, Luffy said. Roronoa Zoro, wanted dead or alive. $1,075,000,000. Sweet, can you give me more booze? Zoro asked. Nico Robin, wanted dead or alive. $1 billion. Oh no, it's gone up again, Robin said sarcastically. Frankie, wanted dead or alive. $160 million. Super. The picture is General Frankie, Frankie said. God, Usopp, wanted dead or alive. $650 million. I'm feeling happy. But the picture looks awful a bit, Usopp said. Spectral, wanted dead or alive. $1,050,000,000. Ha ha. A rocking score, honestly, Spectral said. Sanji, wanted dead or alive. $750 million. Wait, he doesn't have the pervert part in his name, or the drawing, Luffy said. Come on, that's boring, Zoro said. Nami, wanted dead or alive. $630,000,000. I wonder how Nami would feel about this, Robin said. She would be happy either way, Luffy answered. KY, wanted dead or alive. $630 million. I guess me and Nami still have the same bounty, Kaya said. I wonder what my bounty is, Vivi said. Nefertiti Vivi, wanted dead or alive. $630 million. All of us still have the same bounty combined, Vivi said with a laugh. Awesome, Kaya said. Isaac, wanted dead or alive. $650 million. Oh, me and Isaac are tied in bounty, Usopp said. But his picture got changed, Luffy said. Brook, wanted dead or alive. $150 million. He still has the concert poster as a wanted poster, Frankie said. The amount of increase that our bounties went up, Spectral said. The Straw Hats are such figures around the world, Bartolomeo said as he started tearing up. Time for us to head to Zo, Luffy said. You heard him, guys, set sail for Zo, Bartolomeo ordered. Yeah. His subordinates, Luffy Senpai, we're almost there to Zo, Bartolomeo said. Great, is there any way we can get into contact with Sanji's group? Luffy said. Yeah, since our baby snails broke because of Doflamingo, Spectral said. Don't worry about it, Commander Spectral Senpai. I've got multiple Den mushies, Bartolomeo said. He then brings them a Den mushie out of Bartolomeo's room. Oh, thanks, Spectral said. He then grabs the Den mushie and contacts Sanji's group. Isaac's POV. Puru. Hello? Isaac asked. Isaac, how's it going? Spectral asked. Spectral? Did something happen? We tried contacting your group, Isaac asked. Yeah, everything's fine, but Doflamingo broke our baby's snails, Spectral said. Oh, well, I'm glad you guys are okay, Isaac said. Isaac, who are you talking to? Nami asked. We got into contact with Spectral's group, Isaac answered. Nami then rushed over to Isaac and took the baby snail. Luffy-kun, Spectral-sama, are you guys okay? Nami asked. Yeah, we okay over here. We're on our way to Zo right now, Luffy answered. Is Sanji, Chopper and Brook over there? Yeah, we're okay, General, Brook answered. Everything is perfectly fine, Sanji said. Has the ship been damaged on the way? Frankie asked. No, Frankie, we've made it here safely, Chopper answered. Is Momo there? Luffy asked. Yeah, he is. But he is still being a little pervert, Brook answered. Which made Luffy, Zoro, Usopp and Spectral sweat drop. Well, we'll be here soon enough, Luffy said. Take care. Clank, Luffy's POV. Okay, well, I guess they're doing well. Better than us, I assume, Luffy said. Especially Momonosuke, I guess, Usopp said. I hope Sabo is doing okay, at least, Luffy said. Oh, that reminds me, Robin said. Luffy, Sabo mentioned that you were a part of the Revolutionary Army with your dad, which gained everyone's attention. Luffy was a part of his dad's army? Vivi asked. Yeah, Sabo told us 2 years back, Spectral said. It was surprising to even me and Robin. When we landed at Baltigo, since Kuma sent us there. Commander, is that true? Kai asked. Wow. General is full of super surprises. Frankie said, doing his signature pose. Straw Hat, yeah, is that true? Law asked. Luffy then looked at everyone before he started laughing. He then stopped laughing and grinned at them. Yeah, I was a member of the Revolutionary Army when I was 13 years old. Luffy answered. What position were you in? Spectral asked. I was the Chief of Staff of the Revolutionary Army, Luffy answered. Which made everyone shocked. Luffy Senpai was the second in command of the Revolutionary Army? Bartolomeo said. Seriously, Luffy was the second in command in the Revolutionary Army? How strong was this brat? Wait a minute, Luffy, how strong were you in the Revolutionary Army? Usopp answered. Stronger 2 years back, Luffy answered. He then pulls out a bounty poster, which made everyone's jaw drop. Lucifer, wanted dead or alive, $2,050,000,000. Are you saying this was Revolutionary Army bounty? Law asked. Yeah, this was the code name I went by whenever I was in the Revolutionary Army, Luffy answered. I swear, Luffy, you're full of surprises, Robin said. I became the chief at the age of 15, and when I turned 18, I left the army and gave my position to Sabo. Luffy said the revolutionary days were good, except for Koala lecturing me and Dad getting too pissy so much. What did you do during your time as chief? Zoro asked. Let's see, me, Sabo, Koala, and the revolutionary captains invaded Mariehawa to free the slaves, Luffy answered. Which made everyone shocked. Flashback. Luffy's time as chief of staff. Luffy was chilling in his office, having to fill in paperwork and also having lunch. Dragons sometimes annoy Luffy by loads of reports to look through and fill, since he likes to annoy his son since he is officially the second in command. Dragon then knocks on Luffy's door and gained his attention in the middle of filling in reports.